What's going on, people? King Rich is back again with a mega podcast today. Yeah, today we're doing it big. Yeah, packed out studio. You know what to do. Make sure you hit the like button. Do not be an egg your whole life. Yeah, support what we're doing. Yeah, all right. So today we're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to talk about trending topics as well. Yeah, and the first thing I want to ask everybody in this room is: are you a narcissist? Are you the narcissist? I want to know, like, do you know what I mean? So I'm going to start right here. I'm going to start here for a change.
I think everyone's got narcissistic traits, right? To an extent. So narcissism, because narcissism is technically like a mental issue. It's an actual, an issue. It's psychological that you have to treat. Like you have to go to a specialist with that, right?
Is
but
it?
The thing is, yeah, it is. It actually is like a mental disorder, narcissism. But the thing is, everyone's got traits of it. But you know what? I spoke to someone about it, and like when it comes to like successful people, successful people need to have them traits because otherwise they won't get successful.
I should be. That means I'll be all right then, isn't it?
Yeah, you should be.
So it's a mental disorder, but successful people usually have that.
I mean, not have that, but like the traits of it. So I mean, like everyone's got narcissistic traits to a certain extent.
Are you a narcissist?
I don't think so, but I ain't gonna speak for myself because like somebody else.
Do you think your ex-boyfriend would say you're a narcissist?
No.
What would he say about you?
In what aspect?
What would he say? Good things or bad things?
I think good things because it's always on like a good terms. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, what's always on a good term?
When I leave people, I make sure that it's like, sometimes you leave people because they don't work out for one reason or another, yeah? Sometimes people leave the country, sometimes people move
Don't worry,
away,
we're going to get back to why you left all these people.
Okay, but like, you see that?
What's your name as well? You didn't introduce yourself.
I'm so sorry, I'm Vivi.
All right, cool, awesome.
Let me just say, I'm glad you said you do the leaving and you don't get left. Hello.
Hello.
What does that mean? Why do you do that?
This means I'm agreeing with it.
Why?
You do the leaving, you don't get left.
You don't even know what she did and you're agreeing with her.
I sure am.
Do you know that?
Power.
Women power. Oh my days. Are you the narcissist?
Am I the narcissist?
Yes.
Or do I have narcissistic tendencies?
Are you a narcissist?
I don't believe so. And do you know what? That being said, people that are narcissistic allegedly don't think they are. So maybe I am. We'll find out later in the show.
What do you think a narcissist is?
This is the other thing. People don't always know the definitions of everything. So people throw out terminologies like, you're misogynistic, you're a narcissist, you're this, you're that.
Who usually calls people misogynists and narcissists and don't know what the words mean?
I think a lot of women call men misogynists or say they're misogynistic.
Want to know
misogynists.
They do say that. I heard someone say it to you earlier.
Yes. Yes. That's funny. So do you think you're a narcissist?
No, I don't believe so. But I also think...
Why don't you think you're a narcissist?
I think I've got a lot of self-awareness. I live in my fuckery. If I'm on some bullshit, I know about it. So I find that people that have certain narcissistic traits are not self-aware about what they're doing. And they hide from the truth of their actions rather than owning up to be like, yes, I did do that and I was on... So
they don't have accountability?
They lack accountability, yeah.
Do women usually lack accountability?
I think everyone lacks a certain level of accountability. I wouldn't say...
Do you think...
women.
But I agree with you, but do you think, from what you've seen out there, especially on my show...
You want to talk about your show?
Yeah,
then
my
yes.
show. Do you... Okay, from what you've seen on my show, do you think women are good with accountability?
No, not necessarily.
So
I've seen a lot of
because
blame.
of that means possibly, not maybe not, but possibly a lot of women are narcissists, but they don't think they are.
Yeah, exactly, because narcissists don't think they're narcissists.
There you go.
That's something that makes them narcissistic.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, cool. Moving on. Are you the narcissist?
I'm Francesca. I will say no.
Why?
In terms that for a long time, I really put myself in a corner. Even in a relationship, I was more like submissive part of it, not like seeking any kind of attention or just, to be...
You're the submissive type.
I used to be.
So what are you now?
Now I'm more self-aware of who I am. I'm able to put healthy boundaries. I'm able to communicate very well what I want.
So you're not submissive no more?
I'm not saying that. I will say that
you said you're not submissive anymore. So what do you mean? Like,
in terms that I'm more self-aware of myself.
You can be self-aware and submissive,
I know where's the time
They're
that
not mutually
I
exclusive.
know, but I know where is my time to be apart and where is my time to shine.
When is your time to shine in a relationship?
When it's time to communicate my boundaries. If something is not working, I'm able to sit down and have a healthy conversation with my partner.
And be dominant.
It's not about being dominant. You just communicate your partner who you are. What you want.
Isn't dominant the opposite of submissive though?
It is. Yeah.
So you said you used to be submissive, so I'm assuming now you're dominant.
No, you can't change from one extreme to another.
Oh, you can.
Personally, the journey I've been through, I'm just changing some of my traits. I'm trying to be more vocal on what actually are my needs. I can be dominant in some situation, or I can be submissive in other situation.
Oh,
So
okay.
I won't call myself now being extremely submissive.
So are you the
Neither being
narcissist?
dominant.
That's what I want to know. Are you the narcissist?
Nah, don't think so.
Okay. Next one. Yeah.
Am I a narcissist? No, I'm not.
Why?
Because I own my bullshit. Like what you were saying. If I've done something wrong, I'm accountable for what I've
Talking to the mic.
Sorry. If I've done something wrong, I'm accountable for what I've done. So I own my bullshit.
When's the last time you was held accountable and you was like, yeah, hey, it was me, yeah?
The other day. with
What
my
did
mum.
you do? What did you do?
Oh, it's
I mean in terms of a guy.
in a guy.
Yeah.
When I was last in a relationship, I fucked up on my behalf. I did something.
You lot
wrong
are doing
and I
bare
owned it.
swearing today, man.
Sorry,
What the hell?
and I owned it. So
What did you do?
I don't really want to speak about it.
Mad thing.
It's not a mad thing. It's not like that. It's not cheating or anything like that. It's just something like personal happened, and obviously I had to own it and then like be vocal and tell him how it was.
Are you the narcissist?
No.
What is a narcissist?
No, why are you asking me what a narcissist? I'm not a narcissist.
I'm asking you because you say you're not one, so that means you know what you're not, innit? So what's a
I
narcissist?
don't really want to say the wrong thing and look like an idiot, but I know I'm not a narcissist.
No one wants to look like an idiot.
Well, then.
Alright.
Sorry guys, I didn't introduce myself. My name's Esther.
Alright, cool. Are you the narcissist?
I'm Nazarene Veronica, and well, I wouldn't say I am. No, I think I care too much about other people. I'm very empathetic, and I'm very good at seeing, like you said, where I went wrong and owning up to it, and then just having a conversation and reaching a conclusion through having a good, healthy conversation.
Are you the submissive type then?
Yeah, I would say I am.
What does that mean in a relationship when you're being submissive? What does that mean?
It means I allow the man to lead. I allow the man to make the decisions. Obviously, I like to have some sort of an input, so I will share how I feel about it, but he doesn't have to take that into consideration if he feels that it's the right thing.
Oh, so the man can ignore what you're saying and you're calm with
Not
that?
ignore, no. But if he feels that, for example, the safer option is to not do what I'm feeling, then I obviously would trust him, because I wouldn't get with someone that I don't trust to make decisions. So yeah.
Okay. What does a guy need to do so that you trust him?
Be very mature, be very driven and motivated, have a plan for his life and how he wants it to look, and sort of, hopefully have a plan which is similar to mine so that we can work together and get there in the end and reach our goals together.
Okay. Are you the narcissist? Are you the one we've been looking for here in the group? Are you the narcissist?
Let me just say this. That is the worst word that someone looked up and brought to social media. Narcissist. Like, out of nowhere, the past year or two, everyone's a narcissist. This is a narcissist. Like, whoever decided to introduce that word to us, please. If you're not
It was probably a
diagnosed with
woman that brought it to social media.
It probably was a man who hurt her heart, and she was like, this man's a narcissist, and now is spiraling out of control.
Are you the narcissist?
Yeah, I probably am. Yeah.
There we go. Am I.
There we go. I probably definitely am. Hence why I hate the word.
Narcissist Anonymous. So what makes you the narcissist? What do you do, narcissist?
Actually, I'm not a narcissist. I'm actually an empathetic person, but,
What?
Yeah, I'm very empathetic. People can't tell, but yeah.
So you're empathetic. So you're not a narcissist?
No, I'm not a narcissist. I just like to talk smack.
What is a narcissist then?
I think that's someone who's more self-absorbed within themselves. So It's one of those people like who likes to trauma dump on you, but you can never trauma dump on. Trauma dumpers are narcissists, without a doubt. Like those people who just can't see anything outside of their world and who has to take everything and bring it back to them, and everything is about them, and everybody does wrong to them. That is more of narcissistic behavior, and they really can't help themselves. They don't see what they're doing because, you know, it's a real
Who
thing.
more like who usually does those kind of behaviors, men or women, in your opinion?
I mean,
Girl
you know,
power.
No. I would say it's an even thing. Like I have friends who a little bit. I'm like, yeah, my friend will tell you I'm bipolar and narcissistic. Like, yeah.
Are you bipolar?
No, I'm not bipolar.
Mm.
I'm tripolar. Try me. Might get a pole up your head or something.
Oh, smoky settings. Smoky.
But
Love that.
not bipolar.
That's interesting still. Are you a narcissist?
My name's Cody.
And bring the mic down so we can see you. Are you the narcissist?
I probably am, yeah.
Why? Why do you do that?
Because if I'm in a situation and I want to get out of it, I'm going to chat shit.
Why? Why can't you just
It is what it is.
why can't you just be nice
I'll be nice at that time, but I'll still chat
while you're
shit
being a
about
narcissist?
Because.
What?
Because.
No. You're gonna be nice while you're being a narcissist.
Oh, yeah.
Can you do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that. So have you been a narcissist your whole life, or is it something you've learned?
Yeah, I probably learned from an ex.
Oh, you learned it's a
Yeah,
man's
he
fault.
got away
Of
with
course,
it.
it's a man's fault.
He got away with it. He got away with it, so I tried it, and I get away with it, and I love it.
So he was a narcissist to you, and then you thought, like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna do
like-
what he does now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you the dominant type, or are you the
Yeah.
submissive type?
No, dominant.
You dominant.
Yeah.
What does okay? So in a relationship, what does that mean? You're the dominant type. So does the guy have to be like, I don't know, do you bend the guy over or something?
Yeah, might as well slap his ass at the same time.
Is
yeah.
it?
Yeah, pull his knickers down. He might as well wear
You
my
got him
phone.
wearing knickers as well. Wow.
But wait a minute. Do you peg men?
Pardon?
Do you peg men?
What's that? Hey.
Peg.
Peg.
What's that?
That's kind of when you take like a toy and go into the back door for them. Like some men like to be pegged.
So you do the doggying.
No. I mean, I ain't tried it, but I reckon.
Would you do
I reckon
that to
it'll
a guy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bravo.
she's down.
No,
with it.
just to let him know how it feels.
Hey, show of hands, yeah. Who would peg a guy here?
No.
Put your hand out. You said you would.
Oh, okay. Everyone already knew. Why else?
So
I would, yeah, 100%.
what? So only one of you. I don't believe you lot, man. You lot a cat.
If that's what
If
they
a man
like,
lets
then
me
Peg a
peg him,
100%.
he's not the man for me. Because why am I pegging you?
Yeah.
Why am I doing that? No.
Because okay, let me give you
But you
a
need to give
scenario.
him a feel of how it feels.
He likes what
for
he
us.
likes.
He needs to
No.
No, because you
Nah,
know what? Let
you
me tell
two's motivations are two different motivations.
Yeah. No.
You want to do it because you're a bad mind.
Power trip.
I would 100% do that. I would fully do that.
Yeah,
That's
me too.
mad.
That's what a man.
he
Who said
wants-
me
That's what he
too?
likes.
If he wants
said
it, I'm going to give it
100%?
him.
I put it on there. She said me too, bruv. Put it on there,
If
bruv.
that's what they like, and if that's how they find pleasure, you want to pleasure your man, and that's what he likes, 100%. You're getting
So you're
pegged.
gonna peg him.
If that's what you want.
Yeah.
So he said to you one day, like, I just want to bend over in front of you. I just want you to like thrust inside. Like you're just gonna be like, yeah, cool, calm.
But you're
I'll do
just
that.
making it a
And
bit
just put
corny
it
now,
on.
Like,
Huh?
there's a way, obviously, like thrust inside. That's making it a bit like it.
I mean, however he's
that's
gonna
what-
say it, it's the same outcome, bruv. It's the same
okay.
result. You're
Okay,
inside.
yeah, if that's what they want. That's what they want.
Raw. This world's mad.
I know some men like
Everyone
to
hit
play
the
with
like
their-
button. Everyone hit the like button. This is the mega show, bruv.
The mega show's gone mad already.
Mad. So who else would peg their guy? What if you lot think about it? What if you was in love with the guy? You've been beating each other. You've done enough like busting nuts. Yeah, you know things is becoming a little bit dead and dry. And he's like, yeah, I think it's time we try something new. You know.
And he's gay.
Exactly.
Period. Like, no, honestly, a man's G spot is called the A spot, is in his anus. So if I am dating a man and he's telling me to peg
How
him,
do you find that out?
how do I mean, I research. If you can't tell, I'm a researcher.
Oh, you research.
I like to research. I like to know.
Is it practical or just in books or Google? Which one is it?
Whichever comes first. Google, books,
Whichever
all of
comes
that.
first.
Whichever comes
Hey,
first.
no pun intended.
However, you know what it is? You initially hear information, and then once you hear information, now you want to research information more.
So
And
now you have the information. What are you gonna do with it?
well, I know if I go like this to my man and say, let me play with your booty, and he says yes, I'm going to be looking at him suspicious. So.
Yeah, but you just said that that's where the pleasure zone is.
That
What you
is,
research.
yeah.
So obviously you should use that research for the good of mankind.
Yes. Doesn't
Listen,
make them
if
gay.
this ain't doing it for him, I'm just not the girl for you.
Yeah.
If you,
Do you want to know something mad, yeah?
Go on.
So when I was
that
in
your
college in
thing?
America, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. When I was in college in America, yeah, like obviously I had a mate from the UK, from Northern England, right? And he said, oh yeah, Mike, bro, like, yeah, so I had this MILF, right? And I was like smashing and that. And then she just stuck her fingers up my, you know what I mean? And he was like, no. I was like, bruh, like, and he's like, no, bruv, it was nice. I was like, bruv.
that's the quickest way to get your man
100%.
hard. Yeah. There's a lot of women.
They love it.
Yeah.
Put it in there again. Say it again, go on.
They love it.
Who, what, is
Men
that
love it.
what? You've been
They
doing
love
that to
it.
guys, yeah?
Have done.
They love
You
it.
got nails as well.
I watched a porno the other day, actually. There was
Hey,
a-
corn, man, corn.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was
Remember,
watching
there's some
porn the other
words we
day.
don't say here. Go on.
Yeah, and there was a woman actually doing that to her partner. Couldn't believe it.
What, how many fingers?
I think she had about 3 in there.
Ooh.
She was actually trying to like climb in, I think. But it was, I was like, I'm not even joking. I was
What
like,
is
oh
going
my
on?
God. Oh, let me. Next
Would you
time-
do the 3 fingers?
Yeah.
Would you do 3 fingers?
I've not done fingers.
What have you done? What have you done?
You don't have to just use your
She's on
fingers.
demon time.
Yeah.
What? Carrots?
There's other ways.
Cucumber?
Of stimulation.
Look at them.
Stimulating
They've two
the
got a
area.
connection now.
No, you know what?
Connection.
Let me ask.
What the hell is going on, bro?
But wait, let
They
me
was like, she was like, yeah, you don't need to use fingers. The other one was like, yeah. Yeah. Bro, that is mental, bruv. Hey, some of you guys are freaks out there, bro. Like, bro, just give me missionary and doggy. I'm good, man.
Boring.
All right, cool. She said boring. All right, cool. Are you the narcissist?
I wouldn't say I am. So
Yeah, most narcissists never say they are.
but I do think that there are situations where people can bring out narcissistic traits in other people, and I would say that I have had those traits come out from me being with people who bring those out.
So you are a narcissist then?
I would admit that I have done things that I'm not proud of.
What was the
behaved in
last
ways I'm not
narcissist thing you did? Narcissist?
proud. So it was a ex one, yeah, and I just didn't treat him fairly, and I
In what way?
did the
Give me an
wrong thing.
example.
So he was very feminine, and
Uh-oh.
he was a really nice guy.
Oh God!
He was
Here
nice.
goes the nice guys.
And but seriously, I feel really bad about that often because he was a nice guy, he was a good guy, but I am feminine, and so we just clashed in that way because it was just there was no balance.
Why did you even pick a feminine guy then?
Because we had things in common. He was nice. He was funny. He had a lot of good traits, but his general demeanor was more feminine.
Like what? Like, because I don't know about that life. So how was
So
it?
he lacked leadership skills. He lacked confidence. He was a pushover. He let people take the piss out of him.
He probably let you do that too, innit?
I did it.
Rob, where?
That's what made her
I did it,
narcissistic.
and I feel very badly about that. And I
Did
think
you apologize to him?
I did.
Did he accept it?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Mm.
So, but at the end of the day, I
Mad.
think that he did. I think that he did.
I mean, how do you? It's either he did or he didn't. Like,
Well, because in the situation, people are going to be upset and salty. So, maybe he understood where I was coming from later, or maybe he just thought you're chatting shit. Like, I don't care if you're sorry, but I am sorry, and I think that it was wrong.
so
And-
are you the narcissist? That's what I'm trying to find out.
So what I'm trying to say is that I'm not a narcissist,
But you've been a
but I
narcissist.
have acted in ways, yes, that I'm not proud of.
So you've been a narcissist.
I have, yeah. I
All right,
would
cool.
say.
So you're the narcissist. There you go. All right, next one. What about you in the corner? Are you the narcissist as well as the pegger?
There you go.
I think I've definitely been the narcissist in the past when I was a bit younger in relationships, definitely. But I think I'm not now. I think, like you, I've had narcissistic instances where I've done things, that have narcissistic traits, but I'm definitely own up.
What was the last narcissist thing you did?
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
So many.
Pegged your guy.
Pegging the guy even when he didn't want it. Bend over, Bobby.
Get down and lay down.
Get down, Bobby. It's that time again.
But
Four fingers.
Yeah, I take ownership now I'm older and I recognize these things now.
So are you still the narcissist or not the narcissist?
No, not now.
So you're an ex-narcissist?
Yeah. I am.
I feel like like you said, I feel like all of us have had like narcissistic traits, especially when we've been younger. Because I feel like at that time we don't want to own anything that we've done.
100%.
Rather just pass the blame on to someone else because it's easier to do that.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone has done that. So I feel like in our past we've all been, how you say it, narcissistic. So
it's just easier to blame someone else, isn't it?
Yeah,
But
that's just how it is in life. People are quick to pass the baton to someone else instead of owning it themselves. So
are you a narcissist or are you just self-absorbed? Because at a certain age, you're just self-absorbed.
It's true.
Moving on. Are you the narcissist?
No, I don't think so.
Why don't you think you're a narcissist? You look like a narcissist.
How do I look like a narcissist?
You all look like narcissists to me.
Women for you are narcissists, just like that.
I think most women are narcissists. A lot of guys are narcissists. Yeah, normal.
Okay, cool.
I think a lot of people think that there's some really good person, but really and truly, when push comes to shove, I think most people are narcissists. They care about themselves more than anybody else.
Oh, well, that's normal then. If you...
So you're a narcissist?
No, I'm replying to what you said, basically.
Oh.
If you basically push someone to an extent to become narcissist, so everyone has those traits. They just need to come out in certain situations.
When you're dealing with guys, do you think you're a narcissist?
No.
So what are you then?
I'm not a narcissist.
So what? If you're not a narcissist, then what are you then?
I mean, I haven't been put in a situation to become a narcissist. Like, I've been basically blamed for things not going right, so I guess...
And well, you just took it?
Yeah, that's it.
So are you the submissive?
I guess I was, yeah.
Oh, are you still that now?
I have no idea. I haven't experienced
You don't know
that.
what you are?
Nah. Maybe I'm not.
How old are you?
22.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, fair enough.
Oh, okay. What do you think the last guy you was involved with, yeah? What do you think he would say about you?
In what way?
Like, would he say good things, bad things? Like,
Yeah, I guess he would say good things.
like what? What do you think he would say about you?
Maybe, I don't know, that he messed things up and he's
Did he
sorry
cheat
for that.
on you?
Yeah, he did.
How many times did he cheat?
Once.
How did you find out?
I mean, he told me.
He told you?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
For boy.
I mean, he
How
really
did-
likes you.
Yeah.
Like, so what? Like, he just said to you, like, really, like, oh, I cheated on you, like.
Yeah, just out of nowhere. And he's just
Really?
like, I went out with another person. I'm like,
He went out. That's
I mean,
it.
no, actual cheating. So,
Oh, so his willy was going inside someone else.
well, yeah. If you want to put it that way.
I mean, there's other ways you could put it. It could be going in her mouth. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Still cheating.
Cool. Yeah, exactly.
Or it could be a hand job. I don't know.
Still cheating.
Well, I wasn't there, so how will I know?
I mean, no. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. So are you the narcissist?
No.
Okay. What about you?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Why not?
Because I always try to look at things from the other person's perspective, even if I don't understand it.
So that means, so what does that make you then if you're not a narcissist? What are you then, in your opinion?
A non-narcissist?
Are you the submissive? Are you the submissive then?
Yes, I'm submissive.
Have you always been like that, or is it a learned thing?
In relationships, I've always been like that, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do you think that guys have taken advantage of that? Do you think guys...
'Cause I don't give my energy to the wrong guys.
Oh, so you make good choices in men.
I wouldn't say good choices, but I try and take my time to get to know people fully and see them, their emotional responses in all types of situations before, I commit to them.
How long does it take to do that?
Well, it's taken years because I've been with the same person on and off since I was a teenager.
Oh, damn, boy. That's really good. So what do you think of narcissists? What is a narcissist? I want to know what it is.
I don't know the textbook definition, but I know that I know some narcissistic traits, like they're self-absorbed, their inability to see things from other people's perspective. So I know more of the traits than the actual definition.
Do you think narcissists are bad people?
Not really.
Because I'm the narcissist.
I don't know. I feel
I am whatever you lot say I am.
I think the girl that left is the narcissist because she did make it about her when she exited.
I don't know. I mean, she's not here to defend herself, so let's not do that. But yeah, like, so are the narcissists bad people?
Each to their own. Who am I to judge?
No, in your opinion.
To be honest, I don't let people's behaviors trigger me in any way.
No one triggers you.
No one I don't care about.
Oh,
and I don't care about many people.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. All right, cool. Everyone watching, make sure you hit the like button, man. We got over 300 people watching. Love it. Make sure we got 300 likes on the video, and then we'll be at 1,000 people watching in no time. All right. I want to jump into something real quick, yeah? We're going to look at a little video. There's a guy called Adam22, and he's got a wife who's called Lena the Plug, and she does corn, and he does corn as well. And they used to do corn with other women. So they'd have threesomes, will be 2 girls and the guy, right? Standard. And then recently he got married to Lena the Plug and they had a kid, right? And then all of a sudden, Lena the Plug has to go and shoot a corn movie with another guy. Some big black guy, some 9-inch big black guy, bruv. Very well-known black guy. So what do you lot think about that, first of all, before we look at the video? What do you lot think about that?
I think it's disgusting. I think marriage is to do with God. And I think if you want to ruin a marriage by having infidelity in your marriage and adultery, then you shouldn't get married at all. And leave the marriage to people who actually believe in God and believe in the reasons you get married. Like, that is literally cheating. It's adultery and it's disgusting. And if you have a child together, that's just disrespectful.
Who's the one doing the cheating, the man or the woman?
I mean, they both are, to be fair.
But they're doing a threesome, so the woman's there.
Yeah, they're both cheating.
Is that cheating?
Yes.
Do you lot agree with that? Do you lot think that's cheating? Like, if a guy has his woman and then he's like, you know what, babe, let's do a threesome.
Not
is that
cheating, not cheating, but it's adultery and it's against the rules of marriage. It's against, you go against your vows.
Is it?
Yes, it's meant to be just you two together forever through sickness and health. You know, you're meant to be together and not be with other people. Like that, God didn't make marriage for 3 people.
But what about before they got married, though? They was doing that before they got married.
Yeah,
so what about that?
Even then, I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But once you get married, it's different.
What do you lot think about it?
I think that they're both.
Hold on. What did you say?
It's their job.
Yeah, that's
it's their job.
And they met each other like that.
Job. And I'm not being funny or anything. They can cry in a Lamborghini.
Yeah. They met each other in that way.
Cry in a Lamborghini.
Yeah, if they're going to cry about it, they've done it. So,
I mean, I do agree with her in terms of how you visualize the marriage. In terms of I'm Christian, so I see the wedding, get married with someone with that way. But however, they met each other in that circumstances. They were doing it together. So if they both agree on it, that's the life they're conducting.
Yeah,
that's cool.
each to
Probably, yeah, they didn't get, I don't think they get a Catholic wedding or marriage. I think they just want to stay with each other and enjoy their life that way.
They're as bad as each other. Like, honestly, like, it's just, they were doing it beforehand. Yeah. Like, you know, so why does that matter now? Like, you've been doing it before.
It's a mutual agreement.
My thing is this, yeah? Like, so obviously he was doing it with his woman, and then his woman was, or whatever, there was another woman involved, so it's a threesome, but his missus is there.
Absent.
Huh?
He's absent from the picture. So she's doing it with someone else, but he's gone.
Yeah, he's not involved. It's just her and another man. They're just doing their own scene.
Is he happy about it?
Does he know about it?
I mean, we're going to see.
Does he know about it?
Yeah, of course he knows.
Oh, then
he knew. He knew before they did the scene.
But is there just fine? She's given. She's had.
Like, do you not?
She's had his permission. If they've discussed it beforehand and he knew what she was going to do, and they were doing this beforehand, they've discussed it as partners, and that's what they've decided to do, and their relationships can still work after that. Fair play, do your thing. I don't necessarily agree with it. And if you get into religion, you say that it's a Christian marriage and they're going against oath, then I think that we have to kind of bring out a lot of other stuff, because Christianity also has other rules and regulations that we go against every day. Drinking, smoking. So there becomes a point where, you've got to look at, where do you draw the line?
Yeah, I mean,
A sin is a sin.
In a
sin is a
circumstance
sin.
where he would be offended, at the fact that she did
Then it's
it,
different.
you see who you're trying to marry. Like, you know the
100%,
person, you know
yeah.
what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So why is you
That's it.
offended right now? So it
Exactly.
depends. Like, let's see the video because
Yeah.
He
you
might
know,
not be
it's-
offended.
Do you know
if
what?
he was offended,
I
then
think
yeah.
when a child's involved, that the child is the most important person in the equation, and that child is going to grow up to see their parents online.
Yeah, but without the
Before
black
that,
guy.
Sleeping
before
with
that,
other
though,
people.
Without
before
the
he was born, they were doing that. So
Yeah.
the child would see that whether
Yeah,
they
I was
carried
about
on
to
doing that or
say.
not. So
I know,
they've
but
already
then
wrecked
it's
the child.
afterwards. It's even
you know?
worse, in my opinion, after
Yeah.
you've been married and had a child. It's such a
Yeah.
bad example to show your children,
Yeah, I mean, they're
that you
both
can
to
just
blame
sleep
in
around.
that situation. If they have a child and they still kept doing it, so it's both of them are to blame, not
Yeah,
one of them.
I
mean, it's
agree.
unfair because both of you decided to have a child. So if both of you carried on doing your job or whatever you're doing, both of you have to be blamed because you have a child now, and at the end of the day, that child would grow up to see you both maybe on screen or whatever doing that when he was born. So they didn't think of the child. So I don't think we should blame one of them at the end
No.
of the day.
That
They should
child's
both
been
be
brought
blamed.
into, both parents are into corn, so he's not going to know any different anyway.
Yeah.
But I think that's normal.
That's what. So
Don't
it's
you
gonna
think
be
that? Don't you
normal
think
for him.
that? Don't you think that's mad though? Like,
Exactly.
It is.
Exactly.
like, don't you
Right.
think that's
It is
mad that a
right.
child will be
That's
born into a
horrible.
family of corn?
That's
It's
horrible.
That's
It is.
mad.
They're gonna
bruv.
get
If you're
slapped
brought up in
regardless.
that way, you know no difference.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
That's his or she's.
That's the new normal.
I think the
It's
child
just
will
like-
find
It will
out that
find
it's
out when it
different.
goes to
I think it
school
will.
and,
It's like,
yeah,
it's
it's
When,
gonna-
I think,
Yeah, but it's not gonna have
hold
opinion.
on. I think the child is gonna find out when he goes to school. As soon as they touch school, and everybody
Exactly.
knows who your mum and dad
Yeah,
are,
that's it. It's all
yeah,
over.
they're gonna get bullied
Yeah, they
Exactly.
are.
hard.
They are.
Trust me,
They
you
are.
went to my school and you would have got.
You're getting it.
Bruh, you'd have to leave school.
Yeah.
You'd have to go to another school.
That
bruh.
child's
Something.
life
Go
is
to another
written
country or
off.
something, bruh.
Even if they go to another country, everyone
Go to
has
another
access.
country.
Yeah, because it's not just
their
gonna be
parents had
one.
sex
They do.
on TV.
Yeah, and anyone can go. Anyone with an
look at your
internet
mum.
connection can see
Exactly.
your mum getting drilled.
Yeah, it's the
Bro.
mentality of people these
By
days.
your
isn't
dad.
it?
And I hope,
Let
and
it go.
especially if you're a
By
boy,
your dad,
especially
yeah.
if you're a boy, you are going to get it from everybody, bro. And what are you gonna say
Yeah,
back?
but he's gonna have
You're just gonna be
he's-
fighting every single day.
But
That's what you're gonna be doing.
Yeah, but the parents ain't going to be sitting there and going, do you know what? You're going to go to school, but everyone's going to bully you about us having.
Yeah, because
sex
they
and
didn't
The
everything.
parents don't need to tell the
Yeah, but
child.
they're
He's gonna go to
they're gonna
the
prepare
school and
them.
get bullied, bro.
It's
gonna
gonna
be
come
bullied.
out. That's not the only example. Like when you look at Kardashians and stuff, there was like a sex tape or something. What the children are gonna do now? Like it's been all over the internet anyway.
Yeah, I
So
know.
he's like, even if they don't say anything to the kid, his life is written off, bro. Do you know why?
Yeah.
Because like they know if they're popular people, if that's on the internet right now, the kids are gonna find out anyway.
Absolutely.
His life is done.
Yeah.
Think about
why?
the other kid's parents gonna know who you are. They're gonna tell their kids, oh, think your little mate, his mum,
Yeah, you're not going to his
Boom,
house.
that's
Past or
it,
present,
bro.
it's
That's
there.
it.
I mean,
Internet,
not
it's
necessarily.
there forever.
Unless you have your kid in private school. If you have your kid, I'm sure they have enough money to put their kid in private school,
hope so.
homeschool.
Even
Well, you think you
private
can't get
school.
bullied in private school?
They would
I
still
mean,
get
well,
bullied.
but they're
It's not
probably
gonna make a
putting
difference.
him somewhere, or her, whoever the kid is, somewhere where they don't have to have interactions.
No, you can't
That's
escape
not
it.
gonna. Yeah, that
You
won't
can't
change
escape
anything.
You're gonna
Fundamentally,
you're
they
gonna
didn't
get bullied
care.
in one way or another, bro.
They
But for
didn't
me-
think about that, especially if you're saying she's with another man. So obviously, both of them have kind of effed up, in my opinion, when they've chosen up a life partner.
Yeah.
Because they've both gone with someone who is
And kept doing
doing
it.
that for a living. And then that's just my personal opinion. I'm not judgmental.
But then
that's
does
my
that not
opinion.
make them suit?
Does that
other
not
porn
Yeah,
stars?
make them
maybe
suit
it did
each
make them
other?
suit.
Yeah.
Maybe they're
Perhaps,
just.
but I fundamentally disagree
Yeah,
with her
I
getting
disagree.
drilled out by another guy.
disagree.
And why
I
has it
disagree.
changed now? I have a question for them. Why was it before it was another female and now she's had a child, it's another man?
I don't
And
know.
he's not involved. This is all techie.
Yeah,
I wanna
that's a
understand.
very good question.
I would like
Why
to
is it
understand.
after you got married and had a child, now
Now
you
it's a
must
man?
get drilled by
Yeah.
the polar opposite? But because Adam 22 is a white dude, now all of a sudden you're gonna get drilled out by black. And I know color shouldn't matter, but it does. Let's keep it real.
Some men get turned off
That's-
by that.
No, I get that,
Watching
but I'm
the-
just wondering
Watching
why.
a female get.
I'm just wondering why.
It's the
That
next
is-
ma-
there's a
next
word
way
for
them to
guys
make-
like that. There's a word for guys like that.
That's one
And
of
it
the
like
most.
you know
cuckoo.
what I'm saying? And that's weird.
And it like cuckooing or something.
But MILFs are like a hot
That's what it
topic.
is. It's like,
If you
it's cuckooing.
if you actually watch porn,
Corn.
if you actually watch porn, MILFs are definitely a hot topic up there. So it's one of those things that who knows? Maybe it's marketing. Maybe she got her body back. You know, a lot of
100%.
times, like after a baby, your body changes, especially after a certain age.
I
She
think
got
it's
her
just
body
because
back.
she's Lena the plug, I think, to be honest, and she's Adam 22's wife.
She don't sound like she's plugged in.
I'm confused because when you're in love as a woman, you don't want anybody else. So I don't think she's in love. She's had his child. She's married him. She's chosen to marry him. She should be in love with him. No?
Are you married?
But if
No.
she sees this as a job, then sometimes people can have that separation from work and
Or getting drilled.
you know, if she just sees it as
Drill
work,
music.
then emotions don't come into play with what she's doing. So
But it
therefore,
does.
that's
That's
probably
very
why
true. But it does.
she doesn't see it as an issue.
You have to understand, marriage is a business contract. So a lot of times when people get married, it's I love you, you love me, but it just makes more sense financially for us to get married. And that could be what that was.
I personally wouldn't marry, like, according to the law, I'd marry for God only. So I'd have a godly marriage, not a law marriage. But even so, you're still making vows to your partner. You're still promising things that you've just broken.
What about
Who would do that in here? Who would have a marriage where it's not like it's not contractual? Who would do that in here?
Wait, what do you mean?
So you're not signing on a contract. You can have the whole thing, because I think that in my head as well. I would have a marriage. I'll get married and all that, you know. But I wouldn't want to sign my name. I don't want to sign my name. Because why? Why are we signing? Why are we signing?
Why should the government have any say in a
why are they
marriage?
involved? Why is the government involved?
There's two types. You can get married to the state, and you can get married just like for God, right? So
Yeah.
it depends what religion. So you go to church, and then you sign the paper and stuff, and because in front of God you're married, now you're a couple, right? But then people get married to the state. So later on, you go to like the office and stuff, and you sign the papers, so that later on, and that's been a massive topic as well. And a lot of my male friends, my cousins and stuff, like we spoke about this as well. They're actually skeptical about that. They don't want to do that because once you get married to the state, there's the whole thing agenda of the fact that the woman after divorce, she like secures the bag, like she takes 50, even though your parents and your ancestors worked for your wealth throughout the centuries, right? And now you own it, your wife can take 50.
But what you have to
contract,
let me
fam.
say something in regards to that, right?
yeah.
What you have to understand is this. Back in the day, right now in this day and age, women are working. Back in the day, women did not work. Women will get married. The man will pay the bills, do everything. Now, if that man decides that he wants to leave you and you left with the kids, what do you have for yourself? You have nothing for yourself. You did not work. You did not accumulate any money. You didn't put any money aside, any of that. So that's when the state stepped in to make sure that as a woman, if you are a stay-at-home mother, a stay-at-home wife, you can still have the same lifestyle you had if your man decides to get up and leave.
You're right, and I agree. But the thing is, like, let's say Islamically, for example, I've got a lot of Muslim friends, so I kind of see like the culture and stuff, like what it looks like. So the marriage, even though you don't get married to the state, the marriage still protects you, because what you do is on the contract you state how much you're actually going to get as a woman, like the money that they pay you, and they can secure you with like just anything. Those are, like, it depends on the guy, like how much he's got and stuff.
That's still a contract.
It's a prenup.
That's
like
still a
that-
contract.
that's it.
You're
It's still
talking
a
about non-contractual. That's still a contract. You just said we're going to sit down in a premarital agreement and
It
we're
all
going to
boils down to
agree
money at the
on
end.
how much, who's going to get when, if, what, where, why, and when. I don't know who's been
It's
married
really,
yet, but
really, it's
yeah,
about
like,
it's about how much the woman's gonna get.
Exactly. Can
That's
I
what
say
it really
something?
boils down to. Go on.
Exactly.
Mention
Sorry.
cheat.
I was just going to say.
What'd you say?
speaking-
You can't just let that just fly. What did you say?
Then men shouldn't cheat.
Men should. Oh, I thought you said men are cheap.
No, I said then men shouldn't cheat because most of the times when a woman decides to get up and leave, the man has cheated on her. She's tired of it.
Do men cheat more than women?
Of course.
What do you
No,
mean?
they don't.
We
Why,
cheat.
why?
We cheat
Why
better.
do you think that? Why do
we
you think
cheat
that?
better because men biologically, that is something that's biological. We're emotional creatures. Men are physical creatures. So it's
You
just
know,
it's
it's actually
in their nature.
50-50, right? You know, it's actually 50-50.
According to
Now.
statistics, yes, yes,
Now,
yes.
also
A
But you
certain
need to go by
demographic.
you need to go
Yes,
by
yes.
stats, otherwise how else are you going to know the truth?
Exactly.
You know why you can't go by stats? Because
No, you
stats
have
is
to
a
go by
selected.
stats.
It's a selected small demographic.
So then what else should you
But
go
what
on?
are you
People's
going by?
emotions and stories.
Yeah.
Run by in
An
real life.
anecdotal.
I'm a real woman
But
who
how do
lives
you
in
know
a real
every
world.
person in the world that has every experience? It doesn't
I don't
make
know every
sense.
person in the world. I just know what I see.
Do you know what you?
But then that's
What
not
do you know? One
accurate.
thing though, you said that women are better at cheating. You
Of
know that.
course.
So,
They don't get
if
caught.
think about that. if that's true, that
they not
women,
enough?
hold on, if women are better at cheating, and the stats say that it's 50-50, in all actuality, that means there's actually more women cheating, but they just don't get found out.
Well, women are long haul cheaters. So
Bruh,
we're emotional.
it doesn't matter, bro.
No,
what you're
emotional
saying
long-haul
does not
cheaters,
change what I
right?
said. It doesn't change what I said.
A woman might cheat with one man for a while, whereas a man might cheat with 5 women for, like, you understand? Like,
Is
it's just
adultery adultery? Yes
I mean,
or no?
it is. A sense of
Whether it's
sin.
1 or 5, is
A
it?
sense of
If
sin.
you kill one person, you kill 10 people, you're still a killer.
Yeah, you sure
There
are.
you go.
sure
There you
are.
go. There you go. Thank you.
And also,
Can I speak? Sorry, can I just speak on the point about what you said about? So back in the day, you're right. When women were stay-at-home mums, they had to be protected in some way. But now, when we are all working women, why is it that at the end of the day, women get more than men? I just think it's so unfair because the divorce courts favor women. So I'm a lawyer and I understand how this all works, and we see this time and time again. The woman walks away with more than the man when the man has put in more work, and that's his money essentially.
What about when the man hasn't put in more work?
Let me stop you
I'm
right
actually
there.
not finished because basically what I'm trying to say is that back in the day that made sense. Now it doesn't make sense.
No, but you're saying that so do you have children?
No.
Okay, then. So before you sit there and say that the man puts in more work, maybe he might go to work and make physical money. But when you have a household, you have kids to raise, that's a 24-hour job.
Of course, and I think that's one of the most important
don't ever sit there and say that a man is going to let me finish now. Now you're going to let me finish. So don't ever sit there and say that a woman does not put in as much work.
I didn't mean it in terms of labor. I meant it in terms of monetary.
Okay, Miss Lawyer. All right, Miss Lawyer.
I meant it in terms of monetary.
Okay, Miss Lawyer. Actually, she don't know more than I do.
She does know more than
Actually,
you
she
do.
doesn't know because you don't know what I have. You don't know what I have, do you?
I'm not saying
Miss
I know
Holy
what you have,
you don't know
but
what I have, Miss
she's
Holy.
a lawyer. She's going
Miss Virgin White, you don't know what I have.
She can
Okay,
see.
you don't need to attack her.
So
like,
please,
that's
no, because she needs to mind her business. She needs to mind her business.
We're in this conversation together.
We're having a conversation.
We are having a conversation.
Hold on. Everyone can have their opinion. Everyone's allowed to say what they think, innit?
Which is
Go on,
true.
carry on, Karen.
But do it in a respectful way. If someone's talking and you sitting there over talking me, now you jumping in here, y'all not going to jump me because I bark back.
I was respectful.
No,
I gave my opinion.
This is so disgusting. And you might be the narcissist. Please.
Why? Because I'm sharing my opinion.
Let's watch the video.
Because that's what I want to do.
The narcissist. No, but I want to hear the rest of what you were saying about it, though.
Yeah, so what we see time and time again in the family courts, and what I meant was that men potentially are going in and making the money. And I agree with what you say. The role of a mother is so important. And I think that women should be in the home a lot more. And I think society would be better if women were in the home a lot more. But the way that we have to do things nowadays, we have to go to work. So if we're working and they're working, why is it then that we walk away with more money? Why is it that women walk away with more money and the man ends up living in some crappy apartment while she keeps the house? She then, on top of that, gets alimony or child support, however you want to word it, depending on which country you're from. That's unfair.
Let me
Let him live with you then.
I think you should be on Pearl's show because you would be good for her show.
Don't worry about that. Hey, we're on King Rich's show. Remember that.
No, listen, like to say what your point, I understand what you're trying to say, but if I'm a woman and I've sat there and I've taken care of you, I've taken care of your kids, you're telling me that if we decide to divorce, I shouldn't still have that same lifestyle? Now I have to take your kids and be in a crappy lifestyle?
I think
because
it should be
of whatever.
50-50. I think it should be 50-50.
So that's why the court stepped in, because they're trying to make sure that as a woman, if you sit there and your job has been to take care of this household, do everything, I shouldn't be stripped of that. That's why women get alimony. That's why women get 50% of it. Because if you decide that you're going to leave me or I leave you because of whatever reasons, if the man usually is in the wrong, that's when the woman will get all the money. And it's
Not
only to make sure that the kids keep up with the lifestyle that they are used to.
But if you get 50,
it's more for the kids. Like you can't.
It's over the female.
But if you
female
get
needs to raise those kids.
Go on, say it again. Say it again into the mic.
The female needs to raise the kids. Do you know what I mean? She can't just say, "Oh, do you know what? Go to bed. I'm going to go to work."
Do you know kids that are raised by single fathers usually do better?
Okay.
Yeah.
So why do you say the woman needs to raise the kids? Because if we look at it, men usually raise kids better on their own.
Because in a relationship and a broken home, the children are more to go with the women, unless there's obviously something wrong, and the woman can't raise.
The courts will usually give the kids to the mum automatic.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Like a lot of guys, there's a lot of fathers out there that actually fight to see their children. They don't even get to see their kids. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that there isn't men out there that don't see their kids or fighting.
So do you think it's fair that the courts automatically give custody to the mothers, and the mothers can be like, well, you only get to see your kids like once every 2 weeks?
To the mothers, they give 50-50 custody because.
Do they?
Yeah,
No, they don't.
Do they?
They don't.
Where did you see that?
What? So they don't.
It's not automatically 50. It's not.
They don't have parental rights to their
But
children.
there's men out there that are fighting to see their children, fighting for custody to see their children. Do you understand
They
that?
get taken away from them for no reason.
Yeah.
And also women leaving marriages isn't just because the man's done something wrong. A lot of the time it's just because they want to leave and move on with a new partner because they get bored, for example. I see that a lot. So I don't know about you. Is it always because the man's done something wrong?
No. So women, a lot of the time, women initiate more divorces than men. And a lot of the time it's because the women say, I'm not happy anymore. So as women, we know our emotions are fluctuating all the time. So if we are basing our relationships on our emotions, that's going to be a very rocky and unstable situation for both parties. And yeah, most of the time it is because women just aren't happy anymore. Obviously there's cheating, but now in the UK there's a no-fault law. So it doesn't matter if you cheated, you didn't cheat. Like before there had to be a reason.
Yeah,
and now there's no reason. You can just say, I don't want to do this anymore.
Wow.
That's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That was
changed it.
That
There you
was
go.
last
I don't agree
year.
with that.
There you
That
go.
came in the end of last year.
What's the
we
point
know
of the commitment?
Bruh, this is why guys don't want to get married. I'm telling you, this is why guys don't want to do it. This is why.
And
this is why guys don't want to. Guys like me, I don't want to sign my name to nothing, bruv.
But to
Like
me,
either you're with me or you're not with me. Why do you need the government in there?
Yeah,
If you plan to be with
commitment
somebody,
anyway.
if you plan to be with someone and you plan to stay with them, that shouldn't matter.
It should matter because
you
at the end of
plan-
the day, people are dodgy. People change. People get bitter and twisted and just want to hurt you. A lot of times, and I've seen it on this podcast, a lot of people cannot control their emotions, bruv. Let's keep it real. A lot of times, women are pushed, controlled by their emotions. You could do some really horrible stuff, and then the next minute,
100%.
oh, I didn't mean to do. I just was angry.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm sorry. I
PMS.
can't put my
I
I
agree.
can't put 100% trust that you wouldn't do some U-turn on me. I just don't.
But then
So
you
you won't
shouldn't
get
be
married.
married. Yeah, you shouldn't
you
be
can
marrying
have
that
that
person if
commitment,
you don't
can't you?
have that already.
No, I'm
Marriage is
saying I'm
depth to
not
depth
signing
apart.
I'm not signing my name in a business contract with somebody who I don't know. They might get out of the bed the wrong side that day and just decide to mess my whole life up and then be like, oh, I'm sorry. No, it's already messed up, bruv.
No, but
It's
hold on
done.
a second. So
What do you mean, like?
Can I say
Bro,
something?
there's women that do this all the time, fam. Like, this is not no surprise thing. Everybody sees this.
A godly marriage doesn't need the government's involvement.
Exactly.
If-
you can
if you
commit to
believe
someone
in
without a
God-
piece of paper.
Yeah, if you believe in God, that should be enough. God watching you both should be enough to keep you both respectful, in love, looking
I mean, I
after each
understand that
other.
from a religious perspective, but I just wanted to see, because you're a lawyer, right? So, I don't know, perhaps you don't deal with like marriages and stuff, right? But at the same time, isn't there a law? I mean, once you're married to somebody through like the state, do you not have to have a valid reason to file for divorce?
Not anymore.
So not anymore. So it changed.
When
it
did
was
it
late
change?
last year. It was like
That's crazy.
October, something like
What?
that.
So you can
last
just
year.
wake up one day and be like, you know what? Fuck this guy.
Yep.
Yep.
It's changed in the UK. In the UK, yeah.
That
They've made things
is
a lot
crazy.
more easier
Yeah.
for women.
But
basically.
why?
What is it
But
called?
why?
Irreconcilable differences,
Yeah,
isn't it?
irreconcilable
Yeah, there you
disagreement.
go.
That's what
Yeah.
it's called.
But you
Nice
don't even
one.
need to
It's
have
messed
that
up,
now,
trust
King.
me.
You don't even need to have that now. You can just be like,
Just say I'm done.
I'm done. Yeah.
Do you think
And I want half.
Or more than half.
More than yeah.
It's mad.
Because the women will be like, I'm going to take you for everything. You hear that line all the time.
Yeah, and it'll be the same woman that used to say, "I love you. I'll never hurt you. I'll never
what
do nothing
pushed
to
her to
hurt
do
you."
that?
Who knows?
What pushed her to do that?
Who knows? But I do know this: men and women cheat 50-50.
It could be a video she watched online telling her to go and find better and get someone richer. Like, women are very easily manipulated, sadly. And just a simple thing like that could cause a woman to leave a marriage of years. And there are many stories of that happening now, so it's sad. Social media definitely has a big impact on marriages.
Wasn't there a footballer that kind of like signed all of the money to his mother?
To his mother,
Yeah,
That was
that
so
was
sad.
that was mad.
That's
Yeah.
Hakim, yeah.
What do you lot think about that guy when he, like, what do you think about that situation
He's a
where
genius.
do you think he's smart?
He's a
What do you
genius.
think, Cody? What do you think?
Yeah, he's smart doing that. Yeah.
Do you think that's a okay?
Did they have children?
City boys.
No.
They do. They do have 2 boys.
Do they?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Do they?
Oh, he smashed it then.
Yeah, they have 2 boys.
Yeah, but what about her? What about the children? Like, how are you going to keep
I
up with
think
the
he
children?
will still maintain
Like,
his children, but I think he did it so she doesn't get what he's earned.
That shows his
But-
lack of trust
but
in her,
really-
though, when
but
he married her.
but look
I
how
think every
evil
guy
that
should.
is.
I think every guy should watch
Look
their
how
own back. To be
evil that
honest,
is. If you really
I
look
don't-
how evil that is.
how's that
I
evil?
sat
evil.
there and I had your children. I'm raising.
Them children are good,
your
bro.
legacy.
Them
already
children
set.
are good. They're set, bro. Your dad is a pro footballer. They're set, bro.
But
she's not set.
Yeah.
She's gonna have to go to work.
No, but she's already
still-
famous anyway.
She might have to open OnlyFans. Who knows, bro? But I don't. But you shouldn't
Oh,
care.
there's other jobs than OnlyFans for women.
Why there are so many women do it then?
He's
A
still
Because
lot,
gonna,
of
fast
women,
money.
a lot of women walk away from their normal job to go and do it then.
Just a side
he's
hustle.
still
fast
going to
money.
provide for his children, just
I
not
don't know.
for her, because he doesn't need to really.
But there's 2
if you are
perspectives,
having a
though.
divorce.
There's 2
So
perspectives.
that's the thing about it, right? I'm a woman. I'm in my prime. We talked about prime before. I'm in my prime.
Who's
as
in
a
their
woman,
prime?
right?
Who's in their
I
prime?
know I am. Anyway,
Why?
I'm in my prime. Okay, I'm a woman.
Why
in
are
my
you in your prime, fam?
Really?
25.
Why are you in your prime, fam?
We ain't getting into this again.
We
but
will. Yes, we will.
I'ma say
I'll
this.
wait for later. Man.
I'm gonna say this, right? A woman, you're in your prime. Now you marry this footballer or whatever happens, right? Now I have 2 kids for you. So now any other man you date after that is like, okay, she comes with baggage, right? So automatically the melting pot, the pool of men drops. So you telling me that she's not entitled after all she's put into the marriage? Like, I don't think y'all understand. Y'all don't have kids.
Depends on the reason.
No,
I
but
don't
the
think y'all
thing is,
understand how like that's a real life job. That's a real life commitment.
No, I understand.
And when you
that.
actually sit there and do that, and now you have some man who decides like, I'm just gonna jip you out of everything. Come on.
But you know
What did
what
she
I-
put
but
into
the
it
thing-
financially?
but the
I want to
thing
know
is-
the money side.
so the
This is a thing. I think sometimes men don't always put in financially, or the woman ends up carrying the man. This has happened to me before. And therefore, I don't always agree with the 50-50 thing. Either way, I don't have kids, so I can't account for people with children in it. I don't have kids, but obviously I don't always fundamentally agree with the 50-50. I think things need to be assessed on a case-by-case basis.
It depends on the individual circumstances
Individual
of their relationship.
circumstances, they
She
need to
could be a
look-
waste mum who
You
doesn't
need
do
to look
anything
at,
for her
and that
kids.
also
What did you say?
A waste mum.
Waste mum.
New
We get
word.
waste
Waste
men.
mum.
Yeah, you get waste
Waste
mums
mum.
as well.
Yeah,
You do.
waste
It
mum.
depends on the situation.
Nah,
but
this
the
is
thing
what I
is-
think. Hold on. I
like
think,
her.
yeah, that basically there shouldn't just be some lump sum they just give just for child maintenance.
no.
That's lies, bro. That's where you see the red bottoms and all of this
Yeah.
nonsense come out, bro. Nah, I think that they should calculate it. There should be receipts for everything,
Yes.
like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Just like any other business.
A business.
Yeah.
There needs to be an audit of where's this money going, because these kind of crazy things, especially in your country, where here, the mum is being awarded 50 grand a month just because the guy's high profile and he's made something of his life. Now she needs 50 grand. Why she need 50 grand
They
to look
do it
after
on a
one kid?
percentage.
So I'm gonna tell
And the
you
kid's
why.
like one
their
1
lifestyle.
years old.
no, but
Men-
the thing is,
a lot of men hate when I say this, right?
Go on.
But men need to start dating within their tax bracket and understand who you're dating, right? If you are dating someone, if you're a man, a high profile man, and you decide you want to get a
wow.
bad bitch that everybody wants to go by, that's a high maintenance woman, you got yourself into
Trouble.
that.
Got to expect
Okay.
that.
So when you
Yeah.
got to pay 50 grand a month, you knew who you got pregnant.
Yeah.
You knew who you decided to marry. You know who you were dating. If you just
I
go
agree
get
with
you
that.
a regular
I agree with
Susie
that. I agree
homemaker,
with that.
she ain't worried about all that. She's going to worry about,
Yeah.
are my kids good?
Yeah.
Low profile. She's not going to be trying to take you for everything.
And she's
So,
got her own, so she will just
Exactly.
move on and just with
So,
grace.
Exactly.
you know, every time you hear about a man complaining about a woman taking all their money,
It's one of them
look
bad
at the
bitches.
woman. One of my
Yeah.
favorite NBA players, Gilbert Arenas. Laura Govan tried to snatch all his money. And all he does is like sue her, all types of stuff. But it's one of those things where it's like, you knew who you were dating. You can't date a gold digger and then be surprised when she
that
digs for
type of
gold.
mentality.
Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Fuck.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. I hear that. But yeah, let's jump to the reaction video with Adam22. Let's see what happened, because he was talking to Lena, and she said she was hurting for 3 days after taking pipe from
Oh, no.
that.
Do we have to watch it?
Yes, we do.
That's a good problem to have.
Girl.
Let's jump into it.
Oh, I'm getting a call. Oh, okay. I'm gonna.
That's
take
Adam
this.
22 right there.
Oh, hello.
And that's the black guy.
Look who it is.
Mr. Jason Love. How you doing, man?
What's good? What's good?
We're just doing a little podcast here, and figured that we would, have a little conversation with you.
Hold on, stop. Pause it.
Exactly how all this was.
What would you lot rate his wife? What would you rate him? And would you rate his wife? And what would you rate the Willie, the BBC?
The BBC.
She just looks like a normal standard.
He's a well-known corn.
Oh, you like him, innit?
No, do you know what?
You admire his work. Are you a fan? Are you a fan, man?
I've got some. I don't know whether it's him, but I've got someone on Snapchat that sends me his penis every day.
What, a woman or a man or a woman sending it?
I think it says Jason Love, yeah.
And he's sending
he sends
his
me
Willie.
all the porns, everything. So
The corns.
oh, sorry.
Corns, yeah. Yeah, you're happy, boy. Look at that big smile on your face.
You know what? When you said that, I thought, oh my God, I hope it's not Jason Love. And it's actually.
You know him personal.
They're a good looking couple, though.
She's on the snap.
Oh my God.
Hey, well, so what would you rate him? What would you rate Adam? And what would you rate Lena, like looks and from what you see? What would you lot rate them?
They're a good looking couple. I think Mr. Willie, I could tell that was only about that because I'm sorry, them teeth, that whole aura.
What's with the tattoo?
He's cringy. I'm sorry, he's very cringy.
He's cheese.
So if he moved to you wouldn't be on it?
No, not at all. His teeth might give me a vaginal. Forget it.
But he's tall though, and he's well built, and he's rocking Dior. He's got the ice.
Okay. He looks like a horny old man. It's
Yeah.
like
Looks
Uncle
like
Winston.
Skeletor in the
back of the dumps.
Something about him is just like.
I mean, he does corn. Like, what'd you expect?
He's corny.
He's corny.
He's corny, very corny.
So what would you rate? What would you rate Adam then? And what would you rate his wife?
Lena's about a good 8. She's about a good 8. Yeah, you take off all that makeup. I like natural beauty.
Yeah, she's
so
got
if
a
you
lot of
take
makeup on.
if you take off all that makeup, she would like even with the makeup, she wouldn't stand out in the crowd. If I was in a club, I wouldn't look twice at her and
She
be
looks
like,
the same as everyone else.
Exactly.
The same.
She looks
the
like
same look that you
very
see everywhere.
average.
She's pretty though.
You lot
Yeah,
are
she's
tough,
pretty.
man.
She's pretty,
okay.
but
She's not nice,
she
though.
doesn't stand
All
out.
right, in the chat, everybody, let me know what you think. Super chat as well. I'm gonna read out the super chat so far. Yeah, let's roll it.
For you as well.
Oh my gosh.
Cool. That's why I chimed in. Catch y'all. See what's up.
Definitely. So, what's the vibe like between you guys? Anything I should know about?
I don't think there's a really vibe. I think it's like a business thing, but I feel just very uncomfortable with this right now.
Yeah, because he piped you.
I feel
A
awkward.
little uncomfortable.
Can you tell him how nervous I was?
Bro, like so nervous. Oh my God. I feel so wrong right now.
That's
Like,
awful.
It was
like
bad.
it's just work.
Okay.
I don't like the
But a
video.
lot of people
Pause
have
it.
like a cheating fetish.
Let's make these lot big screen.
Oh
was
my
awful.
goodness.
That made me feel sad, you know. No, I felt for her still.
That's funny. It's funny to me because she did it.
Yeah,
Why are
she
you
done it.
complaining, bruv? You did it. Like, don't start, bruh.
Yeah, you should feel like
You
that.
feel
you
so
should feel
wrong,
like
exactly.
Because she done a
100%,
madness.
yeah, like,
You
that
feel
is
so
awkward,
wrong
but you
because
should
it
feel
is
like
wrong.
I like how you guys are fooled. If you don't think, I guarantee you right now, mark my words when I say this, that a scandal's going to come out. That's going to say that those two
I
are
think
still
she enjoyed it.
sleep.
That's
Exactly.
why she's saying she's uncomfortable.
Exactly.
I believe she
enjoyed
she
it.
probably enjoyed it better than her actual husband.
Do you think his assy's bigger than her?
To me, this is just.
Go on.
To me, this is money. It's.
Hold on, go on.
I just think personally, to me, this is a money thing. Like it's just
I agree.
another business transaction
I
and
do
a
agree.
way for them to make money out of their situation.
They're already
personally.
rich, fam.
It doesn't matter.
They're already
It
rich.
doesn't matter. Rich people still
Rich
want to make
people want
money.
more.
Yeah.
Gluttony.
He already said it wasn't about money.
He said it wasn't about money.
Of course he did.
That's a lie.
They're gonna say
Yeah, that's
that.
a
They
lie.
have to
course.
justify what they're doing.
No. Saying it is about money would
Would have
be
been better,
justification.
actually, yeah, to say that. I let
Saying
him
it's
pipe
not
her
about
for
money is even what is it about then,
Yeah.
bro?
Yeah.
That's actually worse.
Didn't he say work?
I know, but he
Didn't he just say it's about work?
For her career or something.
She says it's a
Career.
business transaction. That's money.
career brings
We
money.
do business to make money.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, more
Sorry.
people are going to Google her. More people are going to go to her page. So it was,
Exactly.
it's a smart
Yeah,
business move,
yeah,
but they
yeah.
both enjoyed it. First of all, when he said, oh, she kept saying she's so nervous.
He loved it. He
That's
was not
just a,
fooling
no,
her.
by him saying that, oh, she says she's so nervous. That's what they came up with. How do we make him feel better about it? I guarantee you they're going to sleep together again. And
Yeah.
some kind of scandal is going to come out where they're still knocking the boots. There's gonna be a part 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of that. So please.
Yeah, let's carry on.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like
I feel like you do.
Yeah, cheating I've done in the past was I'm a little bit turned on by the fact that I was doing something underhand, or take myself out of it. But like, if you're fucking a girl and you know she has a boyfriend and she's doing something wrong, that is kind of hot.
Is it?
A little bit.
You see, he knows.
It's kind of like the adrenaline. Like,
I'd feel so guilty if I was the other woman.
Okay, so Jason,
But you've
give me a
fucking done it.
genuine review. How was it?
What?
You want a number scale, or just like?
This is so.
Numbers sounds like it could be hurtful, but
So basically,
Rate my wife. Rate my wife.
How good was my wife's box? Did you enjoy that, bruv? Was it good? Was it top 10? Was it in your top ranking, top tier, or was it just mediocre at best?
That was
tell me.
so disgusting just now.
Yeah, this is
like
not
as
they're
a
doing
man,
that.
let me tell you something. He probably married her as a prop. There's no way that if you love your woman.
I was about to say that. True, so true.
Real marriage.
Yeah, that's
Does that not tell you that
definitely
this
not
is for
real
money if
marriage.
they're discussing this
One voice at a time. One voice at a time. Go on. One of you.
I'm sorry, it's definitely not a real marriage. I mean, don't you have a single like jealousy over you, like towards your woman, to just like say that on screen? And he's smiling, like he's just smiling and having
He's cheating
fun.
on her.
Yeah, of course,
100%.
of course he has
He
done
must
that.
be.
But they're
said it,
porn
right?
stars. Oh, sorry, corn stars.
Is he bisexual? Because it's given bisexual. No, that's what I
Maybe he
gathered.
matched him as well. What do you reckon?
I don't know.
I reckon he's next.
That's what I was thinking too.
That's the next thing. Watch now. Watch this space.
Yeah,
All I know is you lot need to hit the super chat and support this, because this is real.
This is a madness.
Hey, but let's get back to this madness, bruv.
It's so disgusting.
4.
100%, 9 out of 10.
Really, 9 out of 10. Who's a 10?
Well, obviously her.
Oh,
Well, it was a 9 out of 10. I never grasped the entire 10 before. It's like you gotta leave room for something that could possibly top the next one.
okay, yeah.
I'll take a 9 then.
That's fair.
The next one.
Okay, yeah. So a lot of people want to know, I don't know, just like if I should feel diminished as a man as a result of this. Like the cuck narrative is very, very strong. I just want to get your thoughts on that, and if how people should think about that in the context of me being, you know, the silent third party in all this.
Well, I don't know. Like if you look at it in the business aspect, then basically it was just a job, you know. She's high up in her ranks. I'm high up in my ranks. Us two together obviously would make the most amounts of money. So it's not so much being a cook. If you're comfortable with it, y'all communicated it prior. Obviously, she said y'all did. So it's not really a cook situation. It's more of like two people coming and making an understanding.
Yeah.
You know, so if you cool with it, then, you know, it is what it is. Me personally, I don't know if I have enough in me to allow it, but everyone's different. Everyone have different levels.
Pause.
Wow.
This
Hold
guy is so
on.
contradictive.
Nah, he ain't. He actually ain't contradicting
No, because
nothing.
he wouldn't do that with his missus.
Yeah.
He's just stated I'm a man. I would not let my missus get drilled out for any amount of money by another man and then
But
talk about it on a
it
podcast.
was a business transaction.
But I'll
he's
drill
just-
your wife,
yeah,
though.
exactly.
I'll drill
100%.
your-
He's got the upper hand. He's got
That's
the upper
right.
hand.
I
He's
wanna
fully got the
retract.
upper
That's
hand.
what you
I
want
want
to
to retract.
Hold on.
He
One
has a-
at a time. One at a time. Go on.
I'm gonna retract what I said earlier. I actually am finding him a little bit like I will let him be my sugar daddy. I'm finding Mr. 9-inch cocker. He's getting a little more attractive because he's actually a smart
She's
man.
feeling him. She's feeling him.
No,
She's feeling him.
he's a smart man because he, like you said, he just said it's not gonna be my wife, but I'll bang yours. So
My guy should
I'm
be a
sure he's got a
badass.
wife.
He-
as well.
But he did say
Huh?
earlier that
No, he's got a wife as well.
Blonde, yeah.
The black guy's married as well.
Are they
Yeah, he
swiping
is.
them?
He's got blonde, and she's because I've seen them both on. I've seen.
You've done a lot of research, fam.
Top researcher.
I actually like Jason Love, so yeah, I've watched a few of him, but he's done it with his wife as well.
Oh, you watch a few of him, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's on.
The B one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that one. Yeah. Oh my God. All right. My thing is this, yeah. Like, I just think that he was just saying that stuff to Adam, like, oh yeah, it's just a business transaction. Now she's up there and I'm up there, you know, we're just coming together. But he's just saying that because he's there, you know, he's not gonna say, bruh, that's mad you did that. He's not
He
gonna say
basically
that.
did say that though.
He did,
kind
but
of did in
not
essence.
indirectly.
He nuanced it, yeah.
Not even indirectly. He was like, bro, that's cool for you. I understand
Yeah,
his business.
I
I
would
couldn't
not.
do it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't do it. And I don't think he would do it either. Like, I think that's mad, bro.
That's you, bro.
So let me ask you this in you know, in conjunction with that, because she said she was hurting for 3 days. Does size matter? What do you lot think?
No.
Motion in the
100%.
ocean matters.
Motion upon the ocean.
Flipping neck. She started singing. Go on, go on.
Island girl. Yeah.
What is
Definitely
it?
not. It's not always about the size. It's just whether they know how to use it or not.
Who agrees with that?
Woo! Especially if they use that tongue.
What do you think? Yeah, what do you think? Yeah, you.
Why are you directing this question to me?
Because you started nodding. You started nodding your head. So I was like, okay, go on then.
I think I won't say the size no matter at all.
Yeah, there's obviously
we got a limit on it.
You got a limit.
But you can have like a massive thing there, but if you don't know how to use it, you don't put any passion.
I think if a guy like Jason Love, I mean, I don't know if you've seen his work. Like
no.
Cody will probably, you know,
No.
be a good reference because she's seen his
I will
work.
check with her later.
But I think someone like Jason Love, yeah, if he drills you, even if he does it boring, yeah, you're still gonna feel it for the next. You get me? You're gonna feel that.
But
it's not gonna be like regular.
Painful. It's painful pleasure.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
always
there you go.
pleasurable.
But there's a
So,
difference.
Yeah, you might feel it, but it might just be pain.
It might start.
Men have to learn our moans. There's a difference between and So once y'all learn our moans, if the whole time I'm like, I'm not enjoying it. But if I'm enjoying it. So sometimes you think just because we moaning, it feels good. No, it hurts. I'm chubby. It's in my stomach and hitting things around I don't even know exist. Yeah, I don't want that.
Hey guys, every guy watching, get in the belly. Get in the belly. Get in the belly, bruv. Yeah, make her remember you, bruv. There you go. What do you think about that, guys? With the girls? Huh? Like, think about this. If you've got with a guy with a big willy, yeah, you're not going to forget him. You're going to remember that guy.
Yeah, but you're never going to go back.
Yeah, but you can
there.
also remember
Go
the
on.
fact that he had a big thing and he didn't know how to use it.
Exactly.
You can also remember that, the motion.
But I think if a guy's got a big willy, yeah, and say the first beat was trash, like, all right, first one, just that, bruv. Yeah. Or maybe it's just
Low.
like that.
That's
yeah.
embarrassing though, when a guy's.
You're at least going to give him a second try.
Yes.
At least. What do you lot think? Or am I chatting crap? You're at least going to think, nah, let me help him out. Let me just like see. It might have just been a bad day. What do you lot think?
I think it's 3 tries actually. The first time
Oh,
you might
3
be
tries.
Like, yeah, I think everyone. No, when a guy has a big willy, you at least give 3 tries. The first time you be like, maybe he was nervous. By the second time, you be like, it got to get better than this. And then by the third time, you're like, okay, it's pure trash. But it's at least 3.
Okay.
No, I can't be doing up trios.
No, I can't be
if I'm not.
Go.
I can't be going for the trio if I'm not having enjoyment.
Yeah.
No,
It doesn't matter what, it's about the whole
The whole
vibe of it all.
experience.
Yeah, everything.
It's
A
the
lot of
whole
things matter.
experience. I date women as well, so the experience for me is important. Do you know what I mean? I've said this before on the show. So because
Yeah.
I date women,
It's a
the whole
combination.
size thing isn't necessarily the most, important thing. It's about the whole experience as a whole. It's not. It's not just
about
that.
your connection
Because
as
some
well.
people, some not even just men.
Connection.
Some people go for just their experience, and therefore the other person isn't having enjoyment. So for me, it's about collectively what was the whole experience on both sides as well, because it's not about selfishness on both sides, isn't it?
I don't know about that, man. I think you lot cap a lot still.
So who's better in bed, men or women?
Ooh, I get this question a lot.
Yeah.
I've had
I
women.
enjoy women. I can't lie.
I've
I
had
enjoy
women
women.
know what a
man.
woman
can I
knows what
say?
a woman wants,
I
right?
enjoy women.
So you think women are better in bed?
I wouldn't put it down to better, but I enjoy
You
women.
enjoy them more.
Yeah. But I enjoy pleasure in a woman, so maybe that's more of a selfish thing.
Oh.
More than a man.
Oh.
Do you not think it's
Okay.
because a woman knows what a woman wants?
Yeah. I love women, man. What can I say?
What do guys get wrong that women get right in the bed then?
I feel that some
Most-
guys not so into the foreplay or making sure that you've had enjoyment, whereas women will make sure that you've both
You
had a good
enjoy
time.
everything, yeah.
100%.
Mm.
That's my experience.
Interesting things.
If I turn into a lesbian after the show, we know why.
Boy, it's all mad still. All right, cool. I'm gonna move on to something else. Yeah, you're gonna talk about something that made somebody leave today.
Oh no.
What do you not think about diet though? And when it comes to meat, because we've been talking about willy meat. Now let's talk about normal meat. So like, who does everyone eat meat here?
I do.
I eat meat.
I eat only meat.
Everyone eats meat. You don't.
No,
Why don't you eat meat? You've been quiet. Why don't you eat meat?
just for health reasons.
Why? What? Like what? What is it?
I don't see the benefit of consuming a dead carcass.
Yeah, but it's delicious though.
Not only is it
Many
delicious,
things are
it's very
delicious, but they're not
nutritious.
good for you.
It is good for you though.
It's really not.
Why is it? What wasn't bad about eating meat?
The toxins.
What toxins?
The toxins in the dead carcass that you're consuming.
What toxins, though?
The toxins, and I don't know. I'm not. A
She's just
scientist.
ad-libbing. Stop please. Stop
I'm not a
ad-libbing.
Just doing my job. Stop ad-libbing.
Sorry.
I'm asking what toxins, because you're saying there's toxins.
I don't know
you're
the
making.
names of the toxins, darling, unfortunately, but
What types
it's
of
a dead
toxins?
carcass.
There
Or
aren't
what are
any
the types of
toxins.
Toxins.
There's toxins in dead carcasses.
I
you
heard that
don't-
meat gives you, like, obviously there's certain things like, for example, King doesn't eat pork, right? I know a lot of people don't eat pork, or a lot of people don't eat certain meats, or some people pescatarian eat fish, because there's certain, it's either toxins or things that are pusses that are in the meat that can have adverse effects on your body, can give you cancer, for example. There's certain things that are in certain meats, or
So you're right in saying
depending
that.
how the meat was prepared. I'm not expert, I'm just asking, because
Yeah,
some
but
of you
that's
lot need seem to
particular-
know more about this.
You're right, but that's in particular to pork. So that's why most religions ban pork, because
Yeah.
pigs don't have multiple excretion points. So they don't sweat, basically. So a lot of the toxins remain inside their insides, and then you're eating that meat.
Yeah.
Also, pigs eat their dead,
Yeah,
their
anything.
dead other pigs. So, but other meat, like for example, beef, is extremely nutritious. You can get all of the nutrients that you need just from meat, and all of the meat, all the nutrients in the meat is bioavailable to humans, but a lot of the nutrients in greens are not bioavailable to humans.
So explain your carnivore diet.
Yeah, so I do carnivore diet, so I eat mainly animal products, meat, red meat, chicken, no pork, eggs, and then animal fats, so like beef fat and things like that. And I know it sounds controversial because they always tell you red meat gives you cancer, and dairy is really bad for you and things like that. But for me, my health has become so optimized by doing this diet. And one thing I found out today is that hormones are built from cholesterol. So a lot of men nowadays have low testosterone, and the building block for testosterone is cholesterol. Cholesterol comes from animal fats. So everyone's doing low-fat diet. They don't have butter, they don't have milk, they don't have meat, and so they have very low cholesterol, and that means that they have low testosterone. For women, we have a hormone imbalance when it comes to our estrogen and our progesterone. So you'll find a lot of people who do a vegan diet, and I know some girls do vegan diets, and unfortunately one girl left because we were talking about this before the show and she got really upset. But there's a lot of health risks that come from being vegan because you're missing out on so much nutrients, and I think that it's propaganda from the media.
The nutrients are in the land that God's blessed us with. There's no nutrient. What nutrients are in a dead carcass?
So, I mean, I know that you mentioned toxins, but you couldn't actually specify what that was. And one thing that plants do have is oxalates. A lot of people don't know about oxalates, but plants emit a certain chemical to stop them from being cut or harvested. And so for example, you know when somebody mows a lawn and there's a particular smell, so that's that's a certain toxin that it emits to stop it from being cut again. All greens do the same thing. So but people that consume a lot of greens are consuming oxalates, which are extremely toxic, cancer-causing chemicals for the body.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. Hold you. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah. What was it? Last year, I done a diet. I was just eating meat and eggs. Right. I was eating once a day, intermittent fasting, and I was only eating beef and eggs, and I felt great.
Yeah, you feel
I felt great.
amazing.
I was strong. I was lean. Bruh, unstoppable, bruv. So
like protein in there.
yeah, so like with all that kind of like, I think there's a lot of propaganda and stuff that's put out there, and like, you know, these fads and stuff like, and people don't really understand what the real truth or the biology of it is. Do you get what I'm saying? So like, I'm not knocking what you're saying, but like, I think that you would really need to look into it. And so when, like, for instance, she asked you what toxin, you need to know what it is to back up what you're saying. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Because I know from that diet, I felt great.
Have you ever tried a vegan diet and tried?
Yeah, I gave up meat. I did no meat for like a week.
But have you tried specifically a vegan diet, so no dairy?
No, yeah, I was just eating like salads and all that, eating like a rabbit.
And you didn't feel. How did you feel?
Just felt like just kind of lethargic.
I think it depends on your blood type as well, because a lot of times certain blood types,
100%, it depends on the
meat
individual.
is better for them. Some fish is better from, like, I eat everything. I eat meat, but I know when I eat beef, it tears me up. I still eat it, but it takes so long for my body to digest it. I'm lactose intolerant. I still eat cheese. So it's like beef really, like, there's certain things that it will tear you up depending on your blood type.
Yeah.
Can I say something about... Oh, sorry.
Go on.
Can I say something about lactose in milk? So dairy, actually, naturally, if you have raw dairy, like straight from the cow's udder and, you know, not processed, not pasteurized, it contains an enzyme called lactase, which helps you to process the lactose. So if you have raw dairy, you actually will not have any symptoms of intolerance, whereas people who have pasteurized dairy, which is what you get everywhere, is actually illegal to sell raw dairy in some places.
100%. Also, it depends what type of meat you eat as well, because you're talking about toxins, right? If you eat halal meat, all of the bacteria from the meat, like in the animal, is all in the blood. Once you drain the blood,
out.
there's no bacteria there, and
So
all
that
you
was
get
the
is,
issue that we-
all of the protein, it's all of the iron, all of the good stuff that you should be getting that you can't get as much from eating just plants, because you would have to eat massive amounts of, like, beans and stuff to get the same amount of protein that you would get in meat.
Yeah, that's right.
So that goes to
you
my
do know
point
if you
about
see-
why I'm vegan in the first place as well. I'm vegan. I only eat plants. But the reason I've grown up on meat. I love meat. I love the taste of meat. It's not that at all. It's because I'm scared of what is in the food these days. It's processed. It's not natural. So
But you
if I
do
had
know that you do know that the vegetables and stuff, they're still, like, the sprayed
Yeah.
and stuff.
Sprayed with pesticides.
organic vegetables aren't. I purely eat organic food. So that's the reason.
Expensive.
Personally, it is expensive, but you can't put a price on health personally. And I think when you become a certain age, which it was when I became older, I made a conscious decision to become vegan because of all the toxins and processed food that is around these days. So I know that by eating the way I'm eating, I'm benefiting my body in the best way possible as I'm getting older. I'm not putting any crap in my body. And as a vegan and being a meat eater for 40 years of my life, I know that when I now eat certain processed food and meat, I can really feel what it does to my body.
Yeah, but that's processed. So, of course, it's going to have an effect.
But that's basically what is available to us these days. Everything we eat is processed crap. Even the vegan stuff that is coming out now, like these burgers, that's not vegan food.
No, I would never eat any of that vegan sausage.
You can't be a
burgers.
vegan
No,
and then
no way.
eat processed burgers, like vegan burgers. That's not proper veganism, but that's what the market is selling to be healthy.
But the thing is, even with organic vegetables and fruits, there are multiple whistleblowers who are coming out who work for organic associations saying that it's actually not organic.
You've got to grow your own food
That
these
they do
days. That's
grow.
it. You have to eat and grow your own food to know what's in it. And if you don't, then you don't know what you're eating.
Do you grow your own vegetables?
Pardon?
Do you grow your own vegetables?
I've tried to grow my own vegetables. I don't know, but I do.
The answer is no.
No, but this is something I'm going to definitely. This is something I'm definitely going to learn to do. 100%. But I'm still making better choices as a vegan and by having organic food and vegetables than other food.
My mum, at home, we grow our own, like, potatoes and stuff. And when I eat the potatoes from my garden, and you
Talking to the mic.
When I eat, like, the potatoes from my garden and you cook them, you can taste.
Talk
the
into the
difference.
mic.
I am talking into the mic.
The mic was like that.
Oh, sorry.
You can taste the
But
difference.
yeah, you could physically taste the difference from something homegrown to something that's bought outside, and it is mad. Even the tomatoes that we grow, the peppers, potatoes.
All right, man.
pumpkin.
Hey, listen, we've been talking about this flipping food. Listen, let me get into these super chats. I know I did because I said I was going to do it, and I kept to my word. Big up to Lawrence for the 20. He says, personality qualities include thinking very highly of oneself, needing admiration, believing others are inferior, and lacking empathy for others. I guess that's what a narcissist is. So that's you lot. Cool. Big up to Quarter Car for the $1 Australian dollar, I think that was. Big up to you. Big up to Pernell for the 20. How come the man/husband does not get to keep the same quality of life?
Yeah, that's so
He could just work for more.
Pardon?
He could just work for more.
Why don't the woman work for more as well?
She's busy raising the kids.
Why can't they raise the kids together, 50-50?
Yeah, why don't the kids get the quality of life that they had before
should
with
be
two parents,
50-50.
50-50?
It should be 50-50.
You said why can't what?
Why can't the kids get the same quality of life when they had both their parents around them? Why is it that they only have to be around their mum? Don't you think that will affect them?
They should definitely still be around dad. Dads are one of the most important things for men.
So if the
and
dad,
women.
so if the dad is putting in 50% in an ideal world, then the woman doesn't need more money because he's already putting in his 50%.
How is he putting in 50% if he's probably working all the time? That's why she got awarded 50% because she's raising them full time. He's probably working all the time. So
I don't think necessarily like that. It goes like that. I think that there's women that are maybe they're getting their own money and still get money from the man when they split. To be honest,
like Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. High profile women doing it. Like, so what do you think about that?
I mean, the 50-50 stuff can be really subjective as well because it depends on the relationship, right? So if the father, for example, was like an alcoholic or something, the children should stay with the mother and the mother should have more money in that case. But other than that, if everything is cool and there was like a minor reason for them splitting up, definitely.
Or there was no reason.
Or there was no reason, then they would definitely, I think they should have the same amount of money, the same amount of time with both kids, but both of them with the kids.
I agree with you. It's so important to have the dad in the home. It's so important to have dad help raise it. It's like so important, but it's not realistic sometimes. And that's the thing about it. Like most dads, when they do go for custody hearings, the dads will maybe get the kid every other weekend. Good. Like a lot of my friends, my brother's a single dad. And I love him to death. He's doing a great job with my niece. She needs a mom, though. You need to have a mom there because there's certain things that a mother can give you that a dad just can't. A dad might be able to provide for you financially, but mom is going to come more emotional, spiritually. Like everything you just need in general, a mom is going to have all those qualities.
Do you think it's more important, the mum being there or the dad? What do you think? Do you think the mum's role is more important than the dad's role?
They're both equally as
Exactly.
important. They're both equally
so
as important
to have both.
Because if you have a little girl growing up, it's so important for dads to teach their little girls, you're a princess. You come to me if you need something. You don't have to get anything you need from any man out there. Because a dad showing a little girl growing up, her self-worth is very important. Also, showing your son how to be a man, how to treat women. That is so important as well. So it's both equally important.
It's a balance.
So the daughter needs to be taught that she's a princess, and the boy needs to be taught how to treat women.
See, personally, I think
that's all you heard. That's all you heard.
That's what you said.
I think that both
That's
parents.
what you said.
Yeah, I think both parents need to be there to give an example of how to be towards each other, whether you're in a relationship together or not. You can still show your child how to respect and how to live in a loving relationship and have that family unit. Regardless of whether you're together or not, you can teach your child that. I think that's what is important from the mum and the dad.
All of the toxicity with the, getting the money and the time wrong and stuff, it's all between the parents.
100%.
Their child is not even involved most of the time.
They don't care about that.
Exactly. Literally.
They just want you there.
I want to do you because you did me wrong. It's all of that. It's
presence, not presence. That's what it's about.
It's not the child's fault, exactly.
Besides, also, I think that is a big scam when you say the mother can bring spirituality that the man can bring. How is it that it's the women that have this massive spirituality thing, but yet it's all women that are mostly doing OnlyFans?
Just because someone does OnlyFans, that means that they don't have spirituality.
Yes.
OnlyFans is a job. That doesn't mean that you don't. OnlyFans.
I think she meant that because women have that. Women are more.
Like, so you telling me? Let me ask you this, right? God. Are you a religious person? Do you believe are you a Christian?
I believe in the Most High. Yes.
Okay.
I have faith in the Most High.
Do you have sex?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I love it.
So sex before marriage is a sin. Does that take away?
Sin all the time.
Okay, so does that take away from your Christianity? Does that take away from you believing in God? No.
That's a good point.
So at the end of the day, we all sin, but that doesn't mean that you still don't sit there and
you just shot yourself in the foot, because the difference is, if I was a bad guy and I make all this money from selling drugs on the street, right? It's a bad thing. I know it's bad. I am not going to come online and promote it to young boys and tell them this is a way to go. Even though it worked for me. But that's exactly what women are doing with OnlyFans.
But you realize that everybody who does OnlyFans is not just selling. Like, you could do anything on OnlyFans. There are people who do feet pics. You could do anything on there.
But it's sexualized, though.
Come
on. It's all sexualized content, though. So whether it's your foot, that's because people got foot fetish.
I mean,
do you know what I mean? So it's all sexualized content. It just depends on what people enjoy in terms of content and the extremity of the content that you're putting out. But it's still all sexualized.
Before we blame the women for doing the OnlyFans, why don't we blame the consumer who keeps paying into it?
It's not even necessarily a blame. I don't know why we always do this. We must blame one party or the other party. This is a whack narrative.
They're both to blame.
Society's whack.
They're
Like, we're
both to
always
blame.
going, oh, men this, women that. I don't understand why we're always in this ruckus of debate. That's why we can't just get along. That's why we're all a mess.
What did you say? Did you say it's the narcissists?
Narcissism side of people. That's that trait where we like to pass the blame to another person.
What do you think about OF, Cody? What do you think? You rolling your eyes. What's wrong?
Look at me.
And pull that mic down.
I don't have OnlyFans.
No, but what do you think?
Do you know what?
I never said you have it.
Yeah, I did sign up to it ages ago, though, but I never used it.
Why?
Because I just... Do you know what it was? There was a few subs on there, and all they wanted was sex. They wanted to see sex, like even
They
girl
wanted
on
to
girl.
see you get railed.
Yeah.
Are you, sorry, can I ask a question? Because you just said the word subs. What are you, do you do dominatrix or something?
No,
Is
it's
that
like
what you wanted to do?
subscribers. And
Oh, sorry, I
so,
thought
yeah.
you meant like submissives.
No.
I want to get into that.
I mean, that is a thing that a lot of people keep saying that I should do is the submissive side, but I'm the dominant side, but I'm like, no, it's not.
Y'all want to
me.
start like a fan club? Let's
No,
be
I'm
some
good, girl.
domination.
I'm
Oh,
all right.
I want
I would love to kick men
50%
and
of
get
the
paid.
peas.
Yeah, business perspective, love to. Everything else, no thanks.
Management, you get me? But yeah, so like, who would do OF here? Who would do OnlyFans? Did anyone try it? Has anyone?
I have tried it. Yeah, I've tried doing the OnlyFans, but it's just not the content I wanted to give out.
Oh, okay.
I think if times got tough enough, why not?
But it shouldn't be based on
it's what you make of it.
I think,
anything
I think, hold on. I think a load of you would do it if times got tough. I think you lot are capping.
I would
bruv.
never. I would literally never. Nothing could make me do it. I'd rather die, personally, because to me, it's like selling my soul. It's like saying to God, I don't care about you. It's like letting the devil into my life. I would literally rather scrub the streets. I'd be happy to do that.
Sell drugs?
No.
Oh, well, okay.
That also goes
I was
against...
just checking because we had another godly woman on the show last time and she kind of slipped up with the whole... She went with the God thing and then she went for the real drillers. And
No.
I was just wondering if you was one of them or
I wouldn't.
genuine.
I wouldn't break my values on anything.
Have you ever dated a criminal?
I have in the past, yeah.
Oh, did you have the same mindset about God when you did that?
No.
Oh, so when did your mindset change?
I would say probably about 4 years ago it started changing and it's become
What made it
progressively more
change?
and more strong. The pandemic.
Oh, let's not go into that.
I said pandemic.
I know, let's not get into that.
Because it was planned.
Yeah. Okay.
It was planned. I agree.
But yeah, so okay, cool. Who's dated a toxic guy here? Who's had
Everybody raise your hands.
I've
Come on,
dated toxic
everybody.
women.
She's
I've
had
been
toxic women.
I said I've been toxic. I've dated toxic
Tell us
women.
about the toxic women. I want to know about toxic women. Go on.
I've had the stalker chick woman. That shit is mad. You know, like, I don't think men have the capability or the time to be stalkery or like, listen, maybe
You'll
for
be
you,
surprised.
sis. I feel like that's something I like about men. You know, if it's over, it's kind of like, of course they're going to be in their feelings for a bit, but they don't go in this like emotional rampage and like obsess unless they're a complete psychopath.
They don't let you see their emotional rampage.
Yes, I don't want to see it. I don't. So do
You
that
just want
away
them to
from me.
suffer in silence.
Not suffer in silence, but I don't want it to be pushed onto me. I don't want to be affected by that. If I've made a decision, I want to end the relationship. There's reasons for that. I've made a calculated decision if I want to end a relationship, and I let it be known what the decision is. And that's not without emotion from myself as to why I've come to that conclusion. I'm a very empathetic person, so I can empathize with, you know, the other person, the other party.
But
and
you don't
also-
want to see their pain. That's fine.
No.
Very empathetic.
Listen,
All right, cool. So big up to
narcissist.
Big up to the narcissist. Big up to Daniel. He says mega show. He's getting mega mad. Big up to Daniel for 2. Big up for the Dragon for the 20. He says, black lady on the couch. The woman may take care of the children, but the man takes care of the kids and the wife. Stop the BS. That's a very.
He's back again this week. He was here last week with the same.
Got the black lady on the couch.
He's a member of my channel. He's a member. Hey, big up to all the members of my channel, innit? And if you're not a member, become a member on the channel, man. Support what I'm doing here, yeah? And yeah, so that is a good point though, because like you're saying all this that the woman is looking after the kids, and I'm not saying that is a minor thing, but realistically, if she's sitting at home, or not sitting at home, but if she's at home all the time and she don't work, he is looking after everybody, himself, the woman, and the children. I think that's actually more of an important role in that situation, because without the money, you're done.
Are you done?
Whether you, yes, yeah, you are. Unless you want to go and be on welfare, you could. I mean,
Or
you can do
work.
that.
I don't understand what's this thing about why women aren't working.
Yeah, but think, no, but I'm saying, no, but think about this. But I'm saying, okay, if the man is there and he's the breadwinner, he's the one making the money.
Right, okay.
That's the scenario I'm talking about.
Fine.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like that is a pivotal role. That's make or break. Because if he loses his job now, what are you not gonna do?
That's the reason why. Well, personally,
it only takes 1 month. You're on the street, fam.
Yeah, but that's the reason why, personally, I would never choose to not work. That's why I would never choose to just not work and not be able to sustain myself regardless of
What
who
about
I'm
when
with.
you have kids?
When I have children, I'll take a period of time off of work, which would hopefully have been carefully planned so that I've got finances aside. People shouldn't be having kids without some sort of savings or something to back them. Because when you go on
most people do
maternity
that,
leave, no, I don't believe most people do that. Most
Things
people are not. Things happen and people are not organized. People don't think.
nuts
It's
get
not
busted.
that different.
I don't
Listen,
think you
it's
can
not
ever
that
have enough
difficult.
money or be prepared to have children.
You
to be
can't
honest.
ever, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is I would hope, I don't have children in it. So I'm hoping that when the time comes where I would hopefully plan to have children, that I would have put something in place to ensure, because maternity pay is whack anyway. So that's not money, that's just change. So irrespective, you should have something in place to ensure that you've got the financial means in order to at least have a sustainable living in this current economic crisis.
See, I'm the opposite. I wouldn't want to work if I had children, because I'd want to be in my kid's life.
I hear that as well.
24/7. I wouldn't want to send my kids to school either, because I believe there's a lot of propaganda and lies currently being taught to children in schools.
I believe that. I wondered about the homeschooling thing.
Yeah.
But I wonder if I have the capability
I'm for homeschooling all the
and the
way.
patience to homeschool my children, which
Yeah.
I currently don't believe that I have.
I'll be
I've
real with
wondered
you.
about that
I
before.
like the idea of that
Yeah.
homeschooling thing, because I think, just like what you were saying, like, Brad, the things they're teaching kids, and a
wild.
lot of people don't even know what their kids are getting taught now.
I'm
You're
telling
sending
you.
your kids to school,
Entrusting
curriculum. You don't know what the
people.
curriculum is anymore. Like, it's actually kind
And
of
there's a
scary.
lot missed out of it as well. I think culturally as well, if you look at like what they teach you in certain lessons, and depending on what your culture is, you also want to immerse your children within your culture and in your society and what you believe in. And in school, they don't do that. They're just
We know our
generally,
children.
they're too general.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
you need
everybody
to-
can be put in a box, and that's what they do to
100%.
children.
So I think
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of children struggle with mental health, because they don't
100%.
fit in that box. And if you don't fit in that box, you're seen as a troublemaker, or you've got certain issues, or you're disruptive. That's what I think school should be teaching children about. How to manage their finances,
100%.
how to cook and clean, and personal
Life
hygiene,
skills,
life
things
skills,
that they
which they
don't
don't
focus
which
on.
they don't focus on
Cultural
anymore.
nuances.
But there's
100%.
certain schools that do. If you have the money to send your child to a school that focuses on that, there is. Most kids
Yeah,
though
it's
go to
niche.
public school, they go to free school. But you also have to remember why it's important to send kids to school. Social,
Yeah, I thought this as
socialization,
well,
because
100%.
yeah,
You
if
need
Kids
to
can get that without
socialize.
school.
have
They can get
to,
that without
because
being at school.
There's many kids, like I know people who are homeschooled and they don't know how to act in certain situations, because at the end of the day, you're not,
They lack
as a
the
kid,
interaction.
I'm only interacting with my mom, my dad, and maybe
But if
a
you're
sibling.
homeschooling your
So
children, you should make that concerted effort. If
Yeah.
you are making a choice to take your child, yes, you have to make that more of an effort to get your
There's
kids
different-
socialized
so
in
I've
certain
got a friend
situations.
who wants to travel, right? And she wants to move out of the country, and she's had this same thing about homeschooling. We've discussed it, that there's certain even groups of other
Yeah.
families that
There are.
homeschool within your area.
I'm
So all you need
homeschooling
to
my
do
daughter. I'm
is-
homeschooling
there you
my-
go.
I
Is
homeschool my
Look
daughter.
at other families that do the same things, and therefore you can interact. That's the reason
There's
why
a massive
people-
calling for homeschooling out
why
there, but you just
certain
don't know about
people,
it.
Yeah, would do things like, for example, I grew up in a Christian household. I went to Sunday school, so that's another way you can interact with other people. Is you go to other things that are community orientated that socialize your kids. But the homeschooling thing, I would like to think that I could do that, but the capability to do that
it's
has
not always
to be
sustainable
correct.
for every
100%.
family. It's not. It's hard. But I've been a childminder for 14 years, so luckily I'm
You've
in a
got the
position
skills.
where I've been able to do that
You're
with my daughter,
capable.
and she gets that social
That's
aspect
good.
as well.
That's interesting.
Big up to Xavier. He says most men cheat without emotional attachments, but women generally can't because of oxytocin. Her allegiance is with other men, and the kid may not be another man's. That's why it's worse when women cheat.
I think I agree.
I agree with that.
It's premeditated usually with women. I think men would do it on a whim and just be out and be like, yeah. But whereas women are more emotionally and calculated.
Women emotionally cheat. You see that quite often. They might not reach the physical cheating element, that they emotionally cheat on their partners when they talk to other men or whatever, and they get in this like they feel like they love a guy or whatever that they're not even in a sexual relationship with. So we see that women emotionally cheat before they do anything physical, whereas men can. I mean, women can as well, but men are more likely to go out on a night out. It gets a bit wild. They see a hot. Yeah.
Let me ask a question.
And not even think about them the next day.
Yeah, they don't care.
What do you think would hurt more, though? If you had a man you're dating, y'all been together 3 years, would it hurt you more if he physically cheated with a woman or if he had an emotional affair with a woman?
I've had this situation before. My ex emotionally cheated on me.
Yeah.
He cheated on me twice. So the first time it was more of an emotional cheating. So that I was like, we worked through it, but it took ages to work through it. Because the woman was still on his mind. So to me as a woman as well, I'm like, you're still thinking about her. So that's deeper for a man because men are not necessarily as emotional as beings.
Why
so
do you think that happened? Why do you think that happened?
Because I was lacking in the relationship.
Ooh, you know, I was waiting for you to say that. This is my Leo sis. Accountability. I love it.
What's Leo got to do with it?
Because we take accountability for a lot of what we do.
What? Because you're Leos.
Yeah.
Nah, man.
have you dated a Leo?
I'm just trying to be me.
Have you dated a Leo?
What's Leo got to do with it?
Have you dated a Leo before?
It don't matter, probably.
Okay, then. So go date one.
Don't remember her name, but
I don't remember.
You'll never forget her. Go date one. You'll never forget her.
Bruv. Yeah. Star signs mean dick. They don't mean anything.
So dick means nothing then.
Bruv, dick, guys will give their dick to any old chick out there. It doesn't really mean much. But so what was you doing to that guy? Why he went and
I wasn't available. I was busy. I was too busy.
Busy doing what?
Life. I was working 2 jobs. I was doing a night school degree. I was going to gym, training to maybe be an Olympian, which clearly I'm not. It was many years ago. I wasn't around. I was not available. And when I was around, I was exasperated. I was exhausted. I wasn't given enough time. But I was a lot younger. This is like 10 years ago or so. So obviously I was a lot younger and I was just trying to get myself on my feet. I didn't have time for that situation. Or I wasn't realizing that I was neglecting his needs.
You was neglecting. All right, cool. Big up to Cortica. He says, love the content king, Empress elegant as always.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah, look, she's going to give you the shout out. His name is Cortica.
Thank you, Cortica. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. There you go, Cortica. Don't bust too quick, bro.
Oh my gosh.
All right, big up to Gary Grant. Big up Gary Grant. He says, normal people would not understand how corn people live. It is weird to us, but normal to them. Also, they are rich. Name calling is not bullying. What do you lot think about that?
What? I didn't understand that.
He's saying normal people wouldn't understand how corn people live. It's weird to us, but normal to them. Also, they are rich. Name calling is not bullying.
He's 100% right. If you don't know something, you're not going to understand it. So that industry is not for us to understand because that's not what we do.
But that's just like a serial killer saying you don't understand what it's like being a serial killer, but I do it.
Well, that's more of a that's more of a like psychological issue.
And that's a psychological issue if you're letting your wife get piped down by other men, because most men wouldn't be down with that. Most men are very territorial over their women, especially if you love the woman, especially if you're married to the woman, especially if she's the mother of your child.
Yeah, but she should have known better.
That's more of an ego thing.
They both should have known.
They both should have known better.
Yeah, they're both mad, bro.
I think there is mental illness there for sure.
My God, science done a diagnosis in that.
That is funny. Hey, big up at Xavier Foster. He says, super chat correction. The kid may be another man's. That's scary, bro.
Was it
I think
light
that's
skin?
every man's. I think that's every. I don't know, but that's every man's nightmare, though. Still,
King, if you was dating someone, they had a child, and you found out after 5 years that you loved this, your little princess, or this your little king, and that's not your child, would you stay?
No. I'm
You
gone.
would just disown the kid. That's it.
He didn't say we disowned the
I
kid.
never
He said he
said
would
that.
No, well, yeah,
You
yeah.
see, you always jump to the hard thing.
No, but that's what that's what I was trying to say though. Like, would you still be?
I'm not with her no more. What do you mean?
No, not stay with her. What I was trying to say is, would you still stay in that child's life?
Somewhat, but I'd have to detach to a certain degree because it's not my child. Like that connection, I thought is a fraud. It's not real, and it's hard. It's hard, but that's the reality.
So then you have conditional love.
It's not conditional love. Blood is blood.
But that's conditional love. If you love
It's
someone, you love them.
No. If I thought that I busted a nut and created a human being, it's different.
But you've
Wouldn't
gotten
you
to know this kid. Let's say you've gotten to know this kid.
I never
for
said I
5
would
years.
disown completely, but that would be a reminder that I've been duped.
That's trauma. That's traumatic.
It is traumatic.
Constant reminder, bruv. That's another man's kid. And I've been looking after that kid, and I've probably sacrificed a lot in that 5 years for that child, thinking that's my legacy. And it's not. It's another man's legacy, and he's probably busting nuts somewhere else, having a good time.
And doesn't even know he's got a kid because he doesn't even know.
He might even know. He might even know, and so what?
That's wild.
It's the male ego.
It's not. What's ego?
No,
got to
it's
do
a
with
mad
it, fam?
situation, sis.
I think there should be
What do you think the man should do?
I think there should be DNA tests after the
Mandatory.
baby's born, just in case. Because seriously, the amount of things you're hearing nowadays, there are videos going around on Instagram of men finding out in court that their child is not theirs.
Oh, you mean paternity court?
Yeah, that
I love that
exactly.
show.
And they are. You can see how broken they
It's
are.
horrific.
It's just
also
on anyone, the
televised.
child or the guy. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Well, I used to watch a lot of paternity court, and that's just mad.
It is
bruv.
sad.
So
It's
sad.
really sad after. It's quite depressing to watch.
And Maury
because
as well.
for the young,
Maury.
for the child.
You are not the father, bruv.
Oh,
It's not even the ones where the guy's happy. It's the ones where the guy's sad,
upset,
bruv.
it's
That's the worst one, bruv.
And when the
how
mom
that
is
impacts the
happy.
child.
When the
The
mom
mom's
is happy
happy,
too,
yeah,
that's the worst
Yeah,
situation.
yeah.
You know, I see a lot of these videos, like plenty of women, they're just happy, they're like giggling there. There's nothing to giggle.
No.
Yeah.
Like,
They're not real mothers, man.
People's lives.
Even
Nothing
the
to
judge
giggle.
will like correct them and say, you've got a lot of nerve. You've got a lot of nerve to be happy when this man is literally investing himself in this child's life, you know, and he's crying and you're here happy. Just that's what I said about the relationship stuff, right? The child never matters. It's always the mother trying to do the guy or the guy trying to do the mother. It's like spiteful.
Exactly.
No, but it means that you even like an awful mom. Because if you're a mom, you just want the best for your kid. You want your kid to have the father. You want the kid to have like a manly figure in the life. So why are you happy that the man that is actually was taking care of your kid and is actually showing love for that kid is not the father?
Like, you're evil. That's
That's you must be evil. It must be something F up in your mind because I don't know. Like you should be really a shitty mom.
That's the narcissist there.
That's a narcissist.
That's the narcissist.
Everything come back.
Narcissist.
Gas.
All right, next one. Big up to Lawrence. I was going to say big up to Kanye. Big up to Lawrence. He says, for the 20, he says, Kanye has to pay Kim Kardashian $200K a month child. He's a Kim billionaire.
Yeah,
She's high maintenance though. She's high
Sorry?
maintenance.
Then she must maintain herself. Maybe she should make a couple more videos, do a podcast with that guy, link up with what's his face.
She should do a podcast with me,
200
bro.
per
Kim
child.
Richards and Kim Kardashian podcast.
Per child,
Yes.
did you say?
Yeah, run.
Wait, they didn't have a
The
prenup?
Libra Chronicles.
Kanye didn't have a prenup.
Yeah,
with Kim
that is
Kardashian.
a good point, sis. Did they not have a prenup? That
I don't
shocks
know.
me.
'Cause I'm
I mean,
sure
I don't get into
They
celebrities
did,
like that.
they
so I
did
don't
have
know,
a
but
prenup. I'm sure Kanye and Kim had a prenup.
They must
But
have.
she made more money than him at one point in time.
Why would
Yeah,
he
they're
give
not
her-
bulletproof. Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure they did though, because I'm sure he sang about it.
He was
Yeah,
he was
definitely.
gassed
I'm
that
sure
he
he-
hold
yeah.
on. Kanye was gassed that he got with Kim Kardashian.
I don't know
you hear what he
why.
was saying in his interviews, bruv? He was like, oh yeah. There was one where somebody asked him, how do you feel that like, you know, she's done a video and people you know slept with her. And he's like, well, when I'm in bed with my wife and I see her, you know, you'd be happy too. And I was thinking, bruh,
No, he's done up.
you know, no fam.
So he knows what it was marrying though.
Kanye,
Everyone knew.
He chased her for a while.
Everyone
He tried to
Kanye is
pursue
a
her for a
true
while.
narcissist, right? He's one of my favorite. Like, I
Narcissist.
love him. I love Kanye.
Role model.
But he is a true narcissist. Him getting with Kim is just more his ego. I got with one of the baddest chicks on the planet. My bro, Jay-Z, is with Beyonce, who everybody is Beyonce. So now,
Yeah, but everyone
I
knows
got
Beyonce
Kim.
for one reason, and everyone knows your
Yeah,
missus for another reason.
Who wants to be with that girl that everyone's piped? That's mad.
You know what? You'll be surprised. Men, that actually turns them on a lot of times. If you ever notice that men, that sexually turns them
What?
turns them on.
That's mad.
A
You
lot,
think
I'm
everyone's
telling
like Adam 22, bruv? No, fam.
There's a lot of men who get turned on. Like,
I
if,
don't
I think those men, maybe those men are slightly inferior, or they're not hacking it.
Look
You
at,
know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, maybe they're not cutting it, so they're a little bit beta male-ish, so they're feeling like
I'm gonna tell you,
they want to see their wife truly satisfied, so I'm gonna watch her with an ex-man.
Have you heard of Celine Powell? Have you heard of Celine Powell?
Yeah.
Why does every famous man still continue to sleep with her, knowing she's just going to expose it to Instagram? Why? It's the thrill of it. What makes her poom poom so good that everyone wants to try it?
Do you know what? Do
I
you want
want
to
to
know?
try
Do you want to know the reality?
She
do you want to
said,
know
"I
the
wanna
reality
try it."
is, yeah? Like most men walking around are simps. Even high-profile men, most of them are simps.
simpy beta male.
That's why they don't even know their own station in life. That's why those guys get railroaded by any old chick on Instagram, because they're simps and they don't know anything, bro. That's why a lot of them need to be watching this podcast and super chatting $1 million.
Yeah.
No, this is the truth. This is why Andrew Tate became the most Googled man on the planet, bruv. Because most guys don't understand the reality. They don't understand women. They don't understand female nature. They don't understand the interpersonal dynamics. They don't understand that a lot of these women, yeah, they may be bad bitches, but they'll probably ruin you. They don't understand,
That's why they're bad
bro.
bitches. That's what we should rename that. They're a bad bitch. It's not good. Bad is bad. I don't
Just
think
like
all
how you
this-
lot all like bad boys.
I don't like bad boys. That's a lie.
No.
Okay, one doesn't. One out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
I don't
11.
Bad boy.
I plead
Don't
the
try and
fifth.
do me like that.
Bruv.
I plead the fifth.
You all got bad boys on your resume. Let's not go there.
I gotta
Yeah,
say.
everyone's been through the
God, no,
phase.
zero bad boys. Zero toxicity.
She's been with the same man since she was a teenager.
Okay,
So unless
okay.
he's a bad man, then she hasn't.
Alright,
She's
cool.
clean.
That's one out of all of you. That's not really good stats.
She loves
It's just that they're more interesting.
Even the
that's all
godly
that
girl,
is.
even the godly girl, she's got a bad
I
boy.
don't like bad boys.
You date the criminals.
Yes, that's
You had the drillers and trappers.
That's before
Don't
I
try
knew
it,
God.
bruv.
That's
Something about
before
that chair.
I knew God. I didn't know God then.
It don't
so
matter about
it doesn't
before.
matter.
It's still the
bad man on your
CV.
resume,
You said, do you like bad boys? No, I do not.
No, but you did.
Present.
You did.
Did before.
Yes,
present.
and that's what I'm talking
But
about.
Present
The
now.
past.
Present now. We're
Can
in
we
the
talk
present
about
now.
the past, please, just for a
No.
second?
Just for a minute, babe. It's not going to tarnish you.
It's
God
not
doesn't
a-
mind
it don't
about the
tarnish
past.
you.
No, yeah, I know, but I'm saying the question was, do you like bad
Do you
boys?
have one on
Change
your
the
resume?
question, fam.
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
there you go.
yeah.
That's it.
And
That's
I
it.
said
That's
that.
it. That's it.
And I
That's
already-
it.
I already
That's
admitted
it.
that, but
That's
I
it.
do not
We
know.
understand. It's okay.
fine.
In the present,
It's
I do not. In
fine.
the future, I do not.
In the middle.
Yeah, you used to like criminals. It's calm.
Used to.
Own
used
it,
to.
own it, own it.
Own it, sis.
Own it, girl.
Why
Own
do you-
it.
why-
And
why- okay.
It's not even that I used to like criminals. I just
Oh,
fell
here
in
we
love with
go.
a man.
That's
That's
fine,
all.
babe.
I fell in love
It's
with
not
a
a
man.
problem, sis.
It's
I
cool.
know it's not a problem.
It's cool. He
But
was a
you're-
pharmacist. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, he's a pharmacist. Yes, florist.
Look,
Yeah.
I know it's
Gardener. Gardener. No, that's good,
I
man.
know it's not a problem.
Yeah.
I was answering the question factually.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Do you not have to date at least one of each in your lifetime? Like, I'll at least talk to him. A bad boy, a good guy, and a good man, and like a simpy guy, just to know. Like,
You told me.
What we've done the trio.
That's
You
a good
told
theory.
me.
That's
no,
a good
it's
theory.
like, yeah. 'cause,
Why
like,
do you have to date a bad boy? Why?
How do you?
So bad boys have got they've got that masculine energy that I don't give a damn type of energy. Right?
Damn.
I'm a thinker. So they got that, and it's like you can feel like they walk in the room, and it's like it looks cool and stuff. Especially in school, girls kind of.
It's a young thing.
That's,
It's not only young thing because you lot do it in your older outside of school ages as well. Come on, let's
Not
keep it
me,
real.
not me.
It stays with you.
Her theory is
Not me,
actually
not
really
me.
correct
Yeah.
because how are you going to know what you like if you
Unless
haven't
you
dated
don't
it?
experience
If you've only
it.
dated good guys, how are you going to know whether you like a bad boy, whether you like a simpy type of guy, whether you're not going to know until you get in that
Yeah.
relationship. So women should date, and you should date
So
a
you're
lot of
saying-
men and figure out
Different
what
guys
you
to
want.
know what you want exactly
Yeah.
and what
you
you
don't have to
don't
sleep with all
want.
these men, but there's nothing wrong with dating these
You
men.
are going to
and
sleep
figure-
with these men, though.
No,
You
not
are going to
necessarily,
sleep with
no.
them. Yes, you will.
No.
Come on.
Yes, you will.
No.
Yes, you will.
I'm fully done. A lot of times, there's a lot of women who more or less to get in her drawers, you have to get into her mental. So there are, like women, we are horny a lot, maybe even hornier than men, but that doesn't mean that we're
But you don't
open
have
up
to
our
sleep
legs.
with them. You don't have to sleep with them. You just kind of like
Just go on
you go on a date, and then you're like, I don't.
You don't have to
I don't
sleep with them.
actually-
Hand jobs is there.
No. Hold on a second. No.
What do you mean?
Come on. You can read the room. Like, let's say I was in the room with, like, you know, any guy. Let's say I was in the room with a good guy or a simpy guy. Let's say I can read the energy. I can be like, hold on a second. Like, his values, his whatever. Like, women are very intuitive. We can read people. We don't have to sleep with them to get to know them.
So
And
how
that's
come
very true.
everyone has a bad ex or a toxic ex if you are so intuitive then?
Yeah, if you're so smart and you know everything, why you got
Who
these
said I was so
hiccups on
smart
the
and I know
resume?
everything?
Why? Why?
Well, just because I,
mean,
bring a perspective, I have to be a smarter.
It's not 100%
No, I'm just saying you lot in general, innit?
No, she didn't say it's 100% accurate, but a lot of the time we do have a sense where we can actually read things better than guys can because
Or do guys not care about those
Yeah,
things
I think we
that
just
we're
take
reading?
time to. We make that choice to.
Are they
whereas-
not so bothered about the things that we're
Yeah.
bothered about? That's
Yeah.
really what it is.
Yeah, it's
They're
not
not
that deep for
interested in the
guys.
same things that
not that
we're
deep.
looking at. They're not necessarily looking at that.
Do you know what? I
Therefore-
disagree with that.
Oh yeah, you've been quiet for long,
Yeah,
man.
go
You need to
on,
talk
tell
up.
us.
You two need to talk up.
So I think that a lot of the time men can be more intuitive, and I think that women lead with our emotions. So we are just all over the place, and we'll choose to discard red flags, we'll choose to oversee things, and we'll know that things are a certain way, and we'll just keep going along with it because we're in love or we think that this is our soulmate. Like my partner, for example, he's super intuitive. As soon as he meets someone, he's like, "That's a bad guy," and I'm like, "Huh?" He's like, "That's a bad guy, just watch." And then I'm like, "No," because I usually see the best in people, or I try to. And
Your boyfriend watches my channel, innit?
my fiance, he does watch the channel. He's
Sorry.
watching right now.
Let me correction for Yonsei. Hey, big up to you, my brother, yeah? Because you obviously can see a good man when you see man. That's why you watch the channel. Hey, big up to you, bruv.
Exactly.
Anyway, carry
Subscribe.
on, please.
Yeah. So, and that's just been my experience in that sense. And I think that's why, like some of the ladies were saying, it's so important to have your father in your life because you need that male guidance to be able to show you right from wrong and to be able to sense these things because for us as women, we get so carried away with our emotions. Like I can speak for myself and yeah, I just don't think that we have, I know people always say that we are super intuitive, but like people have said, why do we always have a toxic ex? Why was it that, we had this narcissistic boyfriend who completely dumped us in the bin? And then it's like, how long were you with them? Just 5 years. And it's
You must have heard me say that.
No,
'Cause that's funny.
I 100% agree. Like we definitely do lead with our emotions a lot. I definitely used to more. Now I'm beginning to learn how to
Think like a man.
not think like a man, but sort of see things that I've seen before and
I
be
should,
like,
I should write a book. Think like a man,
There's a
bruv.
movie about that.
Somebody already
Yeah,
written it.
yeah. All right, I'm gonna have to pattern it different.
Rename that.
And
That's
I-
a good
rename
movie.
it.
And I do think a lot of the time women know things that, men wouldn't see. Like in my experience, that's what I see a lot.
Yeah.
like what, for example?
Like, for example, how men say, she always knows when I'm like cheating, for example. Like you hear that all the time. Women always know these things. We always have like a sixth sense. We can feel things. We can feel when someone's being shifty. We can feel when, someone's not right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I know
I
what
think
you mean,
everyone
but
can do that though. I don't
Yeah,
think
of
it's
course.
specific to
Yeah,
women.
yeah.
Do you think
I
women
know
are just
everyone
more
can do
vocal
that.
about
I
it?
think
Do you
we choose to
I think women are
ignore.
more in tune.
One voice.
Feelings wise.
I think we choose to ignore. We are
And see
intuitive,
things.
but we let things slide.
Yeah.
Whereas
We choose to see
men
the
would
good
be like,
things.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
we
I
choose to
think.
see the good
That's what I
agree.
think the
I
balance
agree on
is.
that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we do that?
Because we want,
Because we're
we want it
silly.
to work.
No, because when you first meet someone, you meet their representative. And so maybe 5 years in, you finally met the real him. But
No, the red
anytime you're
flags are
dating,
always-
you meet someone's representative. No one's going to come in through the gate and show you all the worst parts of themselves and expect for you to take
I
that.
think you meet a guy that you fancy and he gets you moist downstairs, and then you think, boom, like, nah, he's fit. I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna find out more about this guy. I'm gonna sleep with him. I'm gonna find out more about him. You're gonna see red flags, but because he's got that halo effect of being 6'4" or dashingly good, handsome, 9 inches, or whatever, you're gonna give him a little bit more leeway than a normal guy. Because if a normal guy starts acting up, you're like, well, I don't need to be with him.
I agree with you. That happened to me not too long ago.
I agree.
Oh, that happened not too long ago.
Not too long ago.
Tell us what happened.
Now you meet a man, you be like, oh, he's fine. Oh, this, that. And then you're like, you know what? I see the red flags, but I'm going to stay around because maybe I'm just not knowing him enough. And then after a while, you be like, no, this nigga really is a demon. Like, what's wrong with me?
What did he do that was so demonic?
He just was alive.
Wow.
Which means everything was wrong.
Wow. I love that.
Hey, put it on. Don't leave it on me. It's not me, you know. Yeah. Well, so he was just what did he do that was so bad? Like, you're saying he needs to just disappear?
No. I mean, I don't want anybody to disappear. And anybody who I've ever dealt with, I'm still cool with. I still think, you're
not until
people.
he sees this show, sis.
But hey,
I just asked you, what did he do that was so demonic? And you said it's because he's alive.
You know what it is? It's not even what he did. It's what I allowed him to do. It's not what he did. It's what I allowed him. What did you allow him to do? Because sometimes a man will sit there and tell you what it is, but because his actions or something might be otherwise, or he'll say something otherwise, you'll be like, well, maybe he really means this. No, if he told you this is what it is, that's what it is, period.
Yep. Oh, so he told you that he just wants a pipe. And then you was like trying to do something else.
Just, when someone says like, okay, I can't really give you my heart, it doesn't matter. Like, they could like spending time with you, they could like all that. But if someone says that, get out of there. They're not lying. Get out of there.
That means the willy must have been good then. Yo. All right, cool.
I didn't even answer, so we'll just leave it at that.
Pleading the fifth again, eh?
I love pleading the fifth.
I say nothing. All right, cool. Big up Robert for the 5. He says, debt-based fiat currency is not money. Debt is slavery.
Yes, I completely agree.
Okay.
I don't understand.
Well, the money we have right now is not real. It's a promise. So even on a note, it says, I promise to bear I promise to pay the bearer on demand the sum of £20 or £10 or £5. The money we have right now is not real money. It's not real currency. It's fiat currency, and it's a promise, so it's not even real.
So IOU, basically.
Exactly. The real money is gold and silver, which we're not using anymore. So they're doing it on purpose because the trust funds have all the money, and that's all owned by the Rothschilds.
This girl is just
and Rockefellers.
This girl is full of every conspiracy, bruv.
It's not conspiracy. She's talking truth.
It's good. It's good. But like, okay, we got Doug MPA. Why is NYC bartender back on the show? She makes all American look bad. We need a better representative on the show. What a shame. Doug is on you.
But you remember me, right? So next in the super chat, next.
You two.
How much did he pay for that?
Exactly.
Hey, Doug, you're getting on to you. They said 5 is not enough, Doug. Like, come on, man, support what we're doing.
You're not even supporting, right? You got the nerve to talk about me. Brush yourself up, Doug. Doug, you on out of here.
Damn. You two might as well kiss.
Nah, Doug is a YouTube Twitter finger type of person. I don't do Twitter fingers. I do real life.
Are you starting to sound gangster?
Yeah,
I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? The hands go all active and that.
Nah, let me tell you, because I try to represent myself well, but if you're gonna keep coming at me, now the Bronx is gonna come out of me. Like, what's up?
The Bronx in London. Let's go. Let's go, the Bronx. Let's go. I haven't done no let's go the whole show. That is mad. Get me the star signs and that. Leos, let's go. And now put your hand down. Nonsense.
You know what I'm about to ask you? Are you from South London?
Yeah.
I knew it. Okay.
What do you know? What do you know about South London?
No, I promise you.
Hold on.
I'm going to promise you right now.
What do you know about South London exactly?
I promise you. I haven't got to put it up yet.
This girl ate one chicken wing and now she thinks she knows everything.
No, I'm going to tell you. Listen to me. If you meet a guy, ladies, and you want to know if he's from South London, just tell him to smile. He's going to always have that side gold tooth. Soon as I see that side gold tooth, South London.
No, that's everywhere in London. That's everywhere.
But South London rocks.
Do you not agree with that? Do you not agree with that? Gold tooth is just South London.
That side gold tooth, that's South London. Like, every time I've ever met a man and he's had that, South London.
Okay, cool.
South London. Now you're going to go back to South and be like, oh, everybody smells.
Nah, you're funny. That was good. Big up Carlos X for the super sticker with the good job. Appreciate that. Big up to Dragon. Dragon's back again.
Oh, God. Come on, Dragon.
Dragon is coming at you. He says, who cares what Instagram granny says?
Yo, he want to eat my pussy so bad. Like, get out of here. Like, if that's what you want to do, just say that. Like, come on, my guy.
$20 minimum.
On 20 minimum.
No, that was 20. It was 20.
Okay,
It was 20.
all right.
It was 20.
Up it to 50.
Nah.
50 or nothing.
Dragon's putting in work. He's putting in work. Big up to DJ Sky N for the 10. Big up King. Big show once again. Killing it as usual. Is this the most women you've had on the podcast? Shout out to Empress and Esther. You have to say hello
Thank
to
you.
them.
Hi.
Go on. Say it again. Go on.
I said hi. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Is it the most? Nah. We've had like about 20 people 20 girls in the studio.
How did anyone
did that
speak?
work?
We had to just like swap over the whole thing. Like that only was one time, and then like we tried to keep the numbers down. But I'm trying to keep. I just wanted today's show to be a mega show in it. So like,
Are you enjoying the mega show?
it's alright, you know what I'm saying? It's alright. Everyone get the likes up on the video. Over 600 people watching. I think this is awesome. Yeah. When is your prime? Oh God, why? Because I said I was gonna come back to it, and I did. So what's Prime about? What is Prime? What is Amazon Prime?
We discussed this already, and I'll say it again.
Is she in her prime?
It's on her prime.
This one at the back because she hasn't spoke.
Well, I haven't really
She's 22.
heard what she's had to say.
She's 22. She's 22. Yeah.
I would say no.
She's not in her prime.
I would say no.
Well, then
but then
where is
again,
she
I
then?
can't say that.
Where is she then?
I can't say whether she's in her prime or not because I don't know her. I don't know like.
But what you do know, she's 22. So is she in her prime?
I think she has probably a lot to learn. I don't know if she is stable like she should be. I don't know. I don't know her. So I can't say whether she's in her prime or not.
Do you think she's in her prime?
At 22.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think she's in her prime?
Because any mother would tell you those eggs start declining at 25.
Yikes.
The quality of the eggs aren't the same.
He went quiet.
No, I'm done now. He said, well, I'm done. I'm finished.
Bruh, like, what do you not think about that? Like, I didn't say it, so don't get mad at
But
me.
I feel like as women, we can't solely look at a woman and say like our sole purpose, even though the Bible does say it is, that our sole purpose is just to be a mother. There's so much more to a woman being in her prime.
But then what is our sole purpose?
outside of her just bearing children?
But then what is our sole purpose?
There has to be another purpose for women that society sees us as other than just here, have a baby,
Being
get pregnant, have a baby.
working 9 to 5, like having the stress of working for somebody else's corporation, wouldn't your time be more valuable in the home looking after your own children? I think women are sold this lie of like, oh, you've got your career, you've got to do all these things. Like, everyone's different and everyone's careers are different, but at the end of the day, it's a 9 to 5. You go to work for your boss, you sit in a cubicle, you read emails, you send emails, you read contracts, whatever it is, it's boring. You'd rather be in your home with your kids.
I'd rather serve my children than serve a boss, a corporate boss.
Or you can have your own business. I don't know why we're all working for the man out here.
Which is why.
Even then, it's less
but come on, let's be real. Most people
option,
are working for somebody.
Yeah, that's a majority. That's
And
what we
it's-
have to do.
Yeah, and it's less fulfilling working for somebody else or even having your own business than, serving your children, raising your children with your values and your intentions for them.
So when you have kids, do you work now?
Yeah.
When you have children, you don't have children, do you?
No.
When you have children, will you stop working fully or will you take a period of time off of work and then go back to work?
I will stop working until they're old enough to, look after themselves. I.e.,
no income.
No, my husband would provide.
Okay, so you're relying solely on your husband's income.
Yeah.
How will you feel if that goes wrong?
Well, you'll be protected
What do you
by
mean?
the courts.
Exactly, and not even just
But
the
you
courts.
just said that was a good answer. Who said that? It is a good answer, but it's fuckery.
not even the courts. I'd be protected because I wouldn't get married through the law. I'd be protected by my man who would still, or my ex, who would still provide for me and our family.
So you're going to be single forever?
So what about, I thought you said earlier that you didn't think that the guy should pay for the woman, he should just pay for the kids.
So my husband will want me to raise the children and not for them to go to school because I'm not going to get with somebody who.
I was talking about if you split up. Sorry.
Yeah, but even then, he would want me to raise the children, so he would provide for me to be able to stay at home and teach them
But I
myself.
thought earlier you said that you didn't agree that the woman should get provided for, only that the man should provide for the kids.
I mean,
Or am I
if a woman's homeschooling and therefore unable to work because she's homeschooling her kids, it's a different dynamic because she's not sending her kids to school.
I'm still stuck on this. You said that you would not get married by the law.
Yeah.
So you are choosing to remain single forever then? You're
What
a
do you mean?
God-fearing person, and God
What
says
does that
that you
mean?
should get married, right? So
Yeah.
you would just have no marriage, basically.
No, I'd be married by God. So
How does that
a godly
happen?
marriage? It's basically a priest marries you, and there's no papers to sign. It's just you, your partner, and God, and a priest.
Does
who
your
marries
last name change? Does your children get your last name or his last
can
name?
do,
How
yeah.
does that happen?
You, you can do that.
You can change
do,
your name
You
legally.
can
Can I
change
just
your
ask
name.
you a question? Are you of specific religion?
Yeah, I'm a Christian.
The exact same way as it works in Islam. So technically, when you get married through God, let's not talk about all of the like prenups or whatever. So the guy still takes care of you, even though you split up. He still takes care of. So he's giving you all of the money that you will need later on, whether you split up or not.
Well,
and then the money for the children is like work the same way with like Christianity.
So-
Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know about Islamic marriages, but there's no. I wouldn't expect him to sign anything to say he's going to provide for me. I would marry someone who I know would
Who
provide.
you know that would be accountable for
Yeah.
the children that he's created, and he would take care of them.
Exactly.
And equally, you would be protected as well.
Because he would want me to homeschool them.
100%.
Therefore, I'm unable to
Okay,
work.
makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Are you
such
single?
high hopes.
Yeah. Are you single? Do you have a partner?
Yeah.
You're single.
No, I've got a partner.
And does he share the same core values and morals as you?
Yeah.
How long have you been together?
Not long. It's been, literally a few days.
A few days?
Yeah, but we've been seeing
Sure.
we've
Matting.
been seeing each other for longer, but officially together for a few days. So yeah, and he has all the values that I've got.
Is he a YouTuber?
No.
Oh.
Are you talking about Sneeko?
Who's Sneeko, sis? Sounds like
A
a match.
YouTuber that I went on a date with, but it was like on Pearl's podcast, and
Oh, I've
but
watched
that's
that.
not
I've watched that.
really.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not. Yeah, he's not.
He's very into that topic.
Well,
Very, yeah.
very much so. Yeah.
And he
he's a
definitely-
Muslim, so he follows all of this.
Oh, you're talking about Sneeko?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you was going out of Sneeko.
No, it wasn't.
She
real.
went out
well,
with
I mean,
Sneeko
I
on a
went out with
date.
him, but
You
we
fancied
weren't
him? Did you
together.
fancy him?
Well, yeah, because of his, values and his beliefs, which were very similar to mine, but not anymore because I have a partner who I know I want to be with forever.
I would love to come back on this show a year from now, and I would love you to come back on this show a year from now and
Yeah.
just see what the progression of this.
Definitely, yeah.
Why?
I would
It's gonna
happily.
be a different tune.
I'll
might be
I'll bring
happily
him
married,
too.
but
I'll
they
bring
might-
him too.
You don't want to get married on paper, so
You don't
they'll
need to
just
get
be
married on
cohabitating.
paper. You don't need to get married on
It's hard to
paper.
get out of.
They'll be cohabitating.
No, that's
It
not
is
true.
what
They're going to be
is.
shacking up. Shacking up.
And we talk about delusion. You'll be cohabitating. You will not be legally married by the law.
You don't
will
need
be
to be
cohabitating.
legally married
You-
by the law. But why,
if it's-
why does the government
it's
get to
in your
tell you if
heart,
you're married
boo-boo.
to someone?
It's in your heart, boo boo.
No, it's not in my heart. It's to God. So
Yeah.
actually, that's more meaningful than a piece of paper that you've both
You're right.
signed.
That's
Would
in
you
your
not
heart.
say? Would you not say that's more meaningful?
You're cohabitating.
Can I just
No, you're
go
not
back to the
cohabitating.
topic?
You're married. You're actually married
You're
through God.
cohabitating.
No, you're not.
So we were talking about women in their prime, what is prime, right, and stuff. So I was just thinking, because you were talking, I was just thinking. So when a man is in his prime, so he's probably 30-something, maybe. Obviously, at his prime, so like when he's the most attractive, when he's got his shit together, when he's got his mindset together, and he's just doing well for himself, and he's, the most attractive at that point, and the most desirable, I would say. So that's the prime for the man. So for a woman, we were talking about their eggs and how fertile you are and how attractive you are, and we were talking about raising children. So I don't think that that's the only thing. Somebody mentioned, I don't think it's only about raising children. So when you're in your prime as a woman, I think, yes, so you're of the age, so you're probably in your 20s somewhere, maybe from like 22 22, 25, maybe even 7. So that's your years. So this is when you're the most active, the most attractive, you're
The most fertile
the
as
most
well.
fertile as well. But also, I think the prime is when you reach the age of maturity in your mindset, where you can be a good woman for a guy as well.
And for the kids as well.
For the
mother.
kids, but I'm talking about the man, because you can't have the kids without the man.
Yeah.
So your prime should be something that's desirable for the men, because you see how I spoke about the men, how they're desirable to the women, because they have the wealth, because they have the money. So it's the same for women. I think you're in your prime when you've got your shit together here as well as a woman to be able to provide for that guy and support
But
him.
he doesn't
in a
need you to
way.
have your shit together. He just needs your womb.
No, I'm not talking about like financially. I'm talking about here, because you're there for a man as well. You have to support him as well emotionally. You know, emotional intelligence is so important for men, and for men, love is respect. If you can't learn that at that specific point, if you're, let's say, because you're 22, right? And we were talking about you as well. Are you in your prime? So you're 22. I'm not talking about you specifically here, but I'm just talking about the age. So when you're 22, are you old enough to understand that?
Definitely
Okay, but if I'm a man that wants 4 children and what good is a 35-year-old to me? What good is a 35-year-old?
That's what I'm saying. Hold on. Can I say as a guy? Because, you know, as a guy. Like, you've been saying a lot of stuff, and I'm not going to lie, it's just gone, I don't even know what you're talking about. All I know is prime, fam, the age comes into it highly. Do you get what I'm saying? Because just as she said, if I'm a guy and I want 4 children, like, bruh, I have to go for a woman that's in a certain stage in her life.
Yeah.
Let me say something real quick, because I have to leave
That's
soon.
what I
right?
said.
I have to leave soon. But let me just say one thing. I think that for a traditional woman, that their prime definitely is younger. Because traditionally, a man is looking for build a home or whatever. The modern woman, I think the older, in your 30s is when you reach your prime, because that's when you have your true maturity, your stability. You have yourself together.
I agree.
You
I
know,
disagree.
so
I agree. Because
modern women, older, traditional women, younger.
Because
That's what I said.
I've had children in my 20s, at 25 in my prime, and I also had a child in my late at 39.
But that's what I'm talking about. Is that your
How old are you? You
prime?
look good.
So,
What? You look
I'm
the
43.
fuck good.
So,
Black don't crack, honey.
So thank you. So when my point is, I get what you're saying about I understand what you're saying about the mentality of a woman. So when you're talking about making babies, 100% you're in your prime, because having a baby at 39, I lost 3 before that. So it's true, your body is not the same. So I get that, I completely agree. But mentality-wise, I feel personally that I had more life experience and I could give my little girl more than what I could give my boys at 25 and 27.
So if you had the child now, would that be your prime?
In mentality-wise, I think it's the best time to have a child in your later years. But physically,
that literally doesn't make sense.
That don't make sense.
And I'll tell you why.
You're providing stability.
I'm talking about experience,
I'll tell you why. Because if you have a child in your later years, when they need you, you will be dead.
Not necessarily. She's vegan and she takes care of herself.
Yeah, but like, but listen. You lot are making it specific to her when we talk in general.
Yeah,
bro.
generally, a woman in her prime is in her 20s. 100%.
Yeah, modern or traditional. Because biology didn't change just because feminism. No, biology didn't change, fam.
But I believe that through life experience, like what you said, you can give your child.
That you should be in that prime, in your 20s. At some point, you should get to that mental stage, that mental, capacity.
But at 25 and 27, I thought I had that, but now I'm older. I look back and think you
learn
knew nothing.
More, but you should at least have the basics.
100%. But I think again that comes with experience and age. So you can't really say that unless you've been there and you reach.
Well, I guess
age.
An important thing to remember as well, we live in a generation where women don't value health. So we're finding now more and more that women in their late 20s can't even conceive a child because of the lifestyle choices that they've made, because they've been doing things to stop pregnancy, which has an adverse effect on their... I'm speaking as a mother of multiple children. I have many children.
That's fine. But
you look good.
So I'm not just speaking out of nowhere and speaking for the sake of it.
Big up to the black queens on the show today. Big up.
This is true.
Yes.
But the thing is, I don't
What
think.
about the rest of the women?
I don't think.
I'm
women-
just saying that we look good. Black don't crack. We look good. We pushing out babies. We look good. I'm sorry. I cannot give a big up.
No, I'm just saying. What do you think about everyone else as well?
I want to big up my sisters.
All right, cool. I'm just asking. Don't get mad. It's okay.
I'm not getting mad. All I'm saying is that I'm bigging up my sisters, okay? All day long, society bigs up everybody else. I want to big up the Black queens right now. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. Period.
What do you think society does to Black women?
Do you think that we get the...
No, I'm asking you.
Well, I think nowadays, we're starting to get a little more recognition. People are starting to see how strong we are, how we are up and coming. You know, so many Black women are becoming CEOs and all types of different stuff. So now we're finally starting to be like, we are a force to be reckoned with. Before that, literally, if you go to a job, it is the white man, the Black man, the white woman, then the Black woman. And that is literally the order. And we didn't even talk about the other. We didn't talk about
worldwide. Is that worldwide?
I can't talk about worldwide. I can just talk about what I studied in America, Western world, stuff like that. That's what happens in companies.
Is America predominantly Black country or white country, would you say?
Predominantly white.
Let's say non-Black. It's predominantly non-Black, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
So why would you expect to be higher in the pecking order?
That's just what it. But it is what it is. Let's be as a woman, it
is what it is. What do you mean it is what it is?
Listen,
bro, you're in a non-Black country. You're not going to be at the top of the pecking order. And I say to people, if you are a Black person and you're in a predominantly non-Black country, go to the Caribbean, go to an African country. Go to Haiti, go to one of these places where it's predominantly Black, and then you can live there and not be looked at as a Black man. You'll be just looked at as a man, or you'll be looked at as a woman. You cannot listen, this world, the human race is about teams. It's all about teams, bruh. So you can't go to, I don't know, Poland and then expect them to look at you as the standard of beauty there. It's not gonna happen, bro. But it doesn't matter how many rappers and athletes you see on TV. It don't matter.
You have to remember, right? Let's say we just talk about America, right?
Okay.
You act like the Black people asked to be taken
from
where they from and dropped there, right?
That's not the point. That's not the point.
So, right? Is it more white people there? Yes, it's more white people there. You're saying, okay, well, go where there's more Black people. If that's not your culture, that's not what you're used to. How are you going to go back there?
Yeah, but I'm just saying that to illustrate a point. I'm saying it to illustrate a point. I'm not saying everybody has to make a mad exodus. I'm just saying you need to understand the game you're playing and the players you're playing with. At the end of the day, if you are in America and you know as an ethnic minority, especially as a Black African American, knowing the history that you have there, which is terrible and awful, right? You need to understand, bro. Of course, they're not gonna make you the standard of beauty there. They're not gonna give you. It's not gonna be like even Stevens. There's gonna be a hierarchy there. Like that's just it.
Yeah, but
if you, as I said already, if you go to a Black country, then you can go there and you're not going to be perceived as, oh, she's a Black woman. You're just a woman there. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm just illustrating a point. I'm not saying you have to migrate. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that if you make it a thing in your head, oh yeah, it's not fair, that the white man is at the top than the Black man. First of all, of course the men are going to be at the top because it's the men that build civilization and society, bruv.
But
so you're always going to be lower, like regardless.
Listen, if you are in a working person in America, right? Any Black person has to work twice as hard. So if I came to go get a job, we apply for the same job. I could be more skilled and qualified to do that job, but still won't get it because I am Black. So a lot of Black people have to work twice as hard just to get a lower level job when they deserve to have a job up here just because they're Black.
And I understand that. I understand there's prejudice and there's undercover prejudice, and you could apply for a job and then the person looking at your application look at your name and be like, oh, nah, in the bin. I understand that. But at the end of the day, right, you need to understand the game you're playing and the playing field, and you need to understand the players you're playing with. Of course, if you're an ethnic minority, bro, why? Think about it. Why would they make it like easy for you lot to just overthrow?
But see,
nobody does that. Nobody does that.
But black
kind of
people, we are
do.
doing that right now. Black people right now are becoming CEOs. There's so many young people who are starting their companies. Look at Tyler Perry, one of the biggest studios.
I don't care about
black
1%.
people.
I don't care about 1%ers, bruv.
It's gonna be 5, 10, 15, 20 in no time. We're doing that now. We're getting there.
In the UK, I don't know.
Do you know why you lot you have that mindset? Because you look at all these entertainers, rappers, and all these kind of people. You hyper focus on them so much that you actually believe that this is the standard. This is normal. It's not normal. Everyone in the NBA is not normal. Everyone in the NFL is not normal. Every one of your favorite rappers and singers. Do you know how many people had to fail for that person to be on that screen?
So I'm actually looking at people I know. Everybody who I know and I associate with myself with back home,
they're still 1%ers.
But
maybe you got a 1%er circle. Maybe that makes you a 1%er. But you don't represent the majority. Do you think you represent the majority?
I don't think. I think I'm just an opinionated person. I think I'm just giving my opinions on a platform.
No, that's cool to have an opinion.
I'm doing.
There's nothing wrong with having an opinion. I want you lot to have opinions. I want you lot to challenge me. It makes us smarter. When you go back and forth with people, it makes you smarter. It makes more brain, the synapses and neurotransmitters start firing properly. Do you get what I'm saying? But what I'm saying to you is, because you was referring to, the black women in America, it goes white men, black men, white women, black women. And what I'm saying to you is, you're in a non-black country and men have to be at the top. So as an ethnic minority, that is, what do you expect it to be? That's all I'm saying to you. What did you expect it to be?
For us to all be given a fair chance. Like, we're in 2023. I think everybody should have a fair chance.
Can I say something?
Okay.
So let's just speak about the UK. I don't know about America, but most companies have a diversity quota.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
So most companies are trying to be as diverse as they possibly can so that their company looks good. And I agree with King when he said, people are going to potentially look at your name, and people are prejudiced, people are evil. But on the whole, in general, if you look around, people they are given opportunities in this country. I don't know about America, but it looks like it's the same thing. Everybody has a diversity quota. You can't discriminate against people. There's laws in place. It's just...
And quotas are actually, discriminatory.
And I was just about to say, the fact that they even had to come up with a diversity quota is sad within itself. You had to literally come up with that.
But why? But you want a solution, and then they give you a solution, and then you're saying it's sad to have a solution.
I think what she's saying is it shouldn't be an issue in the first place. Exactly. You shouldn't see skin color or anything. It should just be an equal.
I get
I'm sorry, but this is what I'm saying. That's not real. It's always teams.
She can still want that for society in the world. Can't she?
Yeah, but then you have to still deal with the real world.
Of course.
So we can all want what we want. I want to be a millionaire today. I'm not even a millionaire. I want to be a billionaire today. That someone should donate $1 billion right now. Don't mean it's gonna happen.
I bet you Dragon Fruit and Emmanuel will do it.
Dragon Fruit.
Big up to the super trap.
Dragon Fruit. But listen, I just want to reiterate. I just think that yes, there is discrimination against black people. Absolutely, I believe that 100%. I'm sure most of us, or ethnic, not even just black people, as an ethnic minority in a country, you face some kind of discrimination at some point. That I'm not ever degrading or downplaying or trying to make out like it's not an issue. It is absolutely. But what I'm saying is that, for instance, me as a black guy, I know the way I look, I'm going to be judged and stereotyped. I know that. I know when I get on the train or whatever, and I get on there and I sit down, some people will be looking at me do you know what I mean? And stuff like that, knowing that I probably got more money in my bank account than they do. But at the end of the day, I need to understand the game I'm playing, the players I'm playing with, and the landscape of the field. I need to understand that. And I can't be in some fairy tale mind. Oh, yeah, you should all love me and treat me the same as you would treat Bobby or Tommy around the corner. I need to deal with the real world, and then I can act accordingly.
And would you say that you wouldn't be able to achieve what you have achieved if you had allowed yourself to, well in that limited mindset of not allowing yourself to achieve it, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, if you have a limited small mind, you think there's so many limits and restrictions on yourself. You're not going to try stuff. You're just gonna be like, oh well,
gonna fail.
yeah, I'm gonna fail anyway, or everyone's against me anyway. So like, boom, I might as well just do what everybody else does or what they expect me to do. Let me go and be a driller. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's what it is, and that's why a lot of boys do that, because they don't see. Maybe they haven't had no one around them to show them that there's more to life or whatever, and then they just look at what is pumped out in the media, blah blah blah, and then they just go and do some nonsense. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I just think that it's kind of like dangerous to have this kind of mindset. And I'm not saying it's what you're saying, but I just think it's dangerous to have a mindset of, oh, yeah, woe is me, I'm a victim, blah, 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 blah. Like, I think you need to just understand, yeah, life isn't fair. And I think men understand that. And I said that in the last time we was on. Men have to understand that life is not fair. We have to. There's just no choice. And life will slap you in the face. I think a lot of times women, you can get away with having your heads in the clouds a little bit.
But my head's not in the cloud. What I'm saying is that we aren't being victims. More and more Black people are becoming superpowers. We're sitting there and building companies. We're starting our own companies from scratch, employing each other. We're doing that now.
I'm not arguing that point, though.
Yeah, that's what we're doing now. So we're not playing victim.
No, I was just making a point about that. When I was addressing what you said, I was addressing the hierarchy that you was talking about.
Yeah, and we're changing the narrative. We're at the point now where we're trying to change. We're trying to change the narrative. Yeah.
So what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen in America in that hierarchy of white man, white woman, black woman? What do you think is going to happen?
If you haven't been able to tell, a lot of black women are becoming CEOs. They're giving a lot of they're giving these powerful positions. I think that honestly, the white man is still scared to give the black man that powerful position. So he will give it to a black woman before he gives it to a black man.
Because those are placeholder titles. That's literally the point you just made, even if you don't realize it.
Can you elaborate?
No, because I gotta go.
I want to go off your point. You said the white man is scared of giving it to the black man, so he would rather give it to the white woman, the black woman. You're literally saying those are placeholder titles.
You're the safe option.
The women are the safe option.
You're the safe option. Yeah. You said it. You just said it yourself.
I didn't.
You actually did.
Did I disagree? Did I say?
No, you didn't disagree. No, cool, you didn't disagree. I thought you was rebuttaling. I thought you was getting ready. Because at first you wanted to rebuttal.
No, I didn't. I really have to just go right now. I really got to go. So that's why I've just been looking like.
Unfortunate.
It's been real. See everybody later.
I appreciate you. You've been really good, man. And safe travel. You going back to the States?
Yeah, I'm going back tomorrow.
Oh, back to Boston. Let's go.
But I'll be back at the end of the month, and I'm sure I'll be back with more controversy.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. No, I'm definitely going to get it back. Everyone, please hit the like button. Is there anything you wanted to promote quickly?
Just follow me on my platforms, whether you hate me, troll me, whatever. Peachy Suze, Peachie, because everybody puts a Y, Suze, all platforms. Come holla at me, whatever.
All right, cool. Dragon, you know where to go. You get me? You get me? But yeah, this is. What do you think about it though? About what we was talking about with the whole
hierarchy thing.
Yeah.
I just think that life is full of obstacles for everybody, whether it's race, sexuality, whatever. And I think it's just how you deal with each situation, how you handle it is the main thing. You can take something and let it affect you, or you can't. And that's it.
Okay, what do you think about it?
I agree that there is hierarchy. I've worked in diversity and inclusion. For years, and I actually struggled with the whole quota thing. I struggled with the idea of doing gender pay gap reviews and ethnicity pay gap reviews, even though I was fully aware of the gaps. But you also have to, like what King said, look at the percentage of how much percentage of the population is black. How much percentage of that is educated to a certain level? How much percentage of that is then specializing in the role that we want? And out of that, then when you look at females furthermore, how many of those females are in a position where they want to work full time, maybe? And if you're looking at those more senior roles as well, and you look at women, we tend to find a gap where women, if they are, looking after the children at home, they don't want to go for those more senior roles. So I'm more interested in why the situation is rather than going, oh, black people aren't at the top, because I've run my own businesses. I've been a senior leader in organizations where I've worked for someone else, but I've been chosen as a senior leader and a head of department, and I've managed other managers at a young age, and I've run my own businesses. So I can see it from both perspectives, but you have to look at, when we looked at ethnicity pay gap, for example, it was looking at why do people not apply for the higher paid roles. That was both for ethnicity and gender. And when we actually like spoke to the staff about it, it was that sometimes it is a confidence gap, but that confidence gap is because of society telling people you can't go for that job. And then the other was literally because when I spoke to certain women, they were like, well, I've got 3 kids. I don't want a job as a senior manager because I'm going to end up doing longer hours. And they felt they wouldn't have the flexibility to do certain roles. But obviously there's systemic racism in everything. But it's something that will change over time. We can't expect to reinvent the wheel. We can't just think overnight everything's going to be fixed. But also, if you carry a chip on your shoulder, you're never going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
You can go around
How
with
you
a chip
deal
on
with
your
it.
shoulder. Yeah, you have to just do life, man, and stop watching other people. I said it before we went live. You're not here to be liked. The only person you have to like or love is your damn self.
And you have the choice.
It's an active choice to just live in your truth and do what you're doing without watching other people. When you watch other people, you inevitably fail.
So would you say that the gender pay gap is a myth then, because of all of the data that you just stated?
I don't think if you look at it factually, like statistically, no, it's not a myth, but I think people are looking at it too black and white. It's not, there's a gap, but it's not mythical, but there's a reason for it. And some of the reason is perfectly logical. So it's not as huge
black and white.
It's not as huge it's not a matter of discrimination necessarily. It's a matter of people not making the decisions. I think that people, I don't know why we lack choice so much. We've got so much choice, but people choose to be sheep.
I think my gripe here is like, okay, the first one is that gender pay gap, bro. That's a myth. Women don't want to do, a lot of times women don't want to do the jobs that men are willing to do. That's why. A lot of times men will work harder, work longer hours, even just for the fact that we don't have children. We don't push children out. So, you know what I mean? Like, there's that point. The other thing that really gets on my nerves, like, sorry to bring it back to the racial issue, you know, when a lot of black people say this and that and the other, but I'm sorry, a lot of black people didn't want to work hard in school.
Yeah, and we lack education. We don't have the same education
it's not even like, like our cultures, not like, I wouldn't say African culture or Caribbean culture, but like in the UK, USA culture is like have fun, be cool, all of this kind of stuff, which it doesn't really push like, you know, being academic. In fact, being academic is seen as you're a geek.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Well, I've heard songs, or I've heard times where like rappers will be dissing somebody else and say, "Oh yeah, you wasn't on the road, you at university."
I know, look at me now.
And I'm like, how is that a diss, bro?
Yeah, it's wild.
Like, do you get what I'm saying? And it's just wild. Like, what do you lot think about that?
You can't just put it down to race as well, because if you look at Asian cultures, and I look at I went to school in it was Asian and white populated. There weren't so many black cultures in the area where I went to secondary school. But if you look at the Asians' families, like you just said, were pushing them more into academia and striving for them to be academically successful and do certain jobs in the same aspect as some of the white families were doing. Whereas if I look at black cultures, sometimes the African families were striving more for their children to do things certain academically, but the Caribbeans were not necessarily. That's the truth. I'm Caribbean, but you know, it's not necessarily. You look at individual cultures, what they push their children towards doing, and also what they push depending on the gender of the child. So what do they want their son to do? What do they want their daughter to do? And how they bring them up culturally? Because I've got a lot of friends who are Asian, or like a lot of my Muslim friends who are women. Some of them have more the mentality that they will look after the children and stay at home and etc. Whereas the guys will more want to be doing a senior role, and the woman is more willing to take less of not a leadership role and be more submissive and be a homebody and not pursue academia, etc., but pursue being a housewife. But these are all cultural things, and that's not racist. That's just cultural nuances of our society. And we're in London. It's like the multicultural capital, isn't it, of the world? Like, we're so multicultural. And it's a blessing, but it's a curse because everyone's just at each other trying to wonder why, rather than just watching their own lane, wonder why everyone's a racist.
Yeah, let me ask you let me ask the other ladies in the room, the non-black ladies, Are we all ethnic minorities in here? Are we all like, what country are you from?
I'm Polish.
Polish. What country are you from?
Half Italian, half Spanish.
What country are you from?
I'm Polish.
What country are you from?
I'm Nepalese and Australian.
Okay, and what country are you from?
I'm Moroccan.
Okay, so we are basically we are all ethnic minority. That's what I already kind of knew that, but like I just wanted to make that clear. What is you lot's perception of like living in the UK, and how has your ethnic group or your ethnicity, how has that maybe affected you, like living in the UK? Have you felt any discrimination or been treated any kind of way because of accent or name or anything like that?
You know, it happens. That's why myself, I hate the racism core topics, right? Absolutely. I do not see a color, because to me, color is the same as ethnicity, okay? So it's the same issue in a sense where, let's say, when I went to school, there was a massive issue because the stereotypes, okay? So things are changing nowadays.
What's the Polish, where are you from again?
Poland, yeah.
What's the Polish stereotypes?
So, okay, so the Polish people come and steal the
Take
jobs.
all the jobs. I've heard that.
That Polish people are alcoholics, that they steal, that they're only builders and stuff, or that they're only cleaners and stuff, which is not true. Yes, there are a lot of people who do take on the jobs that the people who live here don't actually want. Okay, so if you leave the job, we're going to take it because we're going to work and we actually going to do it and we're going to do it good. You know, so that's one of the ones, and then, you know, the accent and everything, and it's like, you're discriminating. I mean, it's just funny, and I've had a weird situation. I was working my ass off 12 hours a day, 7 days a week in a Brazilian restaurant, and I had 4 people, and they were older English people who were very patronizing about it, and they were calling me over every 5 seconds, and they were like, can you bring us the English mustard? And they were like emphasizing on everything that is English, and then they kept staring at me. So my manager at some point, he was half Polish, half Egyptian, and he said to me, listen, can you go over to that table, because I don't know what they want, but you're clearly doing something wrong. And I'm like, it's not me. It's just, I'm going to go again and I'm going to politely ask what's happening. So the guy just sat there, the older guy sat there, the customer. He looked at me. He was like, are you Polish? And I said, yes, I'm Polish. What's the... He's like, and I'm English. And I said, okay, well, what's that got to do with anything? He's like, how does Brexit affect you? And I said, well, it doesn't. I'm settled. Like, it doesn't affect me. And they tried to pick on me, but at that point, my manager came in and he said, okay, well, you can finish for the day. And the thing is, things like that happen all the time. It's almost like you do realize that 4 of you are sitting in a Brazilian steakhouse eating Brazilian steak, bruv, served by the Portuguese pasadores, right? And all of the wine comes from Spain. Are you okay? You know? That's the main thing. And the thing is, like, that's why I really hate the topic. You know, black, white, Asian, Arabs, Muslims, not Muslims. Bruv, we all got culture. We all try to run away from something or settle somewhere. And it's all Wild West. So when we talk about, I do appreciate, and I have so much, don't get me wrong, I've got so much respect when it comes to the black community, when it comes to the history. I understand that. I back it up. I'm with you. But at the same time, it's Wild West, especially nowadays, okay? It doesn't matter where you're from, what your color is. We're all in the same boat because we all have to fight for the same thing, you know?
Everyone's struggling.
Exactly.
What about you? Have you got anything to add, like coming from, you know, your background?
Like personally, because I have a career with English, so I work strictly with the English language. For me, it took me a while to let like companies recognize actually my values and my skills, because they were like, oh, you don't sound from London. You don't have like a proper British accent. So it kind of felt shit at that time. But still, like now, for example, I work for a company that appreciate my multicultural background, appreciate that I can speak different languages, and I'm still able to hone and work with the English language. But I don't think that I can ever say on actually how it feels to be victim of a racist.
Maybe not racism, like because honestly, I don't think that. Okay, what you was describing in the restaurant and that, I wouldn't call that racism. That's not racism in my opinion. I think that's discrimination.
It's microaggressive.
Yeah, it's microaggressions, but is that racism? I don't think so.
There's another word for it. I forgot what the word was. But when
Prejudice.
when it comes to ethnicity, specific ethnicity, you can be not racist.
Oh, xenophobic.
Prejudice.
Yeah,
Xenophobic.
Yeah,
It's xenophobic.
Perhaps I can't.
That's so when you don't
where
like
I
any
can-
when you're
but-
saying that they sorry to cut you off, because you're saying they were saying English is where you don't like any culture outside of your own. So that sounds xenophobic.
But they said specifically Polish. You see what I mean?
Okay,
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think that's racism though.
Well, of the color as well. I mean, like I understand that it's different
Because
of the-
there's white English girls that look exactly like you.
I
Do
understand.
you get what I'm
that.
saying?
No,
Like
yeah.
the only way they're gonna know you're from somewhere is when they hear you talk your accent.
Yeah.
Whereas I can walk in there, I don't need to say nothing.
So it wasn't,
Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
So it
I know
wasn't-
I'm gonna be racist to him. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like,
I
straight off
get
the
it.
bat.
It's much harder when you have got the looks of your specific culture. It's probably perhaps much more harder because I blend in, right? So it must
Not
be,
probably it is.
You know, well, yeah, I do blend in. I still have got Slavic features, facial features and stuff. People do recognize that actually, on the street. But at the same time, I do blend in. So I do understand that it's much harder when you're of a specific color, right? Or you look extremely Arab or something, It must be much more harder. But I think that, the minorities exist within the white people as well. And it's fucking hard.
I'd say the minorities amongst the non-black people. That's what I'd say. Well, what was you gonna say? Was you gonna say something before I jumped in?
No, I say that I couldn't say that I'm a proper victim of a racist episode.
What about discriminatory based on where you come from?
Based on my accent, and probably like the first week that I was here in UK and I was in Watford, I was talking with my friend. I was talking in English. Just a whole man passed by and it was like, "Come back to your country."
You mean go back to your country?
Yeah, go back to your country. Oh, come on, King.
But yeah, so like what? How did that make you feel? Like when that
Made me feel awful because I was like, now probably I understand how black people can feel that I've been living this for their whole life. Every day it's the same thing, and I felt awful because I was like, why? I want to go in the street and say to someone, "Go back to your country." I'm like, what's?
We should have said.
But that's the same way. That's the same way. I could go to your country and I could get that.
Oh no! Straight away, if you go to Italy, a special center or south, they're gonna look at you like you're there because you want to rob something, or because you just came with a boat from Africa. They're gonna look at you like you're the weird one. No one will accept you, and they will be straight away racist with you. That's truth.
That's real. That's real.
You get racism in your own race though, because you get colorism within the black communities.
Yeah,
colorism's mad.
Yeah, the colorism aspect as well.
If you're from south of Italy, like people tend to have like olive skin, be more tanned. If they go north Italy, they're that kind of people. They'll be racist towards South Italian people.
Yeah, it's like the Welsh
so we can be racist towards each other in the same culture. Just imagine what they're able to do with different cultures.
Yeah, that's deep. What about you? Have you faced any discrimination?
So personally, I actually haven't. But my grandma,
you blend in, fam.
Yeah, but my grandma, her friends, my grandma's Polish. Her friends had, after Brexit as well, actually, her friends had people posting letters through their door, saying, "Go back to Poland, you Polish rodents," and they had like physical attacks, and there were many stories coming out of that happening. So I know that there is a thing. I again wouldn't call it racism. I would say probably it's like prejudice towards a certain country, which is in this case Poland. But yeah, personally, I've not experienced anything.
Okay. What about you?
So for me, like professionally, no. So I guess with my Australian accent, it sort of makes it like I'm an English speaker. I just have a slight accent. I've never had an issue in that sense. And with what you were saying about Asian culture, so from young, my dad was always like, education, education, education. What are you going to be when you grow up? Doctor or a lawyer? And for a long, no, I'm joking. But he was very, very serious about my education. And I think when I was younger, I saw that a certain way and I felt pressured by that. But now that I'm older and I have a job and I understand life, it makes sense why he did that to me. And in my team right now, in the law firm that I'm at, it's pretty much all Asian girls. Like, it's crazy because I guess we're pushed in that way to study and to work and to do the best that we can.
Do you feel like, okay, in Asian culture, is it kind of like it's not really about having fun or being cool kind of thing?
Yeah, like if you get in trouble at school, you're going to get in trouble at home. Like it's not seen as cool to be disruptive or to be...
Not even about, I think all parents, like any good parent would, be upset if their child was disruptive at school. But I'm saying like amongst your peers, like what is the general consensus amongst the peers when you're in the high school age in your culture? Is it like everybody's trying to be academic, everybody's trying to get good grades, everybody's trying to, or like what is it like? Because I know when I was growing up amongst my peers, everybody was trying to prove they were bad.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great question, and it's kind of hard for me to say because at my school it was mainly white people, so like it was me and then one other girl and then one Chinese boy. So there's like 3 people in our whole grade that weren't really white. But from what I know about Asian culture and everything like that, and like peer-wise, yeah, it's not cool to play up. Like you expect each other to do what you know that you're meant to do, which is the right thing. But what I would say in terms of, I don't want to say it's racism, but you said my experience in the UK in terms of how it affects my race. So my fiance is Nigerian, and being in the UK and then us being together, like I've had trouble in that sense.
From black people or white people, from Asians or from
black people mainly.
Yeah, see, this is the thing.
This is what I was going to get onto because I'm from obviously.
Get the likes up on the video. Go on.
So I've seen it from both sides. I'm mixed race, so my mum's white, dad's black. So I grew up in a predominantly white area. When I was at secondary school, there were 4 of us, 4 mixed race kids. But funnily enough,
no black kids.
No, we were all 4 of us were just mixed race. That was it.
So you basically was the black kids there.
Yeah. So, but I didn't experience racism during secondary school. I experienced it when I was younger, in the 80s. So I was called kind of Packy and Gollywog.
Oh, Jesus.
Which was I don't know whether it's because I was in Swindon and the whole mixed race thing was new. I don't know, but that's what I used to be called through ignorance, obviously. But with regards to white and black people in the cultures and racism, I think white people and black people are just as bad because I see it from both sides.
Yeah, black people.
I'm telling you, they are just as bad as white in a lot of circumstances through my experience.
For me, when I walk past even an Asian family or a white people, I mean, everyone's experience is different. And for me, I was so shocked. I didn't understand what was happening. I was like, why are people giving me dirty looks? Why are people like kissing their teeth when they walk past me? Why are people staring at us? And yeah.
So the fact that you said kiss your teeth with black people then basically.
It's mainly.
Yeah, I'm like.
I'm just guessing, like, not
but
stereotypical, but yeah.
I mean, generally, and I don't understand because, like, we are so far past that now that.
But they're not past it.
Yeah, like you. Yeah.
They're not past it. They're still doing. Those people are the people that carry the chip on their shoulder.
Yeah.
About the race thing. But sometimes I think with women, because I've spoke to black women about this, where they've been like, where some of my friends would be like, well, I don't think that white girls should be with black men, and I'm like, listen, I know my mum's Italian, but my mum's white, so I don't want to hear that you don't think.
I've had black family members talk to me about white people in a racist way, and I'm
100%. It happens often.
Forgetting my mum's white,
it does happen, but
it works.
When I've asked them why is it that you feel that way, sometimes they're saying, oh, because it's more that they feel like the society that we're in now, black men don't rate black women, so it's more about. I know New York Sis was talking about earlier, how black women are perceived in our society. So it's less about you and more about the fact that they're not feeling valued by black men.
They're taking away our men.
But it's because of how they feel a lack of self-worth. As a black woman, they don't feel empowered and they don't feel chosen by black men.
I want to get a black female opinion on this. You've heard a lot of what everyone said. What do you think about it?
What specifically?
Like, obviously, she's saying that she's heard a lot of like unsavory comments from black people because she's in an interracial relationship, and then mixed race ladies here saying they've seen or had racist comments to them from white and black people. Like, so what do you think about it?
I'm very shocked about that you've experienced that. Like, I'm sorry that you've gone through that, and that's quite disgusting that happens now. Especially like London is like a melting pot. It's so diverse. I'm shocked that happens. But when I walk with my black husband, people also look at us weird. So my question to you is, how do you know it's about race? Because I think it's so rare to see a black couple with so many children, and we look young, so people are confused. But there might be a whole,
I mean,
host of reasons. But I do get that as well. So I just wondered what linked it to race.
I think that, I mean, why else are you giving me a dirty look? Like, say, for example, he and I have been to an event before, like, it was this African fashion event, and there was a runway and makeup stores. Like, it was super fun. I was excited. And then we walked in, and everybody was staring at me, like, but it wasn't in, like, a happy, welcome way. People were rolling their eyes. People were staring, scowling, and what else would it be? Like, what did I do? Did I come in with, like, a rotten egg? Like, what else could it be? I don't know.
Because I'm just saying that because I'm very interested because I get the same thing, and I had this conversation with my husband, and I was like, what is it? But I just thought that many people are bitter. I don't know.
Yeah,
it could be
jealousy.
a whole,
Pull the mic down so they can see.
It could be a whole host of reasons, but it's just I have the same experience, and we're both black, so I know it's not race. So I wonder.
I'll say this one thing. Most people are miserable and they want to pull other people down.
100%.
And even like just like what you said, I've been in relationships with black girls and white girls, mixed race girls, and I've been out there and still bad vibes come that way. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. So it's just like, bruh, that's people, bruh. Most people are horrible.
People don't want to see people happy.
They don't want to see, especially if they see you're happy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hang on.
It's scary. Like, it's actually imaginable. Like, or this is one of the reasons why I don't go to clubs no more. If you go to the club, I'm somebody that I'm a big person. I take up space, and if I'm happy, I'm laughing, ha ha ha, all of that, bro. Bro, do you know that can make guys want to kill you, bro? Like, serious, like, because you're happy, because the insecurities, all kinds of stuff like that. So it's just like, it could be a thing of what you are saying. People are why are you with this black guy? But you gotta understand, it's a lot of bad vibes floating around, regardless. Do you get what I'm saying? So that could be something to think about as well. Like,
so they're just jealous, like.
It's jealousy, envy, their lives. A lot of people's lives are diabolical, fam.
Yeah, they are, and you don't even know. And people are busybodies. People, you see, when people have got bad shit going on with themselves, they look upon anyone else to narcissists to point fingers
and then,
or
like,
to
boom,
see
and
other
then,
people's business.
Yeah, so then people, they're already bad mind anyway. So then when they see you with your man, that's just a good I've got a reason to be on you. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's mad. It's mad. Yeah, let me just run through these super chats quickly, though, seriously. But you lot have been awesome. And I want to just say big thank you to everyone that came to the show today. You lot are the real MVPs. For real.
Appreciate you.
We got to enter Black Dragon. He says, age gap. He says, I'm 41, she's 21. Thoughts? Ooh.
We always get.
Well, let me sit up for this one. Yeah.
Actually, that's what I was about to say about, when we were talking about Hakimi, right, the footballer.
Yeah.
Because they're still not clear enough about why the divorce is happening. Because when she was with him, they have 10 years gap basically. When she was with him, he was in the beginning of his career. So her asking him for money now doesn't make any sense, because at that time she was already famous. She had money. She knew him when he had nothing basically. So the reason for the divorce is actually not clear, because we can't blame her on wanting his money now that he's a millionaire or billionaire, because she was with him when he had nothing.
In the gym.
Exactly. So she was with him when he had nothing basically, and they have an age gap anyway. So if we want to think about it,
do you think she's owed that money?
She doesn't know. I mean, she doesn't own it at that time when she wanted the money. Still now, we don't understand why she actually wants that money, because she's anyway richer. She's not richer than him, but she's
greedy.
rich. Exactly. Greedy. That's the thing, because it's still not clear why she wants that money, because her kids would be anyway not with her most of the time, because he wants both of his kids to be brought up in Morocco with his mom. So, and she already has that money to, let's say, bring her kids up. So the actual thing is, why did she want to get divorced? Because she already had that money, and with the age gap,
differences.
well, And with the age gap as well, like.
What do you think about age gap? You're 22.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's saying he's 41, and I guess his girl is 21. What do you think about that? As a 22-year-old, what do you think about that?
I mean, from my own perspective, it's like a huge gap. I mean, no offense to whoever does it. It depends on everyone and what they think. But it's just like you will clash a lot most of the time because a 21 years old with a 31, he already has seen a lot. She just started maybe to see things around her. They would clash on many things because she still wants to explore. She still wants to do many things.
Throw a box around.
Whatever. I have no idea what she wants to do. But
Let's go. Throw a box around. Let's go for it.
But yeah, my perspective on it is just like it's like lots of clash because they're both from different like age categories.
Okay, what was you lot's thoughts about it?
I think everything, like for me, the age gap is massive in this case, but everything depends on what she actually wants looking for and what he actually wants looking for. Because if he's looking for a woman just to settle down, have kids with, and she's looking for her to be like a stay-at-home mom and just, raise kids, they're perfect for each other. Because he's like on his, I'm supposing he's well established in his career and she's young enough to have kids, like, to stay home, do all mom things.
But that's the thing. At 21, does she really want to be a mom
I mean,
at that age? That's the question.
It depends even on the culture. As she was saying, in a lot of cultures, women are being raised that their main purpose is to be a mom.
Yeah.
So they start having
she's
kids.
in her prime.
Yeah, they start having kids very I'll say early, but I'll say early for my own perspective, my own cultural background. Because I'm 30 right now, and I'm like, well, I wouldn't have kids in 20. Probably I start thinking about kids now. But for example, Muslim cultures, there are or some certain religion belief, their 20 is the best time to get married and have kids. So everything depends. If their values and views are matching, they're cool, good to go.
Do you think a lot of people would say that the guy's a predator?
Some people would say.
To be fair, I find it a little bit creepy.
Would anyone here think that the guy's a predator?
I find it creepy though.
I wouldn't think it's predatory.
You think it's creepy?
A bit.
Why?
It's like a huge gap.
Because it's like 20, it's 41, they said, right?
Yeah, 41 and 21.
It's 20 years gap means like completely different generations.
That's
completely different points like life. You are in a different point of your life. She's in a different one. Unless you want a woman that's just going to stay there and won't say anything to you, whatever you need to do, whatever you're going to do, she just will stay there because she's young.
Also, just bringing it from the culture side that you said, I'm from that background too.
Yeah.
But if I come to my mom at 22 and be like, I want to get married to this guy who's 45, 43, she would be like, have you lost your mind?
And what if you were 30 and he was 50?
Still, I'm just talking from my
No, I'm just asking you. I want to, if you're a bit older. What?
See,
is it because she's 21? Because she's still...
Because she's 21,
it's more acceptable. Say when you're past 30...
When you've gone to a certain age, because you've
we're
had
all kind of the same age, aren't we?
I think from his perspective, we know that men...
Who wouldn't want to go for a younger, fresher model? Who wouldn't want it? I would,
for him,
at
it
my
makes
age,
sense.
I want to go for a younger, fresher model. So why would a guy not want to?
It would make sense.
If you can do it, why not?
And also, it's not just that, but he can also show her new experiences that she hasn't experienced herself. So she's still excited about things because she hasn't gone through it herself or been shown it by another man.
It's like you said, when you're at in each other's in your life, they might just happen to match at that time, and it's about mentality.
Yeah.
What do you think?
See, I have a completely different perspective. So I got married very, very young to somebody in my age group. And if I was to advise my daughter, a lot of the marital issues, because it was a struggle, because there's people years older than us that haven't been able to be stayed married this long. If he was older, a lot of the marital issues that we had wouldn't have existed. But I never had the guidance to teach me that. Because I was just concerned, I want somebody my age, but I don't, it's easy to say that, but then actually being married, because no one can prepare you for marriage, like no one or nothing. So there needs to be somebody otherwise it's just blind leading blind. because we're growing up together at the same rate. And unfortunately, that doesn't work. That's just me being honest.
So do you think it has to be the man that's older, or would an older woman with a younger man still work as well, as long as someone has more experience?
It has to be the man that's older.
Because men are more, they're not less emotionally mature, they're slightly more immature. They grow up at a slower rate.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's
It's
true.
not even that.
See, I don't agree personally. I just want to know what you
I'm more mature
thought.
than all of you.
Yeah, because I've dated men older and younger, and in a lot of instances, the younger guys have been more mature than the older guys. So it doesn't.
What did the older guys do? What did the older guys get up to?
Just like you think, just because they're older, they're going to have a certain mentality and they're going to be at a certain time. It's not always the case, and I'm talking through experience. It just depends on, I think, what you've been through, your experiences in life and your mentality, and what has brought you to that present moment. That depends on.
But I would say that on the whole, younger men are less mature. If we're looking at
100%,
in general,
100%,
but there are exceptions who are very, very mature at a young age, and it is amazing.
Yeah.
What do you think about the age gap? Do you think it's creepy?
It depends. I mean, okay, so this is...
Pull the mic down a bit.
Sorry, this is very subjective. So it depends on maturity levels, it depends on intention, it depends on culture, it depends on religion, it depends on a lot of stuff. Okay, so I'm 21, there's a 41-year-old guy who's trying to get on me, he's trying to... What's his intention? Is he trying to just be with me? Am I his girlfriend? Is he trying to get married? Is this a legitimate relationship? What are my parents going to say about this? Because if I'm Muslim, he wants to get married, he's a genuine guy, my father knows him. And he says, if my daughter says yes, I'll let you get married. Absolutely fine. From my perspective, so let's say, I'm from Poland. My brother said, if you have a child before you're 26, I'm going to rip your head off and piss in it. That's what he said. So it really depends, you know? It depends how you feel. Where are you? Are you mature enough? Do you feel like you want to have children at that time? Do you feel like he's a creep, that guy? He's 41. Do you feel like he's a creep? Because you're 21, you're kind of still in school, you're kind of still studying, you're kind of still in...
But you shouldn't be dating then, if that's the case.
But
I feel women should date to marry. You should not be dating.
100%. I back that up. I stand with you. But the thing is, it's so subjective. It's almost like, yes, if it comes to marriage and we do it that way, and as I'm saying, my father, I'm that girl, my father knows this guy, okay, and it's all okay, fine. But if my father has no clue, this guy is just creeping on me, he's just trying to talk to me, I kind of like him, but I'm young, I'm too young, I don't actually know what I'm doing. Does he want to get married? Am I in a relationship? It just doesn't make sense. Moral compass is what we need here in this situation. That's what I think.
But if you're having a traditional relationship, traditionally, a woman's purpose between the age of 13 and 35 was to have child after child after child until her eggs died out at 35.
Yes, but as I said, there should be safeguarding for women. So that would be your brother, is a mahram, is that what mahram? Yeah. Your father, your uncle, your whatever. That person should always be there. That male person should be always there.
But what about women that don't have that?
Women who don't have that, they will have somebody in the family.
I didn't.
The female. Well, I'm sorry. So in your in your case, then that's very difficult. I'm not going to speak for yourself because, first of all, I don't know you. I don't know how all of that went and stuff. I would probably be able to give perspective if you told me the story. But from my perspective here this is how it should happen. And yes, I agree with you. We should always date to marry later on, because what we do nowadays as a society, we date to learn how to divorce.
But then, what is the purpose of getting?
We date because we want to bust nuts, fam.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but the most of in our marriage friendship group, most of them married to have children. The reality of it came down to that.
That's fine. But as I said, the intention of the guy is what matters in this specific scenario.
No, but if you're dating to marry, you don't ever have to worry about intention.
Well, I guess so. As I said, it's...
But then the guy might not have the same intention as you.
Then you wouldn't date. It wouldn't progress any further.
But you may not know that.
You will know that.
He may tell, you know... Yeah, but
You know what it is? Just as a married woman, I'm just speaking, a lot of women don't take accountability for their bad choices. I haven't had one person say, because you said you need to have a male person to do that. I didn't have that. I still didn't make the bad choices because I had to take accountability for the choices that I made.
And that's
I
well
knew
done.
I couldn't be with a bad boy. I couldn't be with a drug dealer. I couldn't be with somebody who's
really
not
good.
a person of moral or
And
character.
whoever raised
Because I was
you,
looking
big
for a
up to them.
father
Yeah.
to raise my children and not somebody to get my vagina wet.
And that's okay. But the thing is, like, I understand that perspective, and I know that it's very hurtful. And to all of the girls out there who don't have that male protection, okay, whoever's raising you and whoever's putting that mindset in your head, whether it's a female or just anybody, a teacher, some people are orphans. They have no parents
But
whatsoever.
that argument only stands until you turn 18. When you're 18, you have to take accountability.
Yeah,
You have to take accountability for you, actually, because nobody's going to come and save you. You have to be responsible and make wise choices. A lot of women, even when you speak to single mothers, a lot of the time, it's bad choices.
But do you
and
not
if you speak
learn
to
that
them
through experience and making the mistakes in the first
no,
place?
the experiences actually does the opposite of that. Because before I got married, if I was going around gallivanting, having sex with different men, I know what that sexual experience is like. So now I'm saying my husband can't satisfy me. All those experiences are supposed to be lived through your husband.
I know.
And when you have so many energies in your temple, okay, you understand that it's you can't do that because that's actually, it has more of a damaging and you find yourself, that's why you find so many.
I agree, but I didn't realize until I was older. Do you see what I'm saying? I completely get what you're saying, but I'd already made those mistakes before I realized that.
So you're blessed enough to have that mindset at that age. And that's really good.
Yeah,
that's really good.
That's it. Yeah, but not. We don't all have that mindset.
Exactly.
No.
That's what
This
I
is
was
the
saying.
thing. I think that what you're saying needs to be taught in school.
100%.
That should be mainstream. That should be that's what all you lot's popular role models, the people that women look up to. That's what they should be talking
100%.
about over and over.
Yeah.
Not talking about WAP. Not talking about F this guy and get some money and all this. They need to be talking about those real life things.
Yeah.
So if they really cared about you lot, but they don't, bruv, and then they actually lead you to destruction. This society is trash.
Yeah.
It's stripper culture society, 304 culture, and then when a guy like me or anybody else or a woman out there says anything opposing it, oh, there's something wrong with you. Like, that's our society, and it's a shame that a lot of us, we don't understand the real world until we've made a load of mistakes.
Exactly.
And it's too late.
It's too late, yeah.
King,
Exactly.
don't you think that it should come from your family rather than from school?
I think it should be both. I think it should be, because there's certain cultures where it's known, even if you don't have someone telling you in your house, it's taught in school. Your peers will know this. Anyone you come into contact is good. Bro, there's certain cultures you will get judged by everybody in your community if you mess up, bruv.
And that's what's
you're gonna know. Like, there's a thing called shame, which is being taken out of society. You can't shame anyone for anything wrong they do. YOLO, let them live their life. What's wrong with you? Is it ism or a schism, or you're doing something wrong? Or you're the misogynist, and you're the misogynist. That's why I always do that. Because it's a joke.
I think waiting till marriage is really important. Like, that should be taught in schools too and by families, in my opinion. Because when you wait till marriage, you know that the man and the woman are in it for the same reason. You know, they're in it for God, mostly, or just because they want to show their commitment to each other and they're not going to mess around and be with other people. Because when you wait till marriage, it's such a commitment. You really, really have to put a lot of energy into it and, you know, be strong and overcome obstacles together, because it is hard to do. So yeah, I think that's also really important. I think that's something that's being completely forgotten about and ignored. I don't know, I don't really want to ask you if you did, but I'm assuming you did wait till marriage, and I think that's possibly the key to a long lasting marriage.
Because if you've taken too many willies, like, bro, it's open up Pandora's box. Because you've had so much different roller coaster experiences up and down. You get me? You've been up the fireman pole, up and down that. Fam, then you get to a guy who may be the right guy for you, but what if he hasn't got 9 inches and his name ain't Jason Love? What if he's not that guy? Like, what if he's just Mr. Average, just hit average, just, you know, just
he might be the perfect husband.
But he might be the perfect husband, father to your children. But because he didn't hit it right, he didn't make you go, ah, now you're going to be like, nah, if he does one thing or says one thing wrong, he's gone. That's it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a difficult one to, you know, to maneuver, but that's the reality. Yeah, that's the reality, man.
Yeah. Also, just to point out one thing. Basically, your point when you said shouldn't come from parents. It can come from parents. You can be like very well brought up, but then you will just be in an environment who will influence you to do whatever, whatever,
exactly.
like completely the opposite of what you've been taught. Like from my experience, coming from Morocco at a certain age, at 18, coming here, I've seen so many people. They got that freedom that they didn't get back home because it's not wrong that they have been brought up that way. They had that pressure from their parents or whatever, but when they come here or go to any other country and they will meet new people who will be just like, oh, that's fine. You can do this. No one is going to say anything. You're in a new country. You're in the UK. You have your rights. You have your freedom. Just go for it and do it. And back home, they didn't have that much freedom. They're just going to do it and they will think it's normal. It's not like they forgot their values, but because of their surrounding, they're going to be influenced to do those things. So you should be strong-minded to not actually fall for those traps or whatever you want to call them.
The problem is if you're like 18, 19, 20, 21,
exactly,
it's going to be hard for you to be strong-minded.
That's what I'm saying.
Not even that. Let's say from when you're 16, 17, 18.
Yep.
Bro, like most of us are not strong-minded like that. Most of us want to follow the crowd. We want to be a part of the crowd. We want to be cool.
That's where I want to prove my point. She's 21 and he's 41. She must be now, she might get married to him or whatever, but she might be under some influence that would change her mind maybe at 25 or something and just be like, oh, I didn't experience this at 21, you know? Now it's my time, it's my prime. And then guess what?
But that's because of the culture we're in. We're in that kind of...
Exactly, thank you. And then she'd be like, oh, guess what? Now the UK government is protecting me. I can get a divorce, get money, do OnlyFans, blah, blah, blah. And it starts from there. I'm not saying that all those relationships that have gap will fail that way. I'm just saying that sometimes at a certain age, you might not be that strong-minded to follow your values.
What do you think a good age gap would be?
I mean, it depends. As she said, it's subjective. It depends from relationship to relationship.
Roughly.
Maybe 5
years.
5 years.
5 to 8.
Yeah.
5 to 8.
Yeah. After 8 years, if you look at the difference even between, I'm 29 now, and if I look at the difference between how I was when I was 21 to how I am
exactly.
now, or if I've spoken to my friends in their 30s and the beginning of their 30s towards the end of their 30s, where you're getting to that next... the next decade, you got within that decade, a lot of things happen. So I feel like 5 to 8 is like a comfortable.
Because a lot happen. You don't realize what happens in your life. Like you will definitely go through so many experiences that will shape you, shape your personality. I mean, I'm not the same person when I was 18. Of course, because you keep growing, you keep seeing different people, you experience things, and especially that from a country to another, like. It's completely different. You're exposed to so many things. You need to...
I would agree with that because when I went to the States and I was there 5 years, bruh, I'm a different person.
Exactly. That's what, you need to save yourself from so many things that are around you and just stick to what you think is right. Because sometimes just like, you know, just because your friends are doing it, you're going to do it. And then after a few years, you regret what you've done.
So do you lot all agree that a 5 to 8 year age gap is decent? Would you not agree?
5 to 10, I think.
5 to 10.
I think 5 to 10.
5 to 10. What do you think?
I'd say at least 10.
At least 10.
Yeah, at least 10.
At the least.
At the least.
Oh, you think?
Because if you're 20, you need a man. If you want to have a family and have children, he has to be at least 35.
So 15 years.
Yeah.
The thing about it is just like, okay, if you are a woman, a young woman, and you want stability, you're gonna need old because most guys just want to be, and honestly, I would say advice to any young guys, I would say, and you lot might not agree, but I'm saying I wouldn't even try to be in nothing serious until you got yourself together.
See, I say this to my sons. I say exactly that to my boys.
Just
do you.
Do you, blood.
I disagree. I think family is the most important thing in life, and it surpasses.
I'm not saying he shouldn't do it.
I know, but I think starting young is, and I'm saying this from like multiple older men's perspective. I've heard a lot of older men talk about this. They're saying I started having family young, but I wish I started sooner because that made me more successful. It drove me, it gave me more ambition, more motivation, and I wish I started sooner. So I do think it can actually have the opposite effect where you become successful because of your children at a young age?
Not necessarily. I don't think so.
That's a minority of people.
No, I don't think so.
I don't believe.
It is. It really is. We keep looking at these minority fringe cases. The reality is, having a family is a very taxing,
Massive.
financial
Big responsibility.
It is a big responsibility.
I don't think young guys are
They're not ready. They're not
for that.
ready.
I agree.
They're not ready.
And I do think you need to have some sort of financial stability. You can't just go into it.
It's
with
not even
nothing
just
and expect
financial.
it.
When you're a young guy, bro, like as a guy who's been young guy and he's been young guy, bro, do you think, bro?
Mine's not on set.
No, yeah.
I'm not on that.
I guess it depends
I want
on
money
the man.
and I want bad bees, and that's it, bro. Like,
Yeah, but that's because of what you grew up with as well.
bro, most of us are the same. Men are very basic. You know this thing. We're very easy to please, very simple.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily a good thing.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily a good thing to have children when you're not ready to have children either.
Well, I think it's. Do
you know
having
the
a family is the most fulfilling thing.
I'm not. Yeah, but you're. Listen, I'm not saying you should not do that. I'm saying you should do it at the right time. And if you do it early, the chances are you are not going to be ready. You're going to have some kind of resentment towards the woman and towards the children. Subconsciously, bro, you've never been a man. You can say what you want, but you've never been a guy. So you can say what you want, bruv. Like, I'm telling you, and I talk to more guys than you do. Like,
in a godly, happy marriage, you're not going to resent your wife because you had children.
Bruh.
Okay, yeah, I know. Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
But what you're talking about is not the reality of the Western world. So you keep this is the problem. What you're saying is
not
right.
everywhere. Trust me, not even Western.
What you're saying is right, but it's
that's
not
because of the world we live in.
yes.
We can remove ourselves from it and take
We're talking about
ourselves
the
away
majority,
from that.
sis. You're going into niche markets. We're talking about the majority of men, the majority of relationships, the majority of situations.
So I'm saying that men should restructure their brains to take themselves away from this Western mindset of fulfilling yourself with money instead of happiness, true happiness.
It's not even in Western culture. Sorry to cut you off. It's like everywhere.
Society.
Yeah, it's just society. Everywhere, wherever you go, any country nowadays, a man, like a young man who has not built himself up, shouldn't get married. I mean, why would you have a family when you're not even relying on yourself yet? Like, you should be capable.
I'm not saying you should have a family
enough.
if you haven't got that stability.
Yeah, but most young guys haven't got those stability.
So I'm saying if you do, then you should start.
Yeah,
young.
but
that we're talking about a niche
okay, if you do, then cool. But the vast majority don't.
Okay, well,
so that's what I'm going to be
all I
talking.
was saying.
Okay, cool. So you're talking about the minority. Minorities don't make rules, and minority is the minority. I'm talking about the majority. The majority of the young guys in their early 20s, even to late 20s, do not have their lives patterned. They are barely looking after themselves. Barely. Yeah. So it would be a really ridiculous thing. It'd be a really ridiculous thing for them to go and impregnate a girl because you're gonna mess her life up as well.
Impregnate is get
You're
married
gonna mess
first.
her. You're gonna
different.
You're gonna mess her life up as well, and then you're gonna mess up a child, a new life in this world. You're gonna mess up and make their life be struggle for what?
Like I said, stability first, marriage, then children. But you can do that young.
I think there's two perspectives. So there's one where you have a young guy who got married.
It's all right for you to say that because you're a woman. It's all right for you to say that because you want to live. You want to live in a but you want to live in a traditional. Bro, and those men are not. They wasn't young in this generation, so they don't really know. Each generation sees the world differently because the world was different when they were young. So you can say their perspective.
Fair enough, yeah.
You can say their perspective, and that's all well and good. But as a guy who is within the thick of this thing, and I understand, and I get messages from guys all the way around the world that ask me questions about, why is it that I can't, get women, and why do women leave me, and da da da. I'm telling you, the number one thing a guy can do in his younger years is get power. And what do I mean by that? Financially, physically, mentally, and socially, he should be at the top of his game before he thinks about even bringing a woman into his mix. I'm not saying that he needs to be 45 years old before he starts his family. I'm just saying make sure your life is patterned, because the number one reasons why a lot of these marriages break up or problems is money. That's the number one thing that causes. Am I right? Or
100%,
I don't know. She deals with this.
Right. Well, like I said, that shouldn't be the case. So if money is enough,
It's not if it is the case. It is.
Right, and I'm saying it shouldn't be. So I'm allowed to make a new point, am I not? So in a marriage, money should not be enough to split a marriage up. End of. It shouldn't be enough.
What happens then? Okay, let me ask you a question. Let's get into it. So because you remember you said earlier that you wouldn't work when you have your husband and your children.
Yeah.
So if hypothetically your husband decides or ends up losing his job and then decides he's not going to bother to get another job now and just wants to be comfortable doing up broke life, how are you going to feel then, sis?
I wouldn't marry someone who has that kind of a mindset.
No, it's a hypothetical.
Yeah,
you've got to work with me on the
I know, but that wouldn't happen because you choose who you want to marry.
But unexpected things happen.
People change. I've been married.
You don't know if he's going to lose his job.
Yeah, he can lose his job, but she's saying that he then refuses to get another one.
When I married him, he wasn't acting like that, and then he started acting a fool.
People change.
So I left.
People don't change to the point where they decide to not bother getting a new job. That doesn't happen.
You don't know that, though.
You don't know.
Or
that
they
does
stop
happen.
providing. They stop providing, and you get sick of it.
Let me bring
and you
another
start
example.
providing and doing the role of the man. And I didn't want to be the husband. So I left.
It's every individual circumstance.
100%. I was just trying to see if she'd roll with me on the narrative.
Like I said, I wouldn't marry someone who has that kind of a mindset.
And I wish I didn't.
Just let me bring another example. Let me bring another example. The pandemic, for example, right? Many men and women lost their jobs. If a man loses a job in the pandemic, let's just say lockdown, and he's unable to find another job because everything is closed, and he's married and has 2 kids, what would he do?
Yeah, that is temporary.
Temporary. Okay, so a lockdown is for a year. What would they do?
Hold on. It was temporary, but you didn't know when it was. No one knew
it
when it was.
It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
And that's an emergency situation, which was a plan.
And then he gets depressed,
like
and then he decides that because he's depressed and he just but he's lying around on the sofa and he's depressed.
It's not even about depression.
It's just an example.
Yeah.
Then he's not going to go back into work because he lacks motivation to work. He's no longer interested in working. Do you understand?
I know lots of people like that. I do know loads of people like that. I wouldn't marry a man who
hope that your husband
has that mindset. You do know certain things. You do know certain things about a man. You do. You can tell certain things and things like that, like ambition and drive and motivation.
See, I think
How old are you?
22.
Oi.
See, I think it's different. It depends. Like if a guy,
You two are the same age. I hope you know that.
You know, if a guy isn't working through mental health, then I think that you've made a commitment to that person, and you should try and be there as his partner.
100%.
But I think if a man is actively choosing not to work and not to be active at finding work, then again, it's a different scenario. It depends on the circumstance and whether the guy is willing. And if he is showing willing, then for me,
100%.
that's enough.
Definitely.
100%. But then I don't disagree with stepping in as a partner and taking that slack. That's why I fundamentally agree with women working.
Exactly.
Because I think that sometimes men go through challenging times as well, and I don't see the issue with a woman on occasion stepping in, because I believe in going
to do something
50-50 or whatever anyway. But I don't disagree with that. But
I have a live example. I've got a live example. I knew a guy who was like your example. Okay, so somebody I knew him well. I knew that he was, sharing the same perspective. I knew that this is what I wanted for marriage and stuff. He thought that too. And guess what happened? We were in a relationship. We were about to kind of get married, thinking about getting married and stuff, right? The guy was not ready. Don't drag guys who are not mentally ready to get married to get married. Do not do that. Do not ever push a guy to get married. And I understand that. This saves this. I know. So when they think that they're ready to get married, they've got all of the mindset and stuff, they're financially stable, and they're sharing the same perspective. This is who you would choose. I understand you completely. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But at the same time, men have their own type of thing that I found in my brother. I found cold feet in a lot of guys that I know, and my ex as well. And honestly, I respect him so much. I'll never say a bad thing about him, because honestly, it's just what it is. Sometimes guys are not ready. He could be patterned up. He could have his money, right? He could have his family supporting him. He could have his hobbies, still have his friends, but somewhere in the back of the mind of the guy, he's still not ready. And he's 20-something or he's getting to his 30s. And sometimes the guy is just not ready.
Right, so there's many factors in this.
Wives get found.
Yeah.
You just weren't the one.
Yeah.
Men are very simple.
It's
there's so many factors.
That could be the case.
You're
as well.
overcomplicating
That
it.
could be the case.
You just
as well.
weren't the one.
But the thing is, sometimes guys get cold feet as well, even if the girl is right.
No, they don't get cold feet. They applied logic and realized this is a bad decision. I need to probably step out now.
Well, perhaps I'm not saying that this is wrong. I agree with that. Yes, perhaps you are not the one as well. But the thing is, I'm just saying there is something in the man's life where I know that he's still not married. He's dated so much and he's still not married.
Right, yeah, but he hasn't found the one.
Perhaps, yes, but I just know that there's something at the back of the mind because I know my brother very well as well. And he's got a fiance. They're still not getting married because there's something in the back of his head. He's got the money. He's got the support. He's got the girl.
She's not the one.
No,
because
actually,
it's really that simple.
Yeah.
If women understood a guy's actions will show you everything, they'll save
Some men
themselves
just
so
don't
much
want to commit, though. It's that simple as well. It doesn't have to be complicated. Some men don't want to commit as well. It might just be as simple as
that. No, they don't want to commit to you.
I'm saying that there are different reasons why.
There's many factors in this. So does he believe in God? Did he wait till marriage?
Yeah, and that
was the marriage his decision? Did he want it?
100%.
Or was it you saying it and then he was like,
so
okay.
we're both, as I said, we're both on the same level, same spectrum, right? But at some point, it's just not it. And it could be that. I ain't the one.
No, it's not could be.
Right?
It is that.
That's fine.
When a man knows straight away the woman he's going to marry. My husband told me straight away, and he told me straight away.
Happens. But I'm saying that it could be this. It could be that they don't want commitment at all. Or it could be something else.
No, they don't want commitment
when a
with
man's
you.
in love, yeah.
I understand that, and I
simple.
just said, honey, that you're right. I agree with that. Sometimes it is the case, but there is that 1% or even more where they just like, hold on, not yet.
But then that goes back to his conversation. We can't have a debate based on minority.
That's fine. I just know that it happens because I know my family as well, and I know that it just happens. It's just not the right time yet.
My take on this is, as I said already, like I just think a guy should maybe focus in his younger years. He should think about getting his stuff together, and then now you can think about having a family and all that kind of stuff. Because I just think it's really reckless. To
ruin someone else's life.
To potentially ruin somebody else's life, and especially a child coming into the world, and you're not even stable yourself. You're on skates.
Yeah.
But how can you say
I think that's especially living in a place like London. Like maybe if you live in like another part of the world, you can get away with that.
Yeah.
But living in London because think about it, if you don't have money, all right, cool. You go and get some girl pregnant, right? Now you don't have no money, so that means you're gonna have to live in a low income environment. What comes with a low income environment? You're gonna be in a dangerous environment. You're gonna have all these bad influences around you. There's risk of crime, violence, theft, like, all of these kind of stupid things. Right now, your child gets up in years, and now your child's going to school because your situation is probably not going to change very much by the time that baby's conceived and that child goes to school. Yeah. So now your child's going to a bad public school, and now there's bad influences on the child, bro. It's long, bro. Like it's long.
But there's
do you get what I'm saying?
There's older men with loads of money who are rubbish fathers, and there's young men who don't have as much money but have enough to keep the family going, who are just the best fathers ever. And it's something that's easily
but you need a financial stability to raise a family, to raise kids.
So if you grow your own food, like you said, if you don't live in London,
what did you say?
Like you said, if you don't live in London, if you live in the country, and for example, he's got a house in his family, you can grow your own food. You don't need that much money to sustain a family. Like,
oh, trust me, you do.
It depends what kind of a lifestyle you live.
No, if you're not average lifestyle, kids are expensive.
I know kids. Of course, I know kids are expensive. I do know this. I'm saying if you have enough money to keep the family going, and you have two parents.
Hold on. Who's got kids here? So, is what she's saying like? Is it?
No, what she's saying is actually true. There is actually.
It doesn't cost much money.
It's only because I've gone through it and I had no other choice because we were a young family. Was
it the best case scenario to do that?
For us, yes, but not I wouldn't advise. That's why I said it's better to just date somebody who's already settled, gone through their life, growing pains.
So basically, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, it's not the best case
when a guy
Who
should
is
be
already
settled.
stable.
He should be at the, and it's not necessarily a certain age. I'm not putting an age on it. I'm just saying the guy needs to be at a certain level in his life. So now he's able to sustain and maintain a family.
Which is what I'm saying. I'm saying if he has enough money to sustain the family, like I literally just said a few times, then they should have a family.
No, that's not what you said. That's not what you said. When I said,
listen back.
Stop interrupting. Stop interrupting. Stop interrupting. What I said to you was, well, not to you specifically, but what I said was that I would advise a young man to get his life together. Then you started talking about, you disagree with that. You started talking about family's the most important thing and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
which I'm not, I never.
The most important thing.
Bruh, stop interrupting, bruh. I never disagreed with that. I never disagreed. The point I was making was that he's going to be in a better situation to maintain a wife and a child. If he doesn't have his life patterned, he's barely looking after himself. That's all I was saying. Now you're talking about something else, which you added on later on. That's not what you said initially.
Right, and I agree with what you're saying on the whole. I'm saying it's not 100%, and actually some of the time it is actually better for two parents who are in love and young to have children if they have enough money, not loads of money, enough money to sustain the family. And actually, a lot of the time, it's better to have two parents who are in love, young, and have enough money than two parents who are older, don't have, that love and that foundation there, and loads of money. That's all I'm saying, and I'm not incorrect in that.
I agree with you.
Yeah, you're basically agreeing with what I'm saying. Yeah,
I know, and I'm saying I agree.
But initially you said something different. It's cool. It's
because
cool. It's calm.
Because of how you worded it, I disagreed with how you worded it before because you said it a bit differently.
I said it basically the same way, to be honest.
Okay.
Okay, cool. No problem. All right. Oh, sheesh, man. Yeah, guys out there, please don't go and just start getting girls pregnant and doing madnesses, bruv, when you're not ready to do it, bruv. Yeah, honestly, because at the end of the day...
Yeah, when you're not ready, definitely.
I didn't need your help. So, as I was saying, yeah, like, I know a lot of people who... They went and got some girl pregnant because they was in love, blah, blah, blah. Love conquers all. Does it? Don't know if it does, actually, to be honest. I think family is important. I think as a human race, as human beings, we need to reproduce and have families, and to produce a good, good citizens of the human race, you need a mother and a father then for a functional family. Absolutely. But I think that there's instances where people give their children the best chance in life and people give them a 50-50. You don't know what might happen, bruv. Mm-hmm. And I just think that we should always push for the best case scenario. Why should we gamble? Mm-hmm. Why would I gamble? Why?
With your child's life, yes.
Like, it doesn't make sense. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that you should wait till you're 50 years old. I'm just saying that you're not going to start having a family at 21 when you barely know yourself. You're not mentally, most 21-year-olds are not mentally there. And I'm talking about the guys. I'm not talking about the girls. I'm talking about guys, yeah? Most 21-year-olds wasn't mentally there. Based on me being 21, I'm sure he's been 21. Most of all my friends have been 21. And I know boys that are 21 right now. Like... you could say there's some that are ready. Okay, cool, but that doesn't represent the majority.
Right.
Just to add one thing, sorry.
I even said earlier that I do agree that most men who are young are more immature. I said that earlier, and I do agree with that. I'm saying that I'll repeat it, if you are young and you have enough money and you have enough stability mentally and financially and in other ways as well to provide for a family and sustain a family, then you should have them young as opposed to waiting longer when you don't need to wait.
Just to add one thing. So when it's your life, when you're by yourself and you're messing up your own life, you can take accountability for that because it's you, only you. If anything happens, it will happen to you. But when you're involving two other people, especially a child, which he has no fault in that, it was his parents' decision to be in this life, it's very unfair on them. Like,
I completely
it's very
agree.
completely unfair to just ruin their life when you don't have the means for them, and you just be like, oh, sorry. I mean, your parents were in love, and we just got together, and now you're here, and I have no idea where to get your money from. I can't get you to a good school. I can't get you what you want. I can't get you the toy that you want, that you've seen your friends have. It's just like, it's too many things you need to think about.
This is all
before
materialistic things, though, so
But
that's
it's
not actually
life.
the
It's
most important thing.
I also think that when you're younger, you may think that you're in love,
Yeah.
but it's not always necessarily love. So you may make decisions based on thinking you're in love, and it's not, it's lust.
Which is why, yeah.
Again, so there's pros and cons of being younger and older in all circumstances. And again, it just depends on the individual circumstance, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course, which is why you should be very selective and careful, and I believe you should wait till marriage, because that way you know the man's intention as well. You know that he's not just going to leave at every small thing. He's actually made that commitment to you and to God if you
Let
believe
me
in
ask
God.
you this. Let me ask you this, yeah? Like, so what do you think would be a good age gap?
Age gap.
Bearing in mind what you've said.
Yeah.
What do
so
you think a good age gap would be?
Honestly, it really depends. I don't really look at age gaps because I think it depends on the two people in the relationship or marriage. I think it depends on, like you said, their stability, their mental, their motivation, their drive. It really does depend. So I can't really give an age gap.
How old's your boyfriend?
Yeah, how old's your boyfriend?
My boyfriend is 25, so it kind of...
It's only 3 years, yeah.
Yeah, so to me, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I wouldn't be opposed if I didn't have my boyfriend. I wouldn't be opposed to being with an older man who's,
ready to settle down.
Yeah, ready to. I wouldn't be opposed to it if it worked, but I don't think it's necessary. And personally, I think that also comes with some barriers because, you do have a lot of differences, and I would prefer to be with someone who's more close to my age as opposed to someone who's much older than me.
Is that also because you're waiting till marriage? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if they're older, I'm assuming they probably have.
Yeah, exactly.
So it would make more sense
no,
for you.
it's not
It would make
even-
more sense for you to be with someone your age.
Yeah, they would just be less likely to want to wait till marriage if they've had loads of partners and they're older.
yeah,
and
it makes sense.
They wouldn't really care about that, whereas someone who's younger would understand that and be more willing to wait because they haven't had as many partners themselves.
I hear that.
All right, cool. Let me just run through the super chats quickly. Big up Frenchie for the 6 months member, tier 1. Appreciate that. Big up to you. Girl, you're 33, baby mama, and embarrassment to women. Simmer down, harlot. You're subpar in comparison to the quality of men on here. I think she was talking to Miss America. Big up to Frenchie. She is jealous of you, Nazarene. You're pretty, based, and taken. Everything the lady next to you is not.
Yeah.
To American, again. But she's not here to defend herself. Big up to Courtney for the 10. Get this bit of grandma off the panel, King. How do you think people get married before the government existed? Did they just cohabitate because there's no paperwork? She sounds bitter, pure delusion. Big up Doug MPA. NYC baby mama is lying. There is no togetherness in Black America. That is why Black Americans can't get ahead. We are fractured and we really can't stand each other. Also, yeah. And he's American, by the way. All right. Big up Doug. Big up to Chris. Large women in black seems bitter, plump, and dumped. Mad thing. Big up to Bidge. Therapy won't even save some of these women. Big up to Doug MPA. Thank you, Nazarene, and the cute librarian in the back with the glasses for being on the panel tonight. They are the only wives.
Librarian. Wow.
Big up to Chris. You're not CEOs and starting companies. You are on welfare. Big up to Lord Commander. Correction. They don't feel chosen by the top black men. They only care about what highly desirable men are choosing. Big up to Bidge. Loose boxers in the danger zone. Big up to Frenchie Empress. You're a gem. Ladies, take notes. Big up to Enter Black Dragon. Context. After trying to date women my age, I find them bitter, entitled, hostile. She's 21, white, and pursued me. She's my girlfriend, peace, and blue pill. So that's the guy that's 41 with the 21-year-old.
Okay.
I'll read it again. After trying to date women my age, I find them bitter, entitled, and hostile. She's 21, white, and pursued me. She's my girlfriend, peace, and blue pill.
I hear it still about the bitter thing.
Blue pill?
He's doing the blue pill or red.
Why would you want? Why would you want someone who's blue
Oh wait,
pill?
no. Or did he mean the other kind of blue pill?
I don't know.
See,
Oh, blue pill might be
Like,
by
blue
the
pill, like the V,
Viagra.
yeah.
The
That was
Viagra.
like, yeah,
The Viagra. The Viagra. Yeah. Solid wood. Yeah. So like boom. Big up Michael Metrock for the super sticker. Appreciate that. Big up to Frenchie, Nazarene and Empress Straight Fire. All right, this has been a banging show. I appreciate each and every one of you watching. Please, all of you hit the like button. Let me see where the likes are at for this show, man. And again, I want to just say I appreciate everybody that turned up to the show. This has just been awesome. Yeah, I just want to say that. I just want to get the final thoughts from everybody real quick. The survivors. Yeah, I'm gonna start from you. I'm gonna go around and with you.
Sure.
Yeah, it was a great show. Thanks for having me, King. And nice to meet all you ladies. So my name is Shristi Jade, and you can find me on Twitch. I game, and I also do reaction videos. I do red pill videos as well, and I'm also on YouTube. So my Twitch is SJ_Rose. That's my gaming channel, and I'm playing Last of Us at the moment, which has been a lot of fun. My YouTube channel is Shristi Jade. It's SHRISTI. Jade, Jade, and I'm a singer as well, and I just released a song last week, so that's on my YouTube channel if you like to check it out. And yeah, thanks again.
Awesome. Next one.
Yep, my name is Natalie. It's been a great show again. Loads of different content from different women of
Pull the mic down. I didn't even know the mic's been covering your face the whole time.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's been fun. My Instagram is natnat3380. I just want to say big up Romeo as well too. Thank you.
Yeah, big up Romeo.
Romeo the plug.
Romeo the plug.
This one.
My name's-
talking over me the whole time, bruv.
No,
I'm
I was
joking.
just
Go on,
getting my opinion in. I'm Nazarene Veronica, and yeah, it was a very good show. We had some disagreements, but obviously that's how you learn.
She made one of my guests go home.
Yeah, I didn't mean to.
Before we even started the show.
I didn't mean to.
I'm out of it.
I was just talking about how meat's good for you, and then she just got upset.
Big up to Bex.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm really sorry if I upset you. I didn't mean to upset you, but I was just explaining.
Yes,
anyway.
She was being so calm. We were so shocked. We didn't know what happened.
Yeah.
And then she put her headphones in, and then she left. So we were shocked.
Girls, why are
obviously.
we still talking about that?
Anyway, yeah, let's move on. So you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Nazarene Veronica. I talk a lot about red pill stuff, including the New World Order, the injection that came out, and other things.
The mute these mics, fam. Yeah, go on, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, wicked, awesome. All right, next one.
Oh, thank you, King, first of all, for having me on the show once again. It's been a banging mega episode. We've had ups and downs, spin me around. A couple of people come, a couple of people go. It's been lit. So I've enjoyed myself.
Yeah, the day in the office, isn't it?
Yeah. This is a normal day.
Normal.
This ain't nothing different.
So I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. Thank you, ladies, as well, for giving me the space and time to share my thoughts. And King, it's been real. You can follow me at Lola_Rose Blanc. That's BLANC on Instagram. And yeah, check out my content.
Awesome sauce. Next one.
So first of all, thank you for having me. That was a very nice gift for my birthday. So
happy birthday!
Big up yourself.
I'm turning 30. I'm outside of my prime now. So it's done.
We're done.
Live.
It's over.
Show. It's over.
Sell yourself, girl.
It's over. Oh, Jesus. But yeah, no, thank you so much. It's always mind-blowing to hear like different points of view from different age, different cultures. We're starting with a little bit beef there, but we kind of handle the show very well. So yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome. Next one.
Thank you, King Richards, for having me on your show. My final thoughts are, if any young girls watching this, guard your vagina and womb with your life, and please require marriage before you start pushing out babies.
Yes.
That's for women. Put God first. If He powers, guides, protects us. So you need to put God first, and that will help you lead your way. And if anyone wants to stream my music, you can search my name, Empress, on all streaming platforms. That's EMPREHSS. That's EMPREHSS. Appreciate you.
Awesome. And last but not least.
I would love to thank you first for having us and having this mega episode without revealing the actual topic.
They literally it was just whatever.
Exactly.
I would have literally put the title whatever.
And yeah, just choosing veganism at the end, just a moment.
Please, no. Please.
And I would like to thank everyone who was in this show. It was great to know what everyone thinks and also to just know everyone's perspective on different topics. And I hope you enjoyed celebrating your birthday with us.
Oh yeah, that's a very nice start.
That's dope. Hey, listen, I just want to say thanks to the girls that had to leave as well. They had to leave early and stuff like that. Big up to them. And yeah, just make sure you stay glued to this channel. There's going to be some changes on the way, but stay tuned. There's still going to be everything the same way, the same platform, the same patterns, everything, but there's going to be some changes, so keep your eyes peeled and stay loyal and committed to this channel. So, like, there's going to be a lot more stuff on the way, so make sure you stay tuned. Anyway, with that being said, big up to King Producer, big up Top Producer, big up to the guests,
Come on.
big up to the birthday girl.
Yay!
Happy birthday. Yeah, the camera's taking forever. Big up to the birthday girl. Yeah, and yeah, obviously, that now it's there for too long. And then last but not least, big up to me and King Riches. You already know, man. Big up to everyone.